NWN, now your mission has been completed and you have obtained the free qualification. No need to guess anymore. Zhang Wanwan, who was excitedly trying to demonstrate to Xinfeng, suddenly became unhappy. She suddenly blinked in grievance and looked towards the camera pitifully. I haven't tried it yet, I want to play. After all, Zhang Wanwan is a talented actress. As soon as this little expression appeared, a barrage of comments exploded. Let her play. Let her play. My daughter Wanwan wants to play, director. Please don't be ungrateful. Those who bully Wanwan are in trouble. To be honest, I was a little addicted to their guessing. It was so smooth. This minute was definitely the highlight of today's show. I'm also addicted. I just called my friends to watch it together. Why don't they guess anymore? The barrage is full of comments right now. Even the haters and internet trolls couldn't find a chance to interrupt. Director Chen got a headache after seeing the barrage. It's not that he doesn't want Zhang Wanwan to guess. It's just that he really has no words. Suddenly, the assistant director came over, whispered a few words in Director Chen's ear. When Director Chen heard this, his eyes lit up. This is great, it can satisfy Zhang Wanwan's desire to play. And it can also shut up those who say we leaked the questions. He picked up the intercom again and said, Dear viewers, our program team has run out of vocabulary. However, in order to meet Zhang Wanwan's wish, we decided to add a new link. We are now collecting words from the barrage. Everyone can send the words you want the Penghu Bei group to guess as barrage. And we will have a back end to do the statistics. After the statistics are completed, we will add the top 5 words with the most votes to the question bank and let Zhang Wanwan play with 5 more words. Okay, in the next 30 seconds, please send comments. We will announce the data in 30 seconds. After Director Chen said this, the audience in the live broadcast room became excited. They watch a lot of variety shows on weekdays. However, variety shows where the audience can interact in real time and influence the show's effects were rare before. All of a sudden, the barrage of comments in the live broadcast room was flying. When Director Chen saw those words, he almost fainted. There isn't even a single word from the world of the living. What are the dragons flying? What are the monkeys and the flies? And what are the snakes and the vipers? Director Chen doesn't even know how to read it. Some of the words I know are also strange. What about Peppa Pig? YYDS, Mousetail Juice, King Gigi, Time Management Master. Some people even made tongue twisters, such as red carp, green carp and donkey, and black fertilizer will turn gray when it evaporates. Can humans express these words? No wonder the live broadcast room is in chaos. In the live broadcast room, those passers-by and viewers are there just to have fun, so they will do whatever they want to have fun. So naturally the lyrics they write are weird. The haters from La and YU Entertainment's rival companies all hoped that Chen Sheng wouldn't be able to guess a single word. So the words he wrote would of course be even more weird. 30 seconds passed quickly. Director Chen looked at the barrage statistics in the background, but he found that the words he couldn't even read received the least votes. I thought those weird words would get the most votes, Director Chen muttered. The assistant director pushed his glasses aside and said, The reason for the low number of votes is probably because no one knows how to type these words. What you said makes sense. Afterwards, Director Chen screened and selected a few words and announced them. Of course, it is impossible for him to choose words based entirely on the number of comments from the audience. For example, among the top 5 words that received votes, there was an insulting word directed at Xinfeng. Of course, it was posted by the internet trolls hired by La NYU Entertainment's rivals. But Director Chen's experience, he had already discovered that there were professional internet trolls in his live broadcast room. Director Chen certainly couldn't allow such words to appear in the question bank. Otherwise, let alone what Zhang Wanwan and Xinfeng would think. Even passers-by would feel disgusted when watching it. Director Chen deleted this word and added another word that he thought was the most difficult but did not receive enough votes to the question bank. After thinking about it, Director Chen rolled his eyes and came up with an idea. He picked up the intercom and said, Student Zhang Wanwan, the 5 words with the most votes have been announced. The staff will write them on the question board later. Because this is an extra question for you to guess. And it is extremely difficult, the program team decided that as long as you can get all 5 questions right, we will give you an extra bonus of NT $5 from the Penghu Bei group. Director Chen did this to create some hype and increase the popularity. Secondly, he felt that the question he added at the end would definitely not be guessed by Zhang Wanwan and Xinfeng. By then, Zhang Wanwan and Xinsheng will not be able to guess the answer no matter what, and will not get the money, which will be another show effect. When Zhang Wanwan heard that there was money, her eyes lit up. He immediately cheered happily, and then said to Xinfeng, Fengzi, whether we can have a good meal at noon depends on you. Xinfeng smiled and nodded. Soon, the staff wrote those 5 strange words on the board. Under Director Chen's arrangement, the most difficult word added by Director Chen was specially placed at the end. Then the staff showed the question board. When Zhang Wanwan saw the first question, she felt numb. Jayatnam. It may be because Jiatnan's group interacted more with Shenfeng, Zhang Wanwan and others today. So the audience was impressed by this group. But it made Zhang Wanwan feel troubled. How should she pronounce this name? She suddenly looked around to see if the unfortunate Jayatnan was nearby. Unfortunately, no. Finally, Zhang Wanwan came up with an idea. She first made a gesture of holding a cup and drinking from a straw. Then, he made a 1 gesture towards Shenfeng with his left hand and then with his right hand. Then he made a 2 with his left hand and a 1 with his right hand. Then he made a 3 with his left hand and a 5 with his right hand. Then he waved his hand. And then it was gone. Is there any sign language master who can explain it? I have learned sign language. I just want to say that I am also waiting for someone to explain it. I don't understand, but I'm shocked. What the hell does this mean? Not to mention that I can't see the word Jayatnam. Even if I can see the word now, I still find it difficult to connect Wanwan's actions with Jayatnam. If this can be guessed, not only will I admit that there is no conspiracy, I will also have to vote for them. An audience member said this. Then Shenfeng said, Jayatnan. Damn it, there must be something fishy going on. How could I have guessed this? Not to mention the audience. Even Director Chen was dumbfounded at this moment. He picked up the intercom and said to Shenfeng, trembling lie. Shenfeng, can you explain how you guessed it? It's very simple. Shenfeng said casually. Wanwan first demonstrated the action of drinking something. But the key point is to use a straw, so I connected it to straws. Milk tea, and the soy milk I drink in the morning. I didn't understand what Zhang Wanwan meant by the gestures at first. But when she pointed a few numbers, I understood. What do you know? Are there any particular meanings to those numbers? Director Chen was confused. Shensheng had no choice but to explain. A left-hand 1 and the right-hand 1 refer to the first straw I sold to Jayatnam, for which I received $1 from Jayatnam. The left hand makes 2. And the right hand makes 1 means that Jayatnam bought a second straw from me, and I charged him another $1. As for the 3 and 5, it means I sold him the third straw and told him I would only charge him 50 cents. Director Chen stared. What did Zhang Wanwan mean by waving her hand at the end? It means that Jayatnam didn't buy the 50-cent straw in the end. Finally, Shenfeng spread his hands and said, Isn't it easy to guess Jayatnan? Director Chen. Audience. Bring me my imperial sword and peel an apple for Xiur. This is not easy at all, Versailles, right? I only suspected the relationship between them before. But now I start to doubt their race. Are they really from Earth? What about those people who revealed the topic before? Did they get slapped in the face? Oh my god, forget it. I admit there is no shady dealings with my reading comprehension ability. There is no need for shady dealings. The key is tacit understanding. Tacit understanding. If the two of you don't have a deep tacit understanding, you won't know what the other person is saying no matter how hard you try. Right? I'm so jealous. If my ex-boyfriend understood me like this, we wouldn't have broken up. I'm so jealous. If I understood my ex-girlfriend this way, we wouldn't have broken up. Would you guys upstairs like to get back together? Vote, vote. This pair of programs is amazing. After a brief silence, the barrage of comments became lively again. For a time, the number of votes for Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan's group increased significantly. Even those black fans who received money didn't know what to say for a moment. Bundled CP? Marketing hype? Riding on Zhang Wanwan's popularity? But the level of tacit understanding between them. No one would believe that they didn't know each other for a long time. Zhang Wanwan and Shenfeng were unaware of the excitement in the barrage. Now Zhang Wanwan and Shenfeng have started guessing the second question. Chapter 31. I can't guess. The second question is not as outrageous as the first one. It's a hot word on the internet. 5 words, bad and playful. Why do I feel like this is a reference to my Wanwan? Although my son Wanwan loves to play, he is not good at it. This question doesn't seem to be easy to illustrate. It depends on who it is. If you change Shang Wei's group, they won't be able to win even if they die of exhaustion. But for Wanwan and Shenfeng, I think everything is possible. When Zhang Wanwan saw this question, she suddenly felt relieved. She made a 5 gesture to Shenfeng, indicating that there were 5 words, and he pretended to be sitting in front of the computer playing games. Then she pointed at herself. Shensheng immediately guessed. He is both bad and playful. Zhang Wanwan clapped her hands excitedly. Although I just said that everything is possible. Isn't this a bit too fast? Shit, you guessed it before I even finished typing? Why do I feel that Wanwan shouldn't be happy right now? Have Shenfeng played games with Zhang Wanwan before? How come Shensheng knew that Zhang Wanwan was a novice and playful person when she did this? Even Zhang Wanwan herself made this gesture, proving that she is a real wimp. However, Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng did not guess the third and fourth questions so easily. The title of the third question is just 2 words. Silence. Zhang Wanwan was silent for a long time. Finally, Shen Feng guessed, dementia? Zhang Wanwan. Is that damn Feng Zi feeling itchy? But she also knew that it would be difficult for Shen Feng to guess if she stayed so motionless. In the end, Zhang Wanwan also came up with a solution in a hurry. It reminded me of the video of human high-quality oil that I saw recently on TikTok. Suddenly he crossed his legs. One hand makes a gesture of holding his cell phone. The other hand is placed in the trouser pocket. It started to sway. Bai Wanwan is finally getting greasy. Driving another one crazy. What is she trying to do? What does this have to do with silence? Shen Feng raised his eyebrows. On the way to La in Yu County, Zhang Wanwan showed him this video several times. It is said that if you watch it, you will feel uncomfortable for the whole day, and if you don't watch it, you will feel uncomfortable for the whole day. I can't let her bear this pain alone. Oil? Shen Feng guessed. Zhang Wanwan shook her head and made a gesture to Shen Feng to open her mouth and sing. Shen Cheng immediately understood what Zhang Wanwan meant. He started singing the song in the video directly. I dried up the silence and regretted. Okay, no need to sing. That's right. Zhang Wanwan happily made a yeah gesture. What a talent. Shen Feng's singing just now seemed pretty good. With some flavor, but it's a pity that he didn't finish. I never thought that guessing words could be played like this. I haven't watched that video. I just watched it now. All I can think about is the silence that I dried up. The fourth question was equally difficult and also took up some time for Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Of course, there is a time limit for guessing the word. And the program team gave the 2 people 5 minutes. Previously, when I guessed Jay Atnam and the novice and playful one, it went smoothly and only took a minute. But the third and fourth questions took up some more time. And now there is only 1.5 minutes left. Similarly, there is only 1 question left. As long as you answer this question correctly, you can get a $5 bonus. Zhang Wanwan's eyes were shining. Like a hungry wolf about to catch its prey. She stared at the question board, waiting for the staff to turn to the next question. Zhang Wanwan, who was ready to go, saw the next word. His expression suddenly froze. I voted for this word. The person who first came up with this is truly a talent. You can't even pronounce this word, it's really amazing. I am dying of laughter. Everyone in my family is dumbfounded. No matter how well you understand each other, you can't guess this word. Because it's really impossible to guess it. Director Chen also looked at Zhang Wanwan's expression with pride. And couldn't help laughing in his heart. He chose this question himself. That must be of high value. He just didn't believe that these 2 people could guess the answer to this question. Zhang Wanwan was indeed stupid. Because the last word is dead guess. It's not that Zhang Wanwan couldn't guess it. There are 4 words in this question, which are guess. No, come out and come. How to draw this? Zhang Wanwan went crazy. She first shook her head, then waved her hands. But no matter how well Shen Feng understood her, he couldn't associate it with the words can't guess. I guessed wrong several times in a row and 30 seconds had passed. Only 1 minute left. Just when Zhang Wanwan was having a headache. Meng Yan and Sheng Wei were about to leave. They didn't get the free qualification. Feeling imbalanced, and just wanted to see Zhang Wanwan and Shen Cheng make a fool of themselves. Although Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng finally obtained free qualifications, Sheng Wei and Meng Yan felt a little relieved when they saw that they also had questions that they couldn't guess. So they planned to leave and continue their tasks. But they suddenly gave Zhang Wanwan inspiration. Zhang Wanwan pointed at Meng Yan and Sheng Wei, and signaled Shen Feng to look over there with her eyes. Shen Cheng glanced over there, then said, the mighty combination? Zhang Wanwan shook her head. Only a couple? Zhang Wanwan shook her head. Appearance is not harmony, but mind is not harmony. Shake your head. Becoming enemies. He shook his head again. False? Cut off the robe and sever the ties? As dangerous as fire and water? The enemy who murdered my father. Seeing Shen Feng's guesses becoming more and more exaggerated. Many people in the barrage were already laughing silly. Whammy band, are you polite? Polite and powerful. You? Can I ask how you guessed the term enemy who killed my father? Luckily the mighty band has gone far away, otherwise they would have to come and talk to Shen Feng. It would be so funny. Some viewers also noticed the time. Only 30 seconds left. I don't think they will guess this time. Oh, it seems that Zhang Wanwan won't get any money this time. But the tacit understanding between them is pretty good. Yes, the main reason is that this question is too difficult. Even if you are very close, it is impossible to guess it unless you have the ability to read minds. Some of the internet trolls and black fans started to make trouble again. This question isn't difficult if someone else were to ask it. They might be able to guess the answer. That's right. If it were me, I could guess it. To put it bluntly, Shen Feng, who has connections, is not capable enough. At that time, someone stood up to refute these black fans. Can you please shut up? You guys have been the ones posting comments since the beginning of the show. Even a blind person can tell that you are haters. If you don't want to watch, just get out of here if you keep talking here for a long time. It seems like you are too talkative. We watch variety shows for fun. We don't know whether Shen Feng's being kept is true or not. We only know that we have a lot of fun watching it. It's you guys who are an eyesore. It's normal that you can't guess the answer to this question. We have all witnessed the tacit understanding between Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng. Can you guys save your keyboards and stop talking nonsense? When the internet trolls were causing trouble before, few passers-by spoke out. After all, we are all passers-by and not fans of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. There's no need to get yourself into trouble for them. But after watching the show for half a day, passers-by's views on Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan changed. At least in their eyes, the relationship between these two people is really good. It's very natural to get along with each other. The show effect is also better than that of other groups of guests. Variety shows are like this: as long as you can create a good show effect that is not awkward, not greasy, funny and has some jokes, you will easily attract fans. The group of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan just happens to perfectly meet these characteristics. As for the show effect, the two of them have been giving it their all. As a newcomer, Shen Feng never behaved awkwardly. Oily? Except for the part where Wanwan imitated the high-quality oily dance of humans. The interaction between the two people was not greasy at all. The audience felt like they were watching two of their classmates, or watching their own children playing with other children. Therefore, many pure passers-by are now showing a trend of becoming fans. Naturally, there are warriors who stand up and dare to fight against the haters. The barrage of comments in the lead broadcast room was suddenly filled with smoke. Zhang Wanwan felt that she was about to burst into smoke. I'm so anxious that I'm smoking. She tried her best to act out the situation where Shang Wei and Meng Yan were unable to guess the words. At that time, Meng Yan said the word can't guess several times in a row. But Shen Feng had almost used up all the idioms to describe the breakdown of their relationship. But it just doesn't mean to change in the direction of can't guess. At this time, the director had already picked up the walkie-talkie and started reading the countdown. 10:98. It's over. A bonus is gone. 5 yuan for 1/3 of the Orujiamo. Bang, it's gone. Zhang Wanwan was sad and upset. Seeing Zhang Wanwan's depressed expression, Shen Feng couldn't help but laugh out loud. In fact, combined with Zhang Wanwan's initial actions of shaking her head and waving her hands. In addition, she later portrayed the state of Shang Wei and Meng, and when they couldn't guess the words. Shen Sheng had already guessed in his heart that the word should be the can't guess, that Meng Yan had just said several times. How could it be possible that he and Zhang Wanwan didn't even have this little bit of tacit understanding? He just kept it to himself. Seeing Zhang Wanwan's aggrieved look, Shen Sheng raised his hand slowly. Before Director Chen was about to say the words game over, he spoke. The word is, guess it. Zhang Wanwan, who had a look of aggrieved expression a second ago, suddenly widened her eyes. He looked at Shen Feng with surprise. Director Chen, who was holding the walkie-talkie and was about to say game over, with a smile on his face, suddenly dropped the walkie-talkie to the ground. The expression on his face gradually froze. He seemed to see a $5 bill with wings flying out of his pocket. Chapter 32. You insisted on pressing my head. In the barrage of the live broadcast room, seeing that Shen Sheng guessed the word at the last minute, the passers-by fans who were speaking up for Shen Feng were all full of energy. I feel even more confident when criticizing the haters. Come on, haters, keep on spraying. It was said before that Shen Feng was a relative of Zhang Wanwan, riding on her popularity, and that they were just colleagues. But he guessed more than a dozen words correctly in 1 minute. And then he said the production team gave away the topic. Now that people have guessed all the weird words made up by the audience, I want to see what you haters have to say. This group's interactions are obviously much more fun than the other groups. But the votes are still so low. Is it the production team that is behind this? Or are you haters behind this? Damn it, based on Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's performance today, I've become a fan of this group. If anyone wants to criticize Shen Feng again, they'd better step over the corpse of my keyboard first. These people must be paid internet trolls. I have been in the fan circle for a long time. These people who had been slandering Shen Feng must have been paid by someone. Those haters and internet trolls who had just managed to find an excuse to criticize Shen Feng are now speechless. A few people were forced into a corner and swore, but were quickly muted by the moderator of the live broadcast room. For a moment, the atmosphere of the barrage in the late broadcast room improved a lot. At this time, Director Chen had already asked the staff to give 5 yuan bills to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan took the $5, cheered happily, and raised her hand toward Shen Feng. Fengzi, you are awesome. Shen Feng raised his hand almost immediately and high-fived Jiang Wanwan. My younger brother is still better at gesturing. Hey, that's it. Feng Zi, Wan Ji, these two people address each other in a very similar way. What is their relationship? Chen Feng and Jiang Wanwan have been in the program crew for several days. And Director Chen naturally knows that the relationship between the two is not ordinary. Now seeing that the audience in the live broadcast room seemed very interested in the relationship between the two people, Director Chen decided to dig deeper. His $5 cannot be wasted. Picking up the intercom, Director Chen spoke to Shen Feng and Jiang Wanwan, who were still celebrating. Student Shen Sheng, student Jiang Wanwan, you two just performed in perfect harmony in the word guessing challenge. First of all, congratulations on winning the free entrance to the Love Museum. Secondly, congratulations on winning the extra bonus of $5. But here, I want to ask a question on behalf of the audience. What was your relationship before you two participated in the show? Why do you two have such a good understanding of each other? Shen Feng was thinking about how to give a perfect answer. Jiang Wanwan suddenly winked at the camera. Playfully said, yes. After saying that, she pulled Shen Feng and ran into the Love Museum. This wink stunned the photographer on the spot. Only after both of them entered the museum did he react and hurriedly followed them in with his camera. The audience in the live broadcast room were also dumbfounded. She winked at me. Does she like me? Bullshit. She is clearly looking at me. This is my wife. Wanwan. Hey you, Wanwan. Jiang Wanwan was so naive before that I almost forgot she was a woman. And a beautiful one at that. So cute. She flirted with me first. She should be responsible for me. I'm in love. No, wait a minute, although she was indeed very cute just now. But didn't you overlook a question? What did she mean by guess just now? Isn't this too perfunctory? Yeah, Wanwan didn't seem to answer that question directly. Damn, she managed to get away with it. Director Chen only reacted after seeing this comment. And she was just allowed to get away with it like this? His $5 was wasted. Jiang Wanwan, who ran into the Love Museum before the photographer, let out a long breath. She turned off the microphone. Then smiled at Shen Feng. Isn't your late brother very smart? Shen Feng also turned off the microphone and touched her head. Smart. Is Wink cute? Cute. As Shen Feng was speaking, he noticed that the cameraman had not caught up yet. Suddenly he whispered, I just didn't see it clearly. Can you try again? Jiang Wanwan winked at Shen Feng. Close the other eye too. Jiang Wanwan didn't know what Shen Feng wanted to do, but she still obediently closed her eyes. The next second, Jiang Wanwan felt her lips wet. Jiang Wanwan opened her eyes in surprise, and then her eyes widened. Shen Feng was leaning over and kissing her softly on her lips. Jiang Wanwan's face flushed, but she didn't avoid it. Instead, she put her arms around Shen Feng's shoulders, making the kiss even deeper. When the photographer rushed in, this is what he saw. Jiang Wanwan acted like a man, hooking her arm around Shen Feng's shoulder like they were good brothers. Pointing at the pink decorations in the Love Museum, the photographer wiped his sweat. Fortunately, it seems that I didn't miss any shots. Wan brother, you reacted quickly enough. Shen Sheng whispered in Jiang Wanwan's ear. Jiang Wanwan's ears were itchy. Her face, which was already flushed, looked even more unnatural. She said in a low voice, your elder brother is a talented actor. But you dared to do that during the recording of the show. You were almost discovered. You are really brave. As she spoke, Jiang Wanwan pinched Shen Feng with her fingernails. Shen Feng grimaced in pain and said a grieved lie. Originally, I just wanted to do it lightly, but you insisted on pressing my head. Shut up. Jiang Wanwan pinched Shen Feng hard again. Shen Feng winced in pain. They have a really good relationship. And they are always close to each other. Are they secretly telling some joke? I see Shen Feng is so happy that he is twitching. These two don't look like a couple. They look more like buddies. The audience has no idea what kind of suffering Shen Feng is enduring. They looked at Jiang Wanwan and Shen Feng's backs through the photographer's lens and felt that the two had a really good relationship. Are they really childhood sweethearts? At this moment, a very eye-catching comment suddenly popped up. I said it before. They and I are classmates. We've been best friends since elementary school, and we went to junior high and high school together. I posted their original photos on my personal homepage. You can go and see if you don't believe me. To be honest, I didn't expect Shen Feng to participate in the variety show. But the good relationship between him and Jiang Wanwan is definitely not hype. They are good friends, real good friends. The kind of good friends who climbed over walls together, blew up manure pits together, and deflated the teacher's tires together. Someone immediately clicked on this person's personal homepage to take a look. Sure enough, I saw several photos. There are a lot of people in the photo. All of them are elementary and junior high school students. It looks like a group photo of some group activity. There was a red circle drawn on the photo, and the two children marked by the red circle did look very similar to Jiang Wanwan and Shinfeng. The photo shows two children, a boy and a girl, playing and frolicking. Although the picture is a little blurry, you can still see that they have bright smiles on their faces. There is also a photo of Shinfeng and Jiang Wanwan standing against the wall as punishment. The person who posted the photo also made a note below. This is a photo of them blocking the keyhole of the teacher's bicycle lock when they were young and being caught by the teacher and punished by standing. The teacher took this photo. They swore to the whole class that they would never block the keyhole of the teacher's bicycle again. The audience was numb. What a naughty kid. Then they saw that there was another note below. As a result, the next day, there were 6 more ring locks on the teacher's bicycle. The audience was even more confused. He really didn't block the teacher's keyhole again. But I'm afraid you two are going to cause the teacher's heart attack. I looked at a few more photos in succession. The audience finally returned to the live broadcast room and saw Jiang Wanwan and Shinfeng walking around the Love Museum arm in arm. I couldn't calm down for a long time. Now when I see Jiang Wanwan smile, I want to check if I have a few more locks on my bicycle. Chapter 33. I hope to be with him forever. Not all viewers looked at the photos on that person's homepage. Some people see this sentence and feel confused. What car lock? What are you talking about? You can go and check out the homepage of that guy just now. It turns out that Jiang Wanwan and Shinfeng are really childhood sweethearts. So someone else went to check out the homepage of the person who claimed to be Shinfeng, Jiang Wanwan's classmate. Then, I give up. You call this childhood sweethearts? I think you are tarnishing the pure and beautiful word childhood sweethearts. King is the king in the nose and face, and shoe is the shoe in the fireworks. No wonder that person called him brother. Only brothers who have lived together for a lifetime would not do such a thing. I used to doubt whether they were a couple in private. But now I kneel on the ground and repent if they are a couple. Then you, Guan, and Sheng are in a love triangle. I was wondering why I didn't feel anything towards a girl as beautiful as Jiang Wanwan before. It turns out that this girl used to be so unlucky. Does this count as Jiang Wanwan and Shinfeng's dirty laundry? Suddenly, a sudden impulse came from the barrage. What the hell? Does your bedwetting as a child count as a negative thing about you now? That makes sense. In short, many viewers now have changed the way they look at Shinfeng and Jiang Wanwan. In fact, this variety show has only been on the air for less than 3 hours, but the audience's mood has fluctuated too many times. Just like Zhang Ziyiqi outside the screen. Zhang Ziyiqi's previous account was banned, so he registered another one using his wife Su Yan's phone. He saw a group of people talking about what his daughter had done as a child, and quickly started typing again. Wanwan was actually very obedient when she was young, but it was that bastard Shinfeng who led her astray. Another anti-fan of Shinfeng, right? You want to blame Shinfeng for everything? When I looked at those photos, I felt that Jiang Wanwan was much more naughty than Shinfeng. Zhang Ziyiqi snorted coldly. What do you mean I'm taking the blame? How can you understand Shinfeng's character better than I do? He's just a little bastard. He only knows how to eat, drink and have fun with Wanwan every day, and he doesn't do his job. Okay, the haters found out that the bundling hype with the backstage gigolo didn't work to discredit Shinfeng, so they changed their tactics, right? Then you should at least find something that happened when he grew up to criticize. Is it interesting to criticize his childhood? In fact, after seeing those photos, the number of people willing to defend Shinfeng and speak for Shinfeng and Jiang Wanwan increased instead of decreased. Because of the evidence of those photos, it was completely confirmed that Shinfeng and Jiang Wanwan had known each other for a long time and had a close relationship. The character setting of best friends is indeed interesting. Therefore, the support rate of the Peng Hubei combination of Shinfeng and Jiang Wanwan is getting higher and higher. Naturally, more and more people are willing to speak up for Shinfeng. For a moment, Zhang Ziyiqi was squeezed by this group of people and could hardly type. He was so angry that he drank some water, but still wanted to have another argument with the scholars. Then I found a private message popped up on the live streaming platform. Zhang Ziyiqi clicked on it and found that it was sent to him by a user with the ID Wanwan Fans Group. Wanwan Fans Group, sister, are you also a fan of Shinfeng? Do you have an organization? Do you want to join our group? We are all Wanwan fans. Wanwan Fan Group, most people in the live broadcast room support Shinfeng. You can't win by scolding him like this. We need to be organized and strategic. Here's the group number, 10,507, let's discuss it together. This person is actually the leader of the internet troll army who received money from Lion Yu Entertainment's rivals. Pretending to be a fan of Jiang Wanwan, he has been deliberately instigating conflicts between Jiang Wanwan's fans and Shinfeng. Jiang Wanwan's fans will think that Shinfeng, who is related to Jiang Wanwan, is trying to take advantage of Jiang Wanwan's popularity. And then Jiang Wanwan's fans will start to discredit Shinfeng themselves. But Zhang Ziyi didn't know this. Zhang Ziyi was immediately happy when he saw that there was actually a group specifically designed to discredit Shen Feng. As the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. He immediately joined the group. Almost everyone in the group is Zhang Wanwan's fan. After thinking about it, Zhang Ziyi decided to reveal his true identity. Let Zhang Wanwan's fans understand that Zhang Wanwan's parents will always stand on their side and support them in fighting against Shen Feng. So after Zhang Ziyi joined the group, he sent a line of words. When the car reaches the mountain, hello everyone. I am Zhang Wanwan's father. Zhang Ziyi thought he would receive cheers, admiration, and a warm welcome from Zhang Wanwan's fans. Result: Wan Bawabo administrator, I am still your father. Wan Bawabo administrator, where did these haters come from? How dare you scold Wanwan here, get lost. Then Zhang Ziyi watched as the system prompt popped up on the screen. You have been kicked out of the group chat. Zhang Ziyi. He was so angry that he pounded the table. Zhang Wanwan had no idea that her father had just been provoked by his fans. She and Shen Feng were taking photos and checking in at the Love Museum at this time. Zhang Wanwan originally came here with the idea of completing a mission. And she was thinking of taking photos, checking in, and then leaving. But she didn't expect that this Love Museum was quite fun. At least it looks good. Although it is called a museum, there are actually not many cultural relics here. Yes, there are just all kinds of cute, sweet, and interesting little ornaments. And many rooms that are decorated in pink or extremely romantic colors. Just like the room where Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng are now. The walls of the room were painted in girly pink and hung with all kinds of cute pendants. On one wall of the room hangs a large net woven from white cotton ropes. There were lots of little pink notes hanging on it, with all kinds of words written on them. These were left by people who had visited the museum before. And they all described the love between couples. Zhang Wanwan became interested, picked up the pen and pink paper under the rope net, and started writing. Director Chen quickly reminded the cameraman through the intercom. Go and see what she wrote. The camera moved closer. But before he came over, Zhang Wanwan had already taken the note and handed it to the camera. The audience opened their eyes wide, trying to see what was written on it. As a result, the audience's expressions froze. I hope Director Chen can give me more money tomorrow. Director Chen. Director Chen, hey, look at what Shen Feng is writing. Director Chen discovered that Shen Feng was also writing. He quickly changed the subject and reminded the cameraman. Like Zhang Wanwan, Shen Feng handed the note to the camera before the cameraman came over. The audience opened their eyes wide again. I hope Director Chen can give Wanwan more money tomorrow. Director Chen. These two are a pair of money lovers. Right. What on earth was I expecting? I was expecting them to write some sweet words. It is not written that we do not ask to be born on the same day of the same month of the same year. But it would be good enough if we can eye on the same day of the same month of the same year. I think Shen Feng's words are a bit spoiled. You dare to take advantage of their candy. Right? Be careful or there will be 6 more rim locks on your car tomorrow. Ever since those photos came out, the 6 circle locks have become a meme in the live broadcast room. Okay, now that we're done, let's go check out the next room. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng hung the note on the rope net. Then Zhang Wanwan waved her hand and headed towards the next room. The photographer was closest to the door, so he naturally had to go out first. After the photographer left, Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng looked at each other. The two of them turned over the 2 small pieces of paper hanging together at the same time. Then they smiled at each other and walked out of the room. On the white rope net, 2 small pieces of paper were placed very close to each other. I hope to be with him forever. I hope to be with her forever. The one I love. My sweetheart. Chapter 34, Earthy Love Talk. While Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng were still playing in the Love Museum, guests from other groups were also completing their tasks. Director Chen asked the director to cut the footage of the main live broadcast room to other groups. Many viewers in the main live broadcast room became unhappy immediately after seeing this. I want to see Peng Hubei, don't cut it away. My friend asked me to come here just to watch Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng's group. Switch back. Director, if you don't cut back, I'll put 6 more ring locks on your bike tomorrow. Some of the irritable audience members have already started shouting. Fortunately, there are still calm people in the live broadcast room. In fact, this program is divided into a main and a sub-lit broadcast room. You can go to the Peng Hubei sub-lit broadcast room, where the entire program is broadcast live by the Peng Hubei group. As a result, the audience in the main live broadcast room migrated. Director Chen watched the number of viewers in the main live broadcast room. The number of people who participated in the guessing game finally reached 40. It dropped to 30,000. It dropped to 2,015,000. In the end, only 1/8 of the audience remained in the main live broadcast room. Director Chen felt heartbroken. Although he knew that many of the viewers in the live broadcast room were attracted by the tacit understanding between Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng in guessing words, these people were not only attracted by the Peng Hubei group, but also became fans of the Peng Hubei group. In the end, there is nothing wrong with following the Peng Hubei group, but could you please give him some face? Don't leave so easily. Obviously the other groups are also very exciting. Director Chen silently looked at the split screens of several groups. I took a look at the slightly greasy and artificial group of internet celebrities. I looked at the mighty group who were still in the Cold War. He looked at Ji Etnan and Li Dingting, who were squatting on the ground trying to find a solution because they could not afford the tickets because they were cheated of money by Shen Feng in the morning. Okay, it seems that Shen Feng's group is indeed more exciting. Having said that, Director Chen cannot just focus the camera on Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan from beginning to end. After all, this is a variety show for 8 people. Even though Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's group did not carry out the tasks assigned by the program team, the program effect was maximized. Just like now, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan in the Earthy Love Talk exhibition hall of the Love Museum. The photo frames on the wall are filled with all kinds of cheesy love words. Zhang Wanwan was in a playful mood and asked Shen Feng to read the first half of a cheesy love talk to her and she guessed the second half. Shen Feng agreed with a smile. He recited the cheesy love words on the wall. Shen Feng, do you know what my shortcomings are? Zhang Wanwan. Lack of brains? Shen Feng. Audience? Damn it. I spit water all over the screen. Zhang Wanwan, you have to compensate me for the screen. Zhang Wanwan's train of thought is very unique. You just realized it? Your reaction is also very slow. I am dying of laughter. These two are so funny. I can't take it anymore, my stomach hurts from laughing. Shen Feng sighed helplessly. It's your fault. Zhang Wanwan. Are you saying I'm the brain? Shen Feng. Another row of hilarious comments floated out from the audience. Under Zhang Wanwan's urging, Shen Feng recited the second cheesy love words. Shen Feng, do you like drinking water? Zhang Wanwan. I don't like it. Shen Feng. I can't respond to this. I really can't respond to this. He sighed helplessly. You said you liked it. Zhang Wanwan stared in surprise. But I don't like it, can you change it to Coke? No. Well, I like water. Shen Feng then said, then you like 70 of me. Zhang Wanwan was silent for a while after hearing this. Finally, he said, how awkward. How can this not be awkward? You've ruined the atmosphere. I seriously suspect that the reason Zhang Wanwan doesn't like drinking water is because her brain is full of water. Don't be so mean, Zhang Wanwan may not have a brain. Don't criticize my Wanwan, she is already so stupid. Can you please give her some love and care? I can't take it anymore. I'm dying of laughter. I haven't laughed this hard before when I was guessing the words. I'm going to share the late broadcast room with my gay friends. Me too, I can't be the only one being poisoned. Chen Chang really doesn't miss the third cheesy love words now, because based on his understanding of Zhang Wanwan, he could already guess what Zhang Wanwan was going to say later. But Zhang Wanwan was in high spirits and insisted that Shen Feng continue. Shen Feng was helpless. I had no choice but to obediently recite the third cheesy love words. Shen Feng, the box that holds the ring is called a ring box. Do you know what the box that holds you and me is called? Zhang Wanwan replied seriously. The urn? Really? Shen Chang looked up to the sky and sighed. He knew Zhang Wanwan would say that. It's a match made in heaven. Shen Feng patted Zhang Wanwan's head and said. I can hear the fatigue in Shen Feng's tone. Don't mention him. Even I am tired of laughing. I laugh so hard that my mask is about to crack. Zhang Wanwan should be the first one to think of the word urn, in the earthy love words area of the Love Museum. Right? I was just introduced by a friend. I laughed my ass off as soon as I came in. What a talent. And I can only say that you came too late. The shortcomings just now are more classic, you missed it. Some people also expressed their feelings in the live broadcast room. I now understand why Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan are such close friends. If she were his girlfriend, Shen Feng would probably be so angry that he would be sick by now. Don't worry about the 7th day of the lunar year. The grass on the grave is already half a person's height. At this time, Zhang Wanwan had already pulled Shen Feng to read the 4th cheesy love talk. Shen Feng is numb now. Give up treatment. He just said. I want to take something from you. Zhang Wanwan looked at Shen Feng in horror. Take my life? Shen Feng, I want to marry you home. Then comes the 5th cheesy love talk. I want to buy a piece of land from you. Zhang Wanwan's eyes became even more horrified. You want me to lose my head? Shen Feng, I am devoted to you. Article 6, Article 7, Article 8. After guessing more than a dozen cheesy love words, Shen Feng finally breathed a sigh of relief. Originally, Shen Chang was steaming. I think this cheesy love talk is a good opportunity. I can use the excuse of saying sweet words to confess my feelings to Zhang Wanwan in public. As a result, Zhang Wanwan, with her divine understanding, turned the cheesy live talk segment into a cross-talk. When Shen Feng breathed a sigh of relief, the audience also finally breathed a sigh of relief. It's finally over. I really can't take it anymore. I really can't laugh anymore. Do these two people want to make me laugh to death, and then inherit my Huobi bill? This is the first time I laughed so hard on a dating show that my face hurt. Zhang Wanwan YYDS, I suggest that the cheesy live talk QA just now be included in the collection of Steel Straight Women's quotes. A considerable number of new viewers also flocked into the live broadcast room. They were all brought here by friends. At this time, some people asked questions related to Shen Feng. Who is this guy? Is he paired with Zhang Wanwan? He's quite handsome. At the end, there are a few earthy love words, all said by this man and Zhang Wanwan at the same time. Do they have such a good understanding? This person can follow Zhang Wanwan's train of thought. So he must be no ordinary person. Are they really a couple? Seeing the comments from new viewers, some enthusiastic old viewers came up to answer them. If you are asking about tacit understanding, I suggest you wait for a clip of the word guessing challenge to be replayed, so that you can see what perfect cooperation is. As for those who are talking about lovers, please respect yourselves. They are close friends. If you don't believe me, please go to the personal homepage of Shen Feng's childhood friend. There are photos as evidence. They are close friends who are willing to die for each other. Finally, let me introduce to all the new viewers. Wanwan's partner is Shen Feng, and their group is called Peng Hubei. Off screen, Director Chen looked at the number of people in the Peng Hubei group's live broadcast room exceeding 60, and the expression on his face was as complicated as it could be. Damn it, if he had known that Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng could do such a thing, he would never have cut away the camera from the main live broadcast room. Wow, the number of people in their main live broadcast room is just a fraction of that of the Peng Hubei group. So angry. When Director Chen was depressed, Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng had already left the Love Museum. After checking in at the first destination, the two of them were about to head to the second destination. When they arrived at their second destination, the small garden, another attraction in the tourist town, I saw a couple named Jia Nan and Li Tingting singing at the gate of the small garden. But the voice, it's really not a compliment. At this time, there was a bowl in front of both of them. There were a few dollars in there. When Jia Nan saw Shen Feng coming, he immediately ran up to him, singing while holding the bowl. He looked at Shen Feng with pleading eyes. The sad little eyes clearly revealed a meaning. Uncle, give me some. Shen Cheng listened to his singing voice that sounded like a pig being slaughtered. She gave him a weird look. And he sighed and asked, how much money would it cost you not to sing? Just $1 is enough, said Jia Nan quickly. Shen Feng threw the few straws he had in his pocket that morning into Jia Nan's bowl. Keep the change, please. Jayatnam? Chapter 35. This is a simple little love song. Jia Nan told Shen Feng that the admission price to the small garden was 50 yuan. They can't get it out even if you kill them. Therefore, the program team set up tasks in the small garden early on. Perform talents at the gate of the small garden and earn tips from passersby. Each passerby could give Jayatnam a maximum of $1. If they collect 10 pieces, Jia Nan and Li Tingting's group will be able to enter the small garden. Of course, these passersby were arranged by the program team. Jayatnam is a star after all. It is impossible to let strangers get close to him during the recording of the show. And Director Chen told these passersby, as long as Jayatnam's singing was passable, he would be paid. Don't be too harsh, otherwise it will waste too much time on Jayatnam's group and affect the effect of the show. Unfortunately, the unpleasant combination of Jia Nan and Li Tingting is really too worthy of the name. The singing was so bad that it was almost unbelievable. So even though the passersby were arranged by the program team, few people invested money in Jia Nan's group. I can't let this go unresolved. I'm sorry for my ears. Director Chen had originally forced several people to invest money in Jayatnam, but some viewers were immediately dissatisfied. This is someone the program team invited. How can they pay him for something so unpleasant? I dare say, this person is either a fan of Xiao Jia or a deaf person. Xiao Jia's fans don't take the blame. Even a deaf person wouldn't take the blame. This is too fake. A fake. I am a fan of Xiao Jia and I can't stand it. Xiao Jia's singing is generally recognized as bad in the circle. Let him change his task. Director Chen no longer dared to use any tricks. We can only wait for Jia Nan to give up and do another task. As a result, this young man, Jayatnam, was quite persistent. We sang from a little after 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock. Some passersby were moved by his persistence. I blocked his ears and threw him $1. Even the audience was moved. They all brought their relatives and friends over. I want to say that such an ugly song shouldn't harm only myself. For a time, the number of people in the live broadcast room of the unpleasant group also increased a lot. All I can say is that Jay Etnam's talent is not that great. But in terms of the overall program effect, he is indeed a talent. Now Jay Etnam had collected 9 pieces. If Shen Feng was willing to give him $1, then Jay Etnan would be able to collect $10 to complete the task. It's just that $1 that no one is willing to give him. So when Jay Etnan saw Shen Feng, it was like seeing a savior. After hearing what Jay Etnan said, Shen Feng thought about it. In the end, he actually took out $1. Jay Etnan smiled brightly and thanked Shen Feng repeatedly. He reached out to take the $1. Then Shen Feng said, "I can give you this $1, but you have to give me $5. Why?" The Jay Etnams were dumbfounded. The program team has given you the task of performing your talents to collect $10. That is to say, the $10 you need to collect now has nothing to do with the money you originally had. It is just a condition for you to complete the task. Shen Cheng shook the $1 in his hand and said, "I'm giving you this $1 to help you complete the task and solve your urgent problem. Is it too much for you to pay me $5 out of your own pocket to thank me?" Jay Etnan looked at Shen Feng and agreed. "Lie, that's too much. Very much, we only have $10, and you." Shen Cheng put the $1 away. Jay Etnan, brother, my brother, can we negotiate? $5 is too much, I'll give you $1 so that you don't lose money. Okay? Shen Feng shook his head, the minimum is 4. Jay Etnan reluctantly said, 2 pieces, how about 2 pieces? Shen Feng was about to speak, but Jay Etnan said quickly, "I know what you are going to say, $3, right? Okay, you give me $1 to help us complete the task. And I'll give you $3, so you can make a net profit of $2. That should be fine, right?" Shen Feng nodded. Patting Jay Etnam on the shoulder, he said, "Sure, you've learned how to answer quickly." In the end, Jay Etnan got $1 from Shen Cheng and completed the task of the program team. And Shen Cheng made a net profit of $2. The total assets of him and Zhang Wanwan reached 40 T1. Compared with other groups of guests, it can be said that he is rich enough to rival a country. This Shen Feng is such a swindler from this morning till now. How much money has Jay Etnan been cheated out of by him? Look at the money Zhang Wanwan is counting. Half of it is my little Jia's hard-earned money. Ooh. I am dying of laughter. Has anyone edited out the clips of Shen Feng deceiving Jay Etnan? I think we can use it to promote an Irefod. Jia Tenan returned to Li Ting with the bowl in his hand. And Li Ting hit him. "You are so stupid, we lost $2 and we really can't afford lunch." Jay Etnan said, "Don't worry, we can't lose this money in vain. Look, Brother Shen and his group are also coming to the small garden. They can't afford the tickets, so they must also complete the mission. When they can raise enough money, we can learn from Brother Shen's previous routine and use the same trick again to get the money back." Li Ting felt that there seemed to be some truth in it. But I felt like something was wrong. Until she saw Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan singing together and heard their voices as steady as old dogs. Li Ting finally figured out what was wrong. That is it. Not every group's singing is as bad as hers and Jay Etnam's. This is a simple little love song. Singing the twists and turns of people's hearts. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan sang Little Love Song by Soda Green. This song is fresh and melodious, very suitable for Zhang Wanwan's voice. Shen Feng is more responsible for the harmony. Although the two people sang a cappella without accompaniment, but with Zhang Wanwan's brisk voice and Shen Feng's perfect harmony, the effects sounded excellent. Not to mention Li Ting and Jay Etnan, who are both tone deaf. Even the audience and director Chen were shocked when they heard it. Fuck, are these two professional grade? It's clearly a cappella. But why do I feel like there's an accompaniment? Harmony. Shen Feng's harmony matches Zhang Wanwan so perfectly. This is without reverberation. It would be even better with reverberation. These two people must have practiced before. They are indeed good friends. My friend just asked me to listen to Jay Etnam singing. I felt like I was going deaf now, after listening to this song. My ears have finally recovered. But this was just the prelude to their song. The prelude is over. Zhang Wanwan, who was originally responsible for the lead singer, suddenly stopped singing. Just when the audience and the director were confused, Shen Feng, who was previously responsible for the harmony, spoke again. "You, no. Even if the heavy rain turns this city upside down, I will give you a hug." A voice which is completely different from Zhang Wanwan's female voice instantly makes the turning point of the song extremely catchy and exceptionally brilliant. At this time, Zhang Wanwan consciously began to sing the harmony, a low voice mixed in with Shen Feng's singing. If Zhang Wanwan's harmony could sing out the raindrops that turned the city upside down in the song, Shen Feng's voice was the city overturned by the rain. You fell without hesitation, and I turned upside down happily. I can't stand seeing your back coming. I wrote down the unbearable Li Sao in which every second seemed like an eternity. Shen Feng looked at Zhang Wanwan, and Zhang Wanwan also looked at Shen Feng. The two smiled at each other and recalled that year in high school. At a party in my second year of high school. This was the little love song that he and Jang Won-won sang in duet. Same melody, same harmony. Same with each other. They only rehearsed this song once. But until now, until both of them were reborn, the singing of this song is still so seamless. Finally, sing to the climax. They both spoke together. It's like singing to the audience. It's more like telling each other. Even if the whole world is kidnapped by loneliness, I won't run either. There is no escape. Everyone will grow old in the end. Right down the castle where my time and piano music intersect. The song is over. The two held hands and both smiled. At this time, whether it was Lee Ding-ting, Ji Et-nan, or those passers-by at the scene, it's director Chen and the audience in front of the screen. There was no response for half a day. Even the endless barrage of comments had a momentary pause. A few seconds later, someone posted the first comment. I don't know how to put it, it's just awesome. I just cried when I heard this. It reminded me of my first love. She loved listening to little love songs. Did these two people eat onions while singing? Why can't I stop crying? I didn't cry because I was moved, I cried because I felt warm. They cooperated really well, and I felt so warm. Although I know they are close friends, and I give them a second of sweetness, this couple is so good. This is the first time I feel so mixed emotions when listening to a song. It's really well sung. There is no professional radio equipment, no reverb, and no accompaniment. Just two people, two voices. Maybe their skills are not professional level and their vocal conditions are not the best, but they sang with emotion and coordination. But it can also touch people's hearts. Director Chen also took off his glasses and wiped his moist eyes. Then clapped silently. At the recording site, those passers-by had just come to their senses. Some people couldn't help but applaud, while others hurried forward and gave their money to Shen Feng. Lee Ding-ting also cried after hearing this. She held Ji Et-nam's arm and sobbed. Can you lend me $1? I want to vote for them too. Chapter 36. I'm so poor. Shen Feng and Jang Won-won finally collected 20 yuan. The main reason is that the program team only arranged 20 passers-by. Unfortunately, the program team requires that no matter how much money is collected, it must be handed over in full. Can't keep secrets. Therefore, Shen Feng and Jang Won-won's assets did not increase in the end. After completing the task, Shen Feng and Jang Won-won planned to check in at the small garden. The group of Ji Et-nan and Lee Ting-ting quickly stood in front of Shen Feng and Jang Won-won. What, want to get the money back? Jang Won-won stared at Ji Et-nan warily. He covered his pockets with both hands. Ji Et-nan rubbed his hands and said with a flattering smile, No, I just want to become a disciple. Brother Shen, can you teach me to sing? Lee Ting-ting also came forward and said to Jang Won-won, Won-won, I also want to learn to sing. Shen Sheng looked at Ji Et-nan who had a fawning face. After a moment he shook his head. I don't want to teach you. Why? Ji Et-nan grabbed Shen Feng's arm. People who are truly talented don't need to be taught. Ji Et-nan's eyes lit up. Are you saying I have talent? As a result, Shen Feng shook his head again. I just don't want to teach you. Ji Et-nam. Ji Et-nam, so what do you mean by that statement? Shen Feng said sincerely, I am talking about myself. I taught myself to sing, and Ji Et-nam. He still looked at Shen Feng with some hope and asked, Well, brother Shen. Shen Sheng nodded seriously. Ji Et-nan's eyes lit up again. How to sing well? Let's reopen it, maybe you'll be able to sing well in your next life. Shen Sheng made suggestions very seriously. Let's reopen it. Maybe I can sing it well in my next life. Grab the bamboo shoots. Although my little Jia's singing is terrible, but brother Shen, can't you be more tactful? I think this is very tactful. At least it gives some hope. Ji Et-nan, who was sunk by Shen Feng, didn't speak for a long time. On the other hand, Jang Won-won and Lee Ting-ting get along quite well. Lee Ting-ting came to consult Jang Won-won about singing skills, and Jang Won-won also gave her careful guidance. Seeing this, Ji Et-nan decided to abandon Shen Sheng and join Jang Won-won. He went to Jang Won-won to complain. Won-won, Father Shen said that I can only sing well in my next life. He is too much, can you teach me? Jang Won-won looked at Ji Et-nan and said, Sing a few more lines. Okay, shut up, Jang Won-won interrupted him quickly. Ji Et-nan looked at Jang Won-won. What do you think? Old man, how can I sing a good song? Jang Won-won said seriously. I think Shen Feng is right. Ji Et-nam. Ji Et-nam squatted in the corner and drew circles. I also think Shen Feng is right, Xiao Jia, just give up. I can't take it anymore. I just cried and now I'm about to laugh. It's so funny when these two groups meet up. Several of them are the kings of memes. Where did the program crew find these funny people? Finally, the Peng Hubei group and the Nasty group entered the small garden together. The small garden only has some antique buildings and scenery, and there is not much to see. The only new thing is that there is a dressing room in the small garden. There are many ancient costumes inside for tourists to try on. Zhang Wanwan took Shen Feng and went there. She has filmed costume dramas and worn period costumes, so she is not very interested in these. But she really wanted to see what Shen Feng would look like wearing these ancient costumes. She picked through the selection and found a moon-white robe for Shen Feng, with a black cloak. Then he let Shen Feng change his clothes inside by himself. She, the photographer, Li Dingting and Ji Yetnan were waiting outside. Not long. When the door creaked open, a man in a white robe and black cloak walked out. Even Zhang Wanwan was a little dumbfounded. Clothes make the man, and saddles make the horse. Shen Feng is very handsome and has always been very handsome, but he usually dresses casually and rarely dresses up. And now, he changed into an ancient-style robe and put on a cloak. It was as if he had instantly turned into an ancient nobleman. Although I always thought Shen Feng was a little handsome, I didn't expect Shen Feng in ancient costume to be so handsome. Isn't he much better looking than those first-tier stars? The most important thing is that he is not feminine at all, and looks tall and handsome. This is a real handsome guy. It's over. I was attracted by Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's cheesy love talk. Now I feel like I'm going to become Shen Feng's fan. Zhang Wanwan ran forward and circled around Shen Feng several times. Finally he looked at Shen Feng and said, "You're so handsome. Feng Zi, how does it feel to wear this? Do you feel like a different person?" Shen Feng smiled bitterly and said, "I don't feel like a different person, but I do feel like I'm becoming a dead person. It's August now. And you're wearing a long robe and a cloak. Are you afraid that I'll die of the heat?" Zhang Wanwan nodded seriously. "That makes sense, then you should take off your inner robe." Shen Feng. Li Dingting was suddenly moved when she saw Shen Feng dressed so handsomely. He took Jie Yatnam and ran into the dressing room. After a while, Jie Yatnan was dragged out with a reluctant look on his face. When the audience saw it, some of them burst into laughter on the spot. I saw Jie Yatnam, with a wig on his head. Her face was covered with a pink veil. She was wearing a pink women's dress. A handkerchief was stuffed into his hand. She looks so shy, like a bullied young wife. What a little beauty. Li Dingting is such a genius. I was eating and a grain of rice almost went into my nose. No, why do I feel like Xiaoji and women's clothing is a good match for Shen Feng? Nan Feng CP? Goodbye, Ji Yetnan is not worthy of our brother Shen. Jie Yatnan and Shen Feng were like two Barbie dolls, and their clothes were changed several times in succession. In the end, Shen Sheng couldn't help but sigh that Wanwan was indeed his biological wife. It's still pretty good for him. Although he was given several sets of clothes that were so hot that it was terribly hot, at least they were all men's clothes. Look at Jie Yatnan, who is being tormented by Li Dingting. She was wearing women's clothes from beginning to end. It can be as eye-catching as it can be. The two women played for more than an hour before letting Shen Feng and Jie Yatnan go. Left the small garden. When I came out of the small garden, it was already noon. Zhang Wanwan suggested that everyone go out for dinner together, but after Li Dingting and Jie Yatnan counted the few dollars in their pockets, they finally decided to give up. Just be hungry at noon. Anyway, the production team will definitely not let them starve to death. If you stay until the live broadcast ends in the evening, you will definitely get food. But Zhang Wanwan continued it for that long. Seeing that Li Dingting and Jie Yatnan didn't want to go, she didn't force them. He took Shen Sheng and found a nearby restaurant. She wanted to repeat the same trick. I imitated Shen Feng's way of getting a free arugiyamo in the morning, and used the excuse of advertising to get a free lunch. As a result, the restaurant owner directly refused. And they went to several restaurants in a row and were rejected every time. In the end, Zhang Wanwan had no choice but to go back to the arugiyamo shop with Shen Feng that morning. The boss here also rejected them. But the boss revealed a piece of information to them. That is, the program team has already greeted the owners of these restaurants. It will be impossible to get it for free after that. In the end, Zhang Wanwan could only bargain with the boss. I spent 15 yuan to buy 2 servings of cold noodles and started eating with Shen Feng. While eating, Zhang Wanwan said with a pained look on her face, "I only have 27 yuan left, I'm so poor." The audience heard this. First, let's look at the hungry Jie and Li and listen to a group. Balance, 9 yuan. Let's take a look at the mighty duo working for the restaurant to attract customers in exchange for lunch. Balance, 11 yuan. Then look at the Tianlu group who spent the last of their savings and bought instant noodles for lunch. Balance, 0 yuan. Finally he looked back silently at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan who were eating cold noodles with big mouthfuls. Balance, 27 yuan. Audience. How could this woman have the nerve to say the word poor? The remaining 3 groups combined are not as rich as you. Chapter 37 Master, I understand. It is impossible for anyone to watch live broadcast programs all day long. However, the popularity of the live broadcast room of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's Peng Hubei group has been increasing instead of decreasing. Because these two people are so funny and interesting. People are always sharing the live broadcast room with their relatives and friends. One person tells 10 people tell 100 people. When Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan went to the third scenic spot to check in, the number of people in the live broadcast room increased to 60. By 7 o'clock in the evening, it was getting dark and everyone had gone home from work. The number of people in the live broadcast room has grown to 100. Even Director Chen was stunned. It is normal for a variety show to have hundreds of thousands or millions of views. It's not surprising that it has tens of millions of views. But those shows are all recorded. They are lent streaming. The audience in the live broadcast room comes and goes. And it is not easy to maintain a stable number of 100. Live variety shows are generally highly interactive. But the program effects are often not as good as those of recorded variety shows after editing and production. Plus, not everyone has time to watch the live broadcast. Often only fans of celebrities will watch live variety shows. Zhang Wanwan is not a superstar, nor a top queen, and she is not even a first-tier traffic star. She can only be considered a second-rate star. Director Chen never expected that Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng would eventually attract so many audiences. Old Chen, look at these. The assistant director at the side was also surprised by the number of people in the live broadcast room. And he searched on his phone and immediately handed the phone to Director Chen. Director Chen took a look and saw the assistant director's Weibo. The entry Peng Hubei combination. I don't know when it started. But it quietly climbed to the top 40 on the trending search list. Although it is ranked very low, this entry was not purchased by their program team at all. This is truly on the hot search list. Director Chen clicked on this entry and took a look. I found out that someone has already created the topic. In the topic, many people posted edited videos. These are the 3 videos with the highest number of views. They are clips of tacit guessing of words, clips of cheesy love talks, and clips of Little Love songs. Little Love song had the highest number of views, reaching 700,000. And this is obviously the source of the heat. In the comments under the Little Love song video, many people were asking, what kind of show is this? Who is this singing man? What is the Peng Hubei group? Some internet trolls and black fans found that they could no longer discredit Shen Feng in the late broadcast room. I don't want to take other people's money for nothing. So I turned to Weibo and opened up a new battlefield. Seeing these onlookers asking questions, these internet trolls and black fans started saying that Shen Feng was a gigolo and had such and such an affair with the president of Lie and YU Entertainment. As a result, the internet trolls haven't even said a few words yet. He was directly crushed by Shen Feng's fans. That's right. Shen Feng has fans. And the fighting power is ridiculously strong. There is no doubt that Shen Feng's fans all came from the show, Let's Start Dating Today. Those are the ones who just became fans of Shen Feng today. They are all genuine and active fans. Moreover, Shen Feng's performance in the show was perfect. Naturally, these fans would not tolerate those haters saying anything bad about Shen Feng anymore. Catch one and spray one. Naturally, the haters were unwilling to be outdone and wanted to fight back. But they soon discovered that they seemed to have nothing to say in return. They said Shen Sheng and Zhang Wanwan were just hype. The fans posted a picture of the circle block and asked, have you been hyping your family since elementary school? They said that Shen Feng's participation in the show was a shady business. Fans posted a video of the tacit guessing and asked, can't they be on the show together, even though they have such good tacit understanding? Who is the mastermind? They said Shen Feng made his debut through connections. Fans posted photos of Shen Feng in period costumes and his Little Love songs. With this kind of looks and this kind of singing voice, does he need connections to debut? How many celebrities nowadays are not even half as good as him? If he is a person with connections, what can other celebrities count for? At the end of the criticism, some haters began to doubt their lives. Because a fan of Shen Feng asked them a question. Master Huakong. Donor, are you really sincere in criticizing Shen Feng? Do you really not think Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan can make you happy? The haters started thinking. Of course, I didn't mean it sincerely when I criticized Shen Feng. They have no grudge against Shen Feng, they just do the job for money. Do Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan make them happy? They were indeed happy. Today, they were even watching the live broadcast while laughing and making comments to curse Shen Feng. To be honest, they felt a little awkward at the time. Thinking back on it now, I feel even more uncomfortable. Money can buy a lot of things. But you can't buy conscience and happiness. They are going against their conscience by scolding Shen Feng. Looking at Shen Feng, they are happy again. And aren't they being ungrateful if they go against their conscience and curse the people who bring them happiness? It's not fun to make money by doing something dishonest. Finally, these haters all sent a hands folded emoticon to the Shen Feng fan whose ID was Master Huakong. Master, we have realized it. Actually, I have received the money. I will return it now. I will happily be a fan and watch the live broadcast from now on. Master Huikong, Amitabha, good, it's good that you have understood. I will continue to follow the live broadcast. Director Chen. Director Chen had an expression like an old man on the subway looking at his phone as he looked at the subversion scene in the comments section. Finally, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. Shen Feng's fans, are they too cruel? Other fans would at most criticize each other. But his fans just started to convert haters. The most outrageous thing is, why does he have a high monk fan? Director Chen clicked on the Weibo homepage of Master Huikong and found that this person was a real eminent monk with a V certification. The assistant director pushed up his glasses and said, Shen Feng's fans are very diverse. It's mainly because our kind of dating variety shows are not as selective about the audience as talent shows or singing variety shows. Anyone can watch it and everyone can find it interesting. Plus, the interaction between Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan is really interesting. So it can attract audiences from 8 to 80 years old. Director Chen's mouth twitched again. Excuse me, how did you know the date ranging from 8 to 80? Did you make it up? The assistant director said seriously. I am a very rigorous person, and everything I say is based on facts. I pushed the live broadcast to my mother and my little nephew. And they were both watching. Director Chen. But Director Chen also knew that the assistant director was right. Chen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have a strong sense of variety shows and are full of gags. The most important thing is that they have been childhood sweethearts and get along naturally. Not to mention the audience, even Director Chen finds it very interesting and relaxing to see these two people. If he is a viewer of such a live broadcast, he would be willing to share it with people around him. This way, word will spread from 1 person to 10 people and from 10 to 100 people. And naturally Shen Feng will attract all kinds of fans. The fans of those young handsome guys are usually women in their teens, 20s and 30s. Shen Feng's fans, although their number is not large at present. Maybe he doesn't even have a fraction of the number of fans that these young idols have. But there are all kinds of people, from men to women, from old to young, from Arujiyamo shop owners to monks. This kind of fan ecology is actually normal. Only those who are accepted by the general public can be considered true stars. Line YU Entertainment, we really struck gold this time. At this time Sister Lin was also browsing Weibo. Her hands were shaking. She also knew that she had really struck treasure this time. In fact, Director Chen still felt it was a bit of a pity. I think this popularity came a little late. Because when office workers get off work, their live broadcast for the day is almost coming to an end. The tasks of several groups have been completed. Of course, some groups had more difficulties, while others had smoother journeys. Especially the group of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. They finished visiting the 3 scenic spots early and spent almost the entire afternoon having fun. Although the show would still be effective even if these two people didn't do any tasks, Director Chen still felt that he was at a loss. When it was time for dinner, Director Chen told everyone via the intercom, if you don't have money for dinner, you can go back to the BB to get dinner. This is the kindness of the program team. Except for Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, the other 3 groups all ran back happily. Each person held a box lunch. They ate it with tears in my eyes. They have never tasted lunch so delicious. Hey, go watch Shen Feng's group. Quick, quick, quick. Because 3 groups of people returned to the BB. The camera in the main live broadcast room naturally cut to the BB. As a result, a barrage suddenly popped up in the main live broadcast room. Director Chen, who was picking up his lunchbox, also heard the assistant director, who had just returned to the camera after picking up his lunchbox, shouting, Old Chen, come over and see Shen Feng and the others. Director Chen hurried over. When Jiat Nan and Li Dingting's group heard that something seemed to be wrong with Shen Feng's group, they also ran to the machine. The remaining 2 groups of people took a look at it. And finally all of them came to the machine with their lunchboxes and watched. Then, click. The chopsticks in Jiatnam's hand fell to the ground. Chapter 38 The Dark Side. In the live broadcast room of the Penghubei group, Shen Feng was wearing an apron and standing in front of the stove. Spatula in right hand, wok in left hand. Take the pot off the heat and shake it. And flip it with the spatula in your hand. Then I saw flames suddenly rising in the wok. It looks really shocking. This pot is on fire. I've seen this happen when I watched chefs cooking on EV. Is it really safe? The flames are so big. Why did it suddenly catch fire? So handsome. This is a technique for increasing the heat, which is used when stir-frying. Shen Feng is so skilled at increasing the heat. It seems he is an experienced chef. The audience in the live broadcast room were stunned. Director Chen and others were even more dumbfounded. How come Shen Feng was cooking when they were just going to get their lunch boxes? It's fried so well. Director Chen quickly contacted the photographer. The photographer told director Chen that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan returned to the Arujiyamo restaurant. I used the remaining money to buy some ingredients from the store. I borrowed the kitchen from the boss and started cooking. At this time, Shen Feng had already turned off the fire. But the fried lamb with green onions on the plate. Look at the small plate of oily, rich-colored stir-fried lamb with green onions. The audience subconsciously felt that they could smell the aroma of the mutton. Shen Feng simply washed the pot, wiped it dry, and then started the fire again. Soon, he prepared another plate of sweet and sour crispy pork and a plate of stir-fried shredded potatoes. Carrying 3 dishes, Shen Feng went to the restaurant outside. Placed in front of Zhang Wanwan. A photographer gave a close-up of the 3 dishes. All 3 dishes were served on small plates and the portions were very small. Because Shen Sheng and Zhang Wanwan had less than 30 yuan. They could only buy a little bit of each ingredient. But these 3 small dishes did not give the audience a shabby feeling. On the contrary, they look extremely delicate, like 3 pieces of art. People who see it want to drool. At least the photographer has swallowed several times now. Shen Sheng spent the remaining money and bought 2 bowls of rice from the boss. Then, he started eating with Zhang Wanwan. Come, try it. Shen Feng picked up a piece of meat with chopsticks and handed it to Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan grunted and snatched the meat from Shen Feng's chopsticks. The expression on his face was one of enjoyment. I didn't expect to be able to eat Feng Zi's cooking when I came to record a variety show. I'm so happy. She sighed with satisfaction. Is it delicious? I'm not very skilled at using the pot here, so I don't know how the heat is. Shen Feng asked. Zhang Wanwan nodded quickly. And he picked up a piece of shredded potato with chopsticks and fed it to Shen Feng. Try it, it's delicious. Shen Feng ate it with a smile. We feed each other food, so our dinner is dog food. Is there any problem with feeding a dish to my best friend? No problem. I don't care even if 6 rings of locks are hung on my dog's head tomorrow. I will still eat their dog food. Feed it again so I can take a screenshot. Please. I also want a boyfriend to help me cook. And feed me. Am I the only one who noticed the point? Shen Feng feeds Zhang Wanwan meat, and Zhang Wanwan feeds Shen Feng shredded potatoes? I can't take it anymore. Zhang Wanwan's food smells so good. I can't stand it anymore. I'm going to order takeout. The rice in my bowl suddenly doesn't smell good anymore. I want to eat stir-fried lamb with green onions too. Director Chen and others in front of the camera felt the same way when they saw this comment. They also felt that the lunch boxes in their hands were no longer tasty. Their program crew was not well off to begin with. So the lunch boxes they delivered were naturally simple. Although there were meat and vegetables, there was very little meat. And now the lunch boxes are cold. Look at the freshly cooked meat dishes that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan are eating. Gap, gap. Jie Nam even cried. Director Chen saw this and quickly comforted him. It's okay. I will try to order a better lunch for you tomorrow. Jie Nan wiped his eyes and said a grieved lie. I'm not crying for this. Just thinking about how Shen Feng and his team are eating our hard-earned money makes me feel so sad. Director Chen. It seems so. No wonder he was trying to find a way to make money so early in the morning. It seems like he has been planning to cook for Zhang Wanwan for a long time. The assistant director said. Jayatnam cries even more. Director Chen said helplessly, don't be sad, I know they are eating with your money. Jiat Nan, I am so hungry this time. I love stir-fried lamb with green onions the most. Woo, woo. Director Chen. When the members of the program crew were holding their lunchboxes and looking sad, Zhang Wanwan's belly was already bulging from eating so much. He burped with satisfaction. It smells so good, Feng Zi. You are my eternal god. Shen Feng took out a tissue and wiped her mouth. Then asked with a smile, what do you want to eat tomorrow? And we still order food? Zhang Wanwan's eyes lit up. Then he said in some confusion, but it seems that I won't get so much money tomorrow. Will I still have money to cook dinner tonight? Shen Feng nodded. I have a way. What is the solution? Isn't there still Jayatnam? Xiao Jia is being targeted again. Feng Zi, Xiao Jia is watching your live broadcast. Don't say what you really think. Jayatnam is already crying. Let him go. Jayatnam, are you polite? Jayatnam in front of the machine cried even louder. Just now when we were eating, I was staring at Shen Feng. He gave all the meat to Zhang Wanwan and was eating the vegetables himself. Someone started talking about the details of Shen Feng's meal just now. When they were eating just now, Shen Feng had been eating the vegetables and left all the meat for Zhang Wanwan. Most importantly, he didn't act deliberately at all. It was completely natural. This was definitely not a deliberate act for the show. I noticed it too. And he even picked out all the green onions in detail. Really? If I could have a boyfriend like Shen Feng, I would kneel down and thank God. He is handsome, can sing, can cook, is humorous, and is very considerate. I really love him. I declare that I am Shen Feng's first wife fan. Whoever agrees or disagrees. Wait a minute, isn't your ID Shen Feng's #1 hater? Why are you a wife fan again? Some viewers noticed the ID of the person who posted this comment. Damn, I forgot to change my name after becoming a fan. So careless. Not long after, a person with the ID Shen Feng's #1 wife posted another comment. I declare that I am Shen Feng's #1 wife fan, whoever agrees or disagrees. After dinner, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan strolled leisurely back to the courtyard of the BB. And they saw that everyone in the program crew was looking at them with a weird look. Are we late? Zhang Wanwan said doubtfully. No, they just watched you guys having dinner. They were a little jealous because you guys were eating so deliciously. The assistant director came up and led the two into the courtyard. Zhang Wanwan was surprised. We are eating well, what does it have to do with them? It's not us who asked them to watch it, they just insisted on watching it. Everyone in the program team. It seems to make some sense. Director Chen sighed and waved his hand. Alright, everyone, be normal. The day's show is about to end. Next we need to count the votes of each group and the completion of the task. All four groups stood in front of Director Chen. The screens of several lit broadcast rooms were also cut to the same picture. Director Chen coughed lightly and said, First, let's announce the completion status of each group's tasks. Mighty Team, Joint Mission Accomplished, Secret Mission Accomplished. Jianlu Team, Joint Mission Accomplished, Secret Mission Accomplished. Unpleasant Combination, Joint Mission Accomplished. Secret Mission Accomplished. Peng Hubei Group, the joint mission is completed. The secret mission only Shen Feng completed it. Zhang Wanwan's expression had already frozen when Director Chen first said the word secret mission. Finished. I had so much fun today that I forgot about the secret mission. Ermati. She raised her hand weakly. Director, can we still do the mission now? What do you think? Zhang Wanwan dropped her hand weakly. Director Chen continued, the bonuses for completing secret missions have already been distributed to everyone. And the bonuses for joint missions will be distributed tomorrow morning. Now, I will announce the voting results of each group, which will affect who of you will receive more financial subsidies tomorrow. A Qianlu Group, 1055 votes. The Qianlu Group are all internet celebrities. And their fan base is not that large. Plus they both looked a bit greasy. So they didn't get many votes. These two people had guessed it long ago and were not discouraged. Whammy Band, 5,617 votes. The Wham Wham Group had the highest support rate at the beginning. However, as the two of them had a cold war during the word guessing challenge, few people voted for them. Ugly Combination, 15,357 votes. This group is interesting in itself. In addition, they interacted a lot with Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. And many people became fans of them because of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Finally, Peng Hubei Group. Director Chen began to look at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan with strange eyes again. The other three groups of people also looked at them. According to the order in which Director Chen reported the tickets, a Peng Hubei Group, which was the last to report, should have been the first. Then Director Chen spoke slowly. Peng Hubei Group. Due to a voting machine failure, the votes could not be counted and were classified as 0. Zhang Wanwan, what a shady deal. Chapter 39 You two, look back. When the audience saw Zhang Wanwan shouting about the shady dealings, they all laughed. Things change over time in the morning when I watched the lit broadcast. It was the audience who said that Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng's group was involved in a conspiracy. And in the evening, it was Zhang Wanwan herself who said that there was a conspiracy. Laughing to death, the director is so naughty. Since you don't know, I have to tell you that the director is Shen Feng's #1 hater. The secret mission given to Shen Feng in the morning is to be beaten up by his partner. Support the shady director. Don't give money to Zhang Wanwan's group. I want to see them scamming people tomorrow. H. Director Chen was just joking. Seeing Zhang Wanwan yelling about the shady dealings, Director Chen snorted. How many times have I been yelled at about the shady dealings this morning? You're the only one left. Alright, I won't fight with you anymore. I will officially announce the number of votes for the Peng Hubei Group. Peng Hubei Group, 121,981 votes. 120,000 votes. Explosive kill of the second place. When the voting number came out, Zhang Wanwan was stunned. Although she knew that her group would get a lot of votes. In fact, many of today's program effects were deliberately created by her. She knew that Shen Feng's reputation would be very bad. So I deliberately created more interesting interactions with Shen Feng. Want to change Shen Feng's image in the audience's mind. Zhang Wanwan originally thought that the number of votes for their group would only be more than 10. 0 votes higher than that of Jiat Nan and Li Tingting's group. I didn't expect that there would be 100,000 more votes in the end. Does this show really have so many viewers, director? You are not really going to do anything shady. Don't screw my Feng Zi. Zhang Wanwan looked at Director Chen and said a little furfully. I testify that I am the mastermind. I am a tourist hired by the program. Navy 1. Navy 2. I am the leader of the Navy. The barrage of comments started to make some fun. Of course, there is no shortage of sugar eating. My Feng Zi. Did you hear what she said about my home? Bullshit. This is obviously my Feng Zi. This is my husband. Bullshit. This is Zhang Wanwan's house. Bullshit. Zhang Wanwan belongs to me. Bullshit, I am yours. Director Chen stared at Zhang Wanwan seriously. Am I the kind of person who does shady things in your mind? Yes. Zhang Wanwan nodded sincerely. Director Chen. Director Chen, I don't want to bother with you. Well, now your votes have been announced. There is no doubt that Peng Hubei has won first place. And the Tianlu team unfortunately got fourth place. Tomorrow, the Peng Hubei group will receive a 10 yuan subsidy. But the Tianlu group, unfortunately, will not receive any subsidy tomorrow. Director Chen waved his hand after he finished speaking. I officially declare that the first day of recording for Let's Start Dating Today has come to an end. Let's look forward to tomorrow's mission. Good night, everyone. Seeing that the live broadcast was interrupted, the audience in the live broadcast room wailed. I am a VEP. I have paid. I want to see the paid content later. Take a photo of them sleeping. Okay, I'll give you money. I'll give you all the money. Don't end it. I'm late. Please play it for a few more minutes. It's not even 12 o'clock yet. How can today's recording be finished? Can you guys be more professional? The audience was in mourning. Suddenly, they found that the black screen suddenly lit up again. Immediately afterwards, we saw Jay Yatnan and Li Ting waving their hands stealthily in front of the camera. Hi, I'm Jay Yatnam. Can you hear me? I'm Li Ting. Is anyone else watching? Yes. I am here. The director just gave us an extra task, asking us to secretly film the lives of other couples after they go affair. I'm not interested in anyone else, but Brother Shen cheated me out of so much money today. I definitely can't let him go. If anyone supports me in secretly photographing the Peng Hubei group, deduct 1. Jay Yatnam said with a chuckle. Director Chen is really reluctant to give up such high popularity today. So they found Li Ting and Jia Tanan, who had a good relationship with Shen Fang and Zhang Wanwan, and they came up with this trick. 1,111,111,111,111. 11. The unpleasant group YYDS, go. Jia Tanan and Li Ting carried cameras and walked stealthily towards Shen Fang and Zhang Wanwan's room. At this time, in Shen Fang and Zhang Wanwan's room, after the live broadcast ended, Shen Fang and Zhang Wanwan naturally took back their mobile phones. The first thing Zhang Wanwan did after returning to her room was to open the live broadcast platform. She wanted to see if there were really so many people watching the live broadcast. As a result, I opened the live broadcast platform and took a look. Then the big heads of Jia Nan and Li Ting appeared in front of the camera. Then he said a lot of things in a babble. Summarized the main idea. He just wanted to take secret photos of her and Shen Fang. Zhang Wanwan quickly pulled Shen Fang and said, Feng Zi, look, Jia Nan and the others are coming over to take pictures. Shen Fang glanced at the phone screen and suddenly asked, Wanwan, what do you want to eat tomorrow? Why are you asking this suddenly? Zhang Wanwan was confused. If you want to eat ordinary food tomorrow, I will find a way to blackmail Jay Yatnam and the others. What if I want to eat something good? Shen Sheng spread his hands. Then I will blackmail the director again. Zhang Wanwan, then I want to eat good food. Shen Fang leaned close to Zhang Wanwan's ear and whispered a few words to her. Zhang Wanwan's expression became more and more wonderful. Finally he nodded heavily. I didn't expect you to be worse than me. Shen Fang, you are the one who taught me well, brother. The two agreed on a plan, and then quietly turned off the lights in the room. Jia Nan and Li Ting sneaked to the room of Shen Fang and Zhang Wanwan. Li Ting walked in front and pushed the door open a little. Jay Yatnam inserted the camera into the small gap. It's so dark. Li Ting said. Yeah, didn't they turn on the lights? Are you doing something exciting? I'm an adult now. I want to see the rest, going quickly. Li Ting and Jia Nan looked at each other. Then Li Ting pushed open the door. Jay Yatnan turned on the light in the room with lightning speed. But when I looked closely, there was no one in the room. They walked in puzzled. But as soon as I entered, I heard the door behind me slam shut. What's even more terrifying is that the lights in the room suddenly went out. Not to mention Li Ting and Jia Nan, even the audience were shocked. Shit, what's going on? Is NAONAO, NAONAONA Itsai? Isn't this a dating variety show? Why is it so scary all of a sudden? Wanji, save me. The two parties involved, Ji Yatnan and Li Tingting, were naturally also very frightened. Ji Yatnan said trembling Li. Li, listen you, why did you suddenly turn off the lights? Li Tingting also said trembling Li, I didn't turn off the lights. Hey, you, don't touch me. Ji Yatnan was stunned, we were both carrying the camera. How could we touch you? Don't hug my arm. Li Tingting. I didn't touch you at all. Ji Yatnan. Li Tingting. The two seemed to realize something and suddenly fell silent. But the audience heard a voice from their microphones that did not belong to them at all. You two, look back. Chapter 40, since you are the director, I will give you a friendly price. When Ji Yatnan and Li Tingting were so scared that they screamed and looked back, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan behind them had already turned on the lights. Seeing that it was the two of them, Ji Yatnan and Li Tingting did not faint from fright. You, what do you want to do? Ji Yatnan said trembling Li. Zhang Wanwan glared at him, it's not what I want to do. It's what you want to do. You're not sleeping at night and are here to secretly film us with a camera, right? Li Tingting whimpered and said, it's not what we wanted. It's the director who arranged it for us. Shen Feng walked forward, looked at them and said, did the director arrange this for you? Ji Yatnan and Li Tingting nodded quickly. Shen Feng laughed and said, I accidentally opened our live broadcast room just now. And then I heard someone say that this is an extra task given to you by the director, right? Ji Yatnan nodded again. Shen Feng added, then for the extra tasks, you should be given extra bonuses, right? Ji Yatnan nodded again. But he soon realized something was wrong and quickly shook his head. No bonus, really not. Zhang Wanwan on the side sneered. He walked up to Ji Yatnan and said, Xiao Jia, hand over the prize money and I will let you go today. If you don't hand it over, you two won't be able to leave. Ji Yatnan looked at her trembling Li. We are broadcasting live. I warn you, don't do anything excessive to us. Zhang Wanwan snatched the camera from him. Then choose a suitable location to place it. This way, the audience can see clearly what they did to Ji Yatnan. At this time, Shen Feng got a rope from somewhere. Ji Yatnan's hands. And he took off Ji Yatnan's shoes. Zhang Wanwan didn't know where she caught the beetle from. Stuffed into Ji Yatnan's socks. The beetle crawled until it reached the soles of Ji Yatnan's feet. Then, it itches so much, no, take it out. Ji Yatnan's screams were heard. It's like killing a pig. Zhang Wanwan sneered like a bandit leader. You take out the bonus. And I'll take it out. At this time, the audience watching the live broadcast were dumbfounded. Is this a dating variety show? Am I watching the wrong show? Does this count as lynching? I used to doubt whether Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were that naughty when they were young. But now I don't doubt it at all. Xiao Jia is finished. He has fallen into the hands of the Quan Suo couple. Isn't that a dead end? Poor Xiao Jia, this show is so funny. Does anyone have today's recording? I want to catch up on what I missed. Ji Yatnan was almost speechless from laughing. He said intermittently, no money, the money hasn't been paid yet. Seeing this, Shen Feng walked up to Li Tingting holding a beetle. Li Tingting shuddered immediately and said hurriedly, Brother Shen, calm down. We really have no money. The director promised us that if we complete this extra task, he would give us a bonus of $15. But the director said that we'll pay you after the job is done. So I haven't paid you yet. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng looked at each other when they heard it. Then Zhang Wanwan walked in front of the camera. He cleared his throat, acting like a kidnapper. Director Chen, listen, Ji Yatnan and Li Tingting have fallen into our hands. If you want to save them, give us the $15 reward. Otherwise, Director Chen, who was watching the live broadcast, was stunned. He originally wanted to organize an additional small event after the live broadcast to take advantage of the popularity of the live broadcast room. Who would have thought that Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng would do such a thing to him? This is amazing. This is the first time I've seen a variety show where a guest is used as a hostage to threaten the director. Another famous scene. There are too many famous scenes in today's show. This show will definitely be a hit. I can't take it anymore. Zhang Wanwan's serious look as a robber is killing me with laughter. Luckily Zhang Wanwan is an actress, otherwise looking at her behavior, she would definitely be a female bandit. The audience watched the show lively and happily, but Director Chen could only silently pocket the $15 and take his men to Shen Feng in Zhang Wanwan's room. One hand hands over the money, the other hand hands over the person. After receiving the money, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were quite happy. Just let the person go. Director Chen breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, these two people still have some sense of propriety. Thinking that these two people were quite sensible, Director Chen had the cameras in the room taken away. As a result, before the staff member could get close to the camera, He was stopped by Xin Feng. Chen Cheng said calmly. The $15 just now was the ransom money. This camera is our trophy. If you want to get the camera back, you have to pay extra. How much more? Director Chen asked. I just checked this model. ESC 550 mark, 98,000. Chen Feng tapped the camera. Since you're my director, I'll give you a friendly price of 97,000. Director Chen. He wanted to take back his previous judgment. These two have no sense of propriety. They are two robbers. Robbers? No, our production team is very poor. Don't even think about taking so much money from us, Director Chen said through gritted teeth. Zhang Wanwan rolled her eyes and suddenly asked. Director, how much money can we ask from you at most? 5 at most. No, don't even think about leaving without a penny. Director Chen stared. Then we'll sell this machine as a second-hand item online. Zhang Wanwan said this and took out her cell phone. As if she really wanted to sell it second-hand. Director Chen had no choice but to say. Okay, I'll give you 30 yuan as an extra allowance for tomorrow. Okay? Zhang Wanwan chuckled. Just when Director Chen thought she was going to agree, Zhang Wanwan's smile suddenly disappeared. And he said, 96,000. You're dreaming, 35 at most. 95,000. For 40, no more. 94,000. 45, will that do this time? Fangzi, let's sell it second-hand. Director Chen. Director Chen, 50, I'll give you 50. Okay, no more, otherwise, we won't be able to shoot the variety show. Zhang Wanwan thought about it. Then he asked Xin Feng. Can 50 yuan make a big meal? That's about right. It should be enough for the two of us. Zhang Wanwan then nodded. He took the 50 yuan from Director Chen, who looked pained. With a smile on his face, Chen Cheng handed the camera back to Director Chen. Director Chen ran away with the machine without saying a word. It seemed as if he was afraid that if he ran a step too late, he would be held hostage here by these two people. These two people are simply demons. Chapter 41, The Locked Couple YYDS. In the live broadcast room. It wasn't until about 10 minutes later when Director Chen turned off the live broadcast with a gloomy face. The barrage of comments in the live broadcast room kept flashing. There's nothing I can do about it, the last paragraph is just too interesting. I have lived for most of my life and have watched countless variety shows. But this is the first time I have seen a variety show that blackmails the director. Zhang Wanwan and Xin Feng are two geniuses. Are they trying to trick the director into giving them 0 votes before taking revenge? I think they just want to get some money to cook for tomorrow. Did anyone record this? I want to watch it again. It's really good for a show. I worked all day today and was almost annoyed by my boss. When I got home, I saw this variety show and I am so tired of laughing that I will watch the recording now. Engu Bay Group YYDS, I want to edit a cut of the two of them. It's so interesting. Quick cut, we want to see it. Zhang Wanwan excitedly scrolled through the comments in the live broadcast room for a long time. I didn't expect our reviews to be so good, Fengzi. It looks like we did a good job today. Zhang Wanwan was actually very worried that after today's broadcast, there would still be many people criticizing Xin Feng. But now it seems, her worries were completely unnecessary. Shen Cheng didn't refresh the live broadcast room, because at this moment his cell phone was ringing non-stop. Zhang Wanwan came over curiously and asked, "What's wrong?" Shen Feng smiled helplessly and said, "Our elementary school group, junior high school group, and high school group are all tagging me like crazy. And my college roommate kept asking me how I made my debut and why we were childhood friends." Zhang Wanwan opened the QQ group curiously and asked, "I'm also in the elementary and middle school group. Why didn't anyone tag me?" "Because everyone sees you on EV so often. It doesn't seem new to you anymore." Zhang Wanwan thought it made sense. Then she asked, "So how are you going to respond to them? It feels like they're going to keep asking questions." Shen Feng thought about it. Finally, a red envelope with 100 yuan in it was sent out. The password is Lucky King Chain. A string of Lucky King Chain floated across the screen. Then someone immediately shouted, "Who is the lucky one? Come out." The Lucky King silently sent out the second red envelope. Soon, several groups were flooded with red envelopes. Shen Feng set the group message to mute. Seeing that Shen Cheng conquered the gossipers in the group with just one red envelope, Zhang Wanwan couldn't help but say, "Great." Shen Cheng smiled and hooked her nose. "Where did this little kitty come from?" Zhang Wanwan bit his hand. "Please spare my life, you are a tiger, you are a tigress. Okay?" Zhang Wanwan bit even harder. It was not until Shen Feng called him Brother Wan several times that Zhang Wanwan finally let go. Then he pulled Shen Feng and said, "Come on, Fengzi. Let me take a look at the comments in the live broadcast room. Many of them are praising us." Shen Feng readily sat down next to Zhang Wanwan and leaned against the head of the bed with Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan handed the cell phone to him and leaned towards Shen Feng. Chen Sheng stretched out his hand naturally. He hugged her and said with a smile, "Okay, let's watch it together." Zhang Wanwan's face turned a little red, but he still pretended to know nothing, reading the interesting comments in the Li broadcast room to Shen Feng. Shen Sheng looked at Zhang Wanwan and hummed to indicate that he heard it. Zhang Wanwan's face became redder and redder. At last, his cell phone hit Shen Feng in the face. "What the hell? You weren't even looking at your phone, you were looking at me." Chen Sheng picked up the phone helplessly. "It's not that I've been watching you. It's really because of you." Zhang Wanwan blushed and interrupted Shen Feng before he could finish. "Don't say I'm prettier than my phone. I've heard enough cheesy love talk today. Shen Feng, it's because your head is too big and it's blocking me." Zhang Wanwan? She picked up the pillow on the bed and pressed it on Shen Feng's head. The two of them fought for a while before finally settling down. Zhang Wanwan was so tired that she was gasping for breath and snatched the phone from Shen Feng. "I'm not going to argue with you anymore. I'm going to check Weibo. There are so many people watching the live broadcast today, so there should be some discussion on Weibo." Zhang Wanwan said this and opened Weibo to take a look. As a result, I saw Peng Hubei Group, which was actually in the top 20 of the hot search list. It's actually trending, and it's ranked so high. Did Sister Lin buy it? Zhang Wanwan clicked on it in confusion. Then, she was shocked. The activity level of this hot search topic far exceeded her imagination. Originally, Zhang Wanwan just thought that Sister Lin bought this hot search. But when I went in, I found that there were actually living people in there. Various video clips of her and Shen Feng on the show, and various discussions about the two of them. One after another. There is new content every time you refresh. Even the video of them blackmailing the director more than 10 minutes ago was quickly cut out and posted in the topic. In just over 10 minutes, the number of views has exceeded 20. You have to know that even if Zhang Wanwan posts a video herself, it may not be able to gain this kind of popularity. Zhang Wanwan's eyes lit up. Fengzi, you seem to be famous now." Shen Feng pointed at the three words, Peng Hubei, on her phone screen and corrected Zhang Wanwan. "We are the ones who are famous." Zhang Wanwan rolled her eyes. "I'm already very popular, okay?" Yes, you are the most popular." Zhang Wanwan snorted complacently. After browsing Weibo and finding that no one seemed to be bashing Shen Feng anymore, and that the CP fans of the Peng Hubei group were gaining popularity, Zhang Wanwan was satisfied and planned to leave. Before she could leave, a person's ID caught her attention. Circle Locked Couple YYDS. Circle Locked Couple? What is this? Are there any new couples in the entertainment industry? Why hasn't she heard of them? Zhang Wanwan was wondering when she suddenly realized that there seemed to be quite a few people with the ID Circle Locked Couple in the topic. Zhang Wanwan was surprised. It seemed that she had never heard of such a locked couple in her previous life. And why did so many people with the Circle Locked Couple ID come to her in Feng Zi's topic? Group building? Confused, Zhang Wanwan sent a private message to the Circle Locked Couple YYDS, using her secondary account with the mentality of asking questions if she didn't understand. "What a big bull," sister asks you, "what does your ID mean? Is the Circle Locked Couple a new combination?" This circle locking couple, YYDS, is also apparently a frequent Weibo user. As soon as Zhang Wanwan asked, she replied, "Circle Locked Couple YYDS. Huh? Haven't you heard of it? It's the CP combination of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan in the show Let's Start Dating Today that aired today." Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng were both confused. What a big bull. Isn't their CP combination called Peng Hubei? Quan Suo Couple YYDS. Oh sister, I can see that you don't visit Weibo enough. The CP name Peng Hubei refers to the brotherhood between Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. The CP name Quan Suo Couple refers to the love between them. What a big bull. What a big bull. What is brotherhood? What is love? I lost my internet connection today. Can you explain it to me in detail? UAQ. So this Circle Locked Couple YYDS. I gave Zhang Wanwan a detailed introduction to the differences between Peng Hubei and Circle Locked Couple. Circle Locked Couple YYDS. Today, someone claiming to be a classmate of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan posted photos of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan when they were little, saying that they were real buddies, so those who are fans of Peng Hubei are all buddy fans. The Circle Locked Couple YYDS. But we, the fans, cannot accept this simple friendship. We want sweet love, so we insist that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan must be true love. Circle Locked Couple YYDS. Then those buddy fans brought up the story of when Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were kids and put 6 circle locks on their teacher's bicycle. Circle Locked Couple YYDS. Those of us who insist on eating Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's dog food will sooner or later be locked up by Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan with a circle lock. Circle Sock Couple YYDS. So the love CP of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan was named Circle Sock Couple. Shen Feng, Zhang Wanwan. Neither of them really expected this. Their CP name actually has such a weird origin. Originally, Shen Feng thought that Zhang Wanwan's acquisition of Penghu Bay was outrageous enough. I didn't expect the fans to be even more outrageous than Zhang Wanwan. It's true that fans follow their masters. Shen Feng murmured. At this time, Zhang Wanwan also murmured and spoke in a low voice. 6 circle locks? Why do I remember that there were 9? Did I remember it wrong? Shen Feng. Wan Ji, are you focusing on the wrong thing? Chapter 42, Trying to irritate him. Zhang Wanwan expressed her gratitude to the circle-locked couple YYDS. The circle-locked couple, YYDS, also enthusiastically sent Zhang Wanwan a bunch of sweets compiled by their fans. There are even many sweet secondary cuts. In short, it is strongly supported by the two parties involved, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. I highly recommend the Quan Suo couple. Zhang Wanwan and Zhang Wanwan both felt complicated after eating their own dog food, especially seeing that some people were discussing in the topic whether the Quan Suo couple would sleep in one bed or two beds tonight. Although the program team only arranged one room for each CP. But after all, it's just a show. It's impossible to really let the male and female guests sleep in the same bed. So each room has two single beds. When Jiat Nan came to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's room to take pictures, he had already exposed the layout of the room. So many fans of the Quan Suo couple started arguing with fans of Penghu Bay. Penghu Bay fans think that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan will not sleep in the same bed. Fans of the Quan Suo couple think that they will definitely sleep together. Some people even started writing short essays. The content is that two people squeezed into a single bed. And then this and that, and that and that. Next up is paid content. Zhang Wanwan's face turned red after reading it. And she gritted her teeth and posted a comment on the essay. You are dreaming they will never sleep in the same bed. Shen Sheng raised his eyebrows. Suddenly he approached Zhang Wanwan and whispered. Why, you don't want to sleep in the same bed with me? What the hell, two people sleeping in a single bed? Wouldn't that be so crowded? Zhang Wanwan blushed and punched Shen Feng. Besides, we are still recording the show. Can you please stop thinking about weird things? Shen Feng sighed. With an aggrieved look on his face, he said helplessly, some people are just like that. Before I got you, I was so enthusiastic that I had to drag you to get the marriage certificate. After I got you and slept with you, I got tired of you and abandoned you. I started to find all kinds of reasons to distance myself from you. Zhang Wanwan's eyes widened. Can you please stop talking nonsense? I have never slept with you. How could I be tired of you? How could I abandon you after having fun with you? Shen Feng spread his hands. Once at your villa, and once at my house. Can that be called sleeping? Isn't that just simply sleeping together? Zhang Wanwan argued. But Shen Feng had a puzzled expression. Why not sleep? Isn't this what you understand by sleep? Then what do you think it means? Zhang Wanwan pursed her lips. She knew that Shen Feng was pretending to be stupid again. But she was shy and didn't know what words to use to shut Shen Feng up. So he simply picked up the pillow and blocked his mouth. In the end, Shen Feng still failed to sleep in the same bed with Zhang Wanwan. Zhang Wanwan's reasons were very sufficient. I wonder what weird things this wicked program crew will do tonight. What if they launch another night attack in the middle of the night? So Shen Feng failed to succeed in the end. The next morning, they both got up on time and reported to the courtyard. At exactly 8 o'clock, the second day of live broadcast of Let's Start Dating Today officially began. Because Shen Feng kidnapped Jiat Nan and blackmailed director Chen yesterday, his pockets are full. Plus the subsidy issued this morning. The Penghu Bay duo of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have a full $75 to spend today. The other groups of guests were moved to tiers. It was promised to be a survival love variety show. So the three groups are responsible for survival, and Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan are responsible for love. Because she had money in her pocket, Zhang Wanwan found a breakfast shop in the morning and prepared to have a meal first. When ordering food, Zhang Wanwan's mind became active. With yesterday's experience, Zhang Wanwan planned to complete the secret mission first. She thought her secret mission today was simple. Annoy your partner once. This order seems like a good opportunity. Zhang Wanwan thought about it and suddenly handed the menu to Shen Feng. Fengzi, I don't know what to eat, you can order some. Shen Feng raised his eyebrows. There is actually a time when Zhang Wanwan doesn't know what to eat. How strange. He took the menu, looked at it and said, you like tofu pudding, how about ordering one for you? Zhang Wanwan swallowed greedily. Tofu pudding is one of her favorite breakfasts. But when I think about the secret mission, Zhang Wanwan immediately suppressed the throbbing in her heart. He said awkwardly, tofu pudding is full of soup, how can it fill you up? Then order another sesame cake? What's so delicious about sesame cakes? Can't you pick something good? How about a Rujiamo? Okay, no, I just ate it yesterday and I'm eating it again today. I'm getting tired of it. Shen Feng turned a page on the menu. How about a basket of their specialty siumai? Zhang Wanwan swallowed again. Then he whispered, Shen Cheng had no choice but to hand the menu to Zhang Wanwan. Why don't you take a look at what you want to eat? Zhang Wanwan snorted, I don't care. Why is it so difficult for you to choose breakfast? You are so indecisive. Are you still a man? Shen Feng. Fang Zi is speechless. This is the standard conversation between me and my girlfriend. It's so funny every time I ask her what she wants to eat. She says it doesn't matter, but if I choose one, she has an opinion. Wanwan wants to use this method to anger Shen Feng and complete the task. I'm afraid Wanwan will be disappointed. She may not be able to complete the task all day today. I am dying of laughter. I can only say that the production team is too mean. They deliberately gave Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan this kind of task. If Zhang Wanwan saw Shen Feng's mission, I wonder if she would collapse. The audience in the live broadcast room can see Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's respective secret missions. Zhang Wanwan's mission is to irritate her partner once. And Shen Feng's mission. Today you are not allowed to be angry with your partner. Obviously, this is what the program crew did on purpose. So the audience was dying of laughter when they saw Zhang Wanwan trying to provoke Shen Feng. I have to admit that this program crew is really good at putting on a show. Director Chen in front of the screen looked at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan and sneered. Dare to cheat him? Then don't blame him for coming back. Let me show you what it means that old ginger is still spicy. After listening to Zhang Wanwan's words, Shen Feng was silent for a moment. In the end, I wasn't really angry. Instead, I ordered a bowl of tofu pudding, a basket of special steamed buns and a arugiyamo. Zhang Wanwan ate with big mouthfuls while mumbling incoherently. You ordered all the food I don't like. Can you please swallow what's in your mouth before you speak? The way you wolf down your food is not convincing at all. Some comments looked at the way Zhang Wanwan ate and couldn't help but complain. Shen Feng nodded, and then asked with an open mind. What do you like to eat? I'll order it for you next time. Zhang Wanwan glared at him. You don't even know what I like to eat. And you actually asked me. You don't even have me in your heart. Shen Cheng spread his hands helplessly. Yeah, I also found that I have no idea what you like to eat. I was planning to stew pork ribs and make fried shrimp for you tonight. But now I think I'd better forget it. What if you don't like it? How about I just give you the money, and I won't cook tonight? You can order food yourself, okay? Zhang Wanwan's expression froze for a moment. She chewed the food in her mouth dryly and swallowed it with difficulty. Then he looked at Shen Feng pitifully and said, just pretend that I didn't say anything just now, okay? Shen Feng shook his head. Zhang Wanwan's expression became even more pitiful. Feng Zi, don't. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gotten angry with you. I was wrong. I want to eat fried shrimp tonight, please. She is scared, she is scared, she is scared, she is scared. Zhang Wanwan thought she had captured Shen Feng's heart. But in fact, Shen Feng had captured her stomach. Shen Feng's move was a sure kill. Chapter 43. Then I leave? After breakfast, walk on the street. Zhang Wanwan's mood was complicated. In order to complete the secret mission, she has to provoke Shen Feng. But in order to save her dinner, she couldn't offend Shen Feng. Zhang Wanwan started to have a headache. Shen Feng saw Zhang Wanwan with her head down in deep thought, and suddenly moved closer to her. He also turned off the microphone and started muttering to Zhang Wanwan. What are they saying? Come closer and listen. Ah, so close, how about a kiss? Please respect yourself if you are a fan of the circle. Photographer, please come closer. I want to hear their whispers. Director Chen also quickly reminded the photographer. He always felt that these two bandits had no good intentions, and he must not let them have the chance to plot. As a result, when the photographer came forward, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's whispering had already ended. The two of them looked normal, as if nothing had been said. Ah, what a pity, I didn't hear what they said. Ah, what a pity, they didn't kiss. I don't know what they said, but their expressions didn't change at all. Although, with my woman's sixth sense, I think Wanwan should be very angry now, and she should not be angry at Feng Zi. With my 5.0 vision, I also noticed this because I saw Zhang Wanwan clench her fists. The audience always feels that someone is going to be unlucky, but I don't know who it is. In fact, Shen Feng didn't say much to Zhang Wanwan, just a few quick words. Shen Feng, does your mission make me angry? Zhang Wanwan, how do you know? Shen Feng, I don't know you yet. Zhang Wanwan, then why don't you pretend to be angry? Shen Feng, because my mission is not to be angry with you today. Zhang Wanwan, is the director so wicked? Shen Feng, yes, but I have a way to cure him. Let's go back to the BB later. And then, Zhang Wanwan clenched her fists and nodded. Director Chen, who was looking at the screen in the courtyard of the BB, shuddered inexplicably. He felt as if he was suddenly being watched. Director Chen rubbed his hands and murmured, could it be that Shen Feng knows what the secret mission I gave Zhang Wanwan is? Suddenly he shook his head again. It's okay, it's okay. Even if they know, so what? Their missions are against each other. In the end, only one person can complete the secret mission. I was cheated out of so much money yesterday, I must take revenge today no matter what. The assistant director at the side heard Director Chen's mumbling and pushed his glasses. He pointed at the screen and said, "Look where they are going." Director Chen looked at the screen again. But he found that there were not only Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan on the screen. There is still him and his machine. Director Chen reacted and raised his head in surprise. Only then did I realize that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan had returned to the BB without me noticing when. And stood right in front of him. Director Chen showed an awkward yet polite smile on his face. "Hey, Xiao Shen, Wanwan, why are you back?" He felt a little guilty. But soon, he became tough again. What is he afraid of? He is the director. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan looked at each other. After exchanging glances, Zhang Wanwan suddenly said with a wronged look on her face, "Feng Zi, the 50 yuan that Director Chen gave me yesterday was fake." Shen Feng heard this. He immediately raised his eyebrows and shouted at Director Chen, "Chen Ming, you are a director after all. You gave me a fake bill for a mere 50 yuan. Do you have any manners? You are so brave to cheat a little girl. Do you really think no one can stop you?" Director Chen was shocked at the time. He has been a director for so long. He is the one yelling at the artists. This is the first time I've been yelled at by an artist. Director Chen got furious at that moment. If the tiger doesn't show its power, do you think I'm a sick cat? He stood up and was about to refute Shen Feng. Then I saw Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan picked up the bench nearby. Thinking back to the glorious deeds these two had done when they were young and the banditry they committed last night, Director Chen's anger subsided at that moment. He sat back on the stool obediently. He said with a smile, "We are all civilized people. Calm down, calm down. Give me some face, I am the director after all. If things get really awkward between us, you won't be able to stay on this show." Zhang Wanwan raised an eyebrow. "Then I'll leave." Director Chen glanced at the tens of thousands of people online in the Penghubei live broadcast room. And I looked at the other live broadcast rooms, and the total number of viewers barely reached 10. "Zero." Finally he hurriedly said, "Don't go, how about I go?" "I go?" Director Chen felt that even if he left, the assistant director could continue filming the show. But if Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng left, I think this show is going to be a complete mess. Zhang Wanwan snorted after hearing this. He put down the bench in his hand and sat on it. She crossed her legs like a female boss. Shen Feng also sat next to Zhang Wanwan. He looked at Director Chen and his tone suddenly softened. "We're not leaving, and you don't have to leave either. You gave us 50 counterfeit dollars yesterday. Just give us $50 as compensation now." Director Chen covered his pocket and said, "No. Besides, how could the 50 I gave you yesterday be fake? Speak with evidence. Where is the evidence?" Shen Feng spread his hands. "There is no evidence, because I just said it." Director Chen. But Shen Feng suddenly stretched out his hand again. "If you don't give 50, you have to give $5, right?" Director Chen looked at him and said, "No, you can't just ask for money. Why should I give you $5? I'm telling you I have dignity. If you keep pushing me like this, I won't give you any money even if I leave right away." Using the most ruthless tone to say the most pitiful words. "You are a director after all. Can you be more confident?" I am dying of laughter. Who else but this couple could force the director to leave? I suddenly felt that the director was so miserable. Just as miserable as Jay Atnam. So the true meaning of the survival of variety show is that the director wants people to survive? Shen Feng said sincerely, "Why am I asking for money? I am a reasonable person, right?" Director Chen. Why is he so unconvinced? Shen Feng continued, "The $5 I want is the reward for Wanwan completing the secret mission. That should be fine, right?" There's a problem, there's a big problem. When did she complete the mission? Director Chen slapped his thigh and said, "Did you lose your temper with her?" "No, you were obviously losing your temper with me." Shen Feng took Zhang Wanwan's task card. He waved in front of Director Chen. "Director Chen, you wrote the task yourself, you read it carefully. Wanwan's secret mission is to irritate her partner once. It's not like I, as a partner, have to be angry with her." Shen Feng still looked like he was being reasonable. "Zhang Wanwan did irritate me just now, is that okay? It's just that my anger is directed at you. So, $5. Thanks. By the way, prepare another $5 and give them to me after I finish my mission tonight." Director Chen looked at the task card in Shen Feng's hand with complicated eyes. His lips were trembling. "So careless. Careless. It's too much. Amazing, I didn't expect this. I just thought Shen Feng was really angry and scared me. But I didn't expect it was intentional. The director dared to set up a trap for the couple. He must be unaware of what they did when they were kids. What a miserable director. What a cruel Shenfeng. I love you so much. Feel sorry for the director for a second. Then, in the end, Director Chen could only silently take out $5, handed it to Shenfeng. But when Shenfeng took the money, Director Chen, however, was reluctant to let go. Instead, he held onto the corner of the money reluctantly. After a moment of stalemate, Director Chen suddenly came to his senses. He stared at Shenfeng, as if he had caught something wrong with Shenfeng. No, Shenfeng, Zhang Wanwan, I found your weakness. Don't even think about taking these $5. Don't even think about completing any of your secret missions today. Director Chen, who had been feeling aggrieved for a long time, finally had the courage to stand up. He felt that he was about to transform into a god of war and kill everyone in sight. Chapter 40 For the real survival is coming. Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan were both stunned for a moment. How come Director Chen suddenly seems like a different person? Could it be that there really was some omission or clue that he had caught hold of? Oh, the director is so awesome. The director is so arrogant. The director is going to kill. The director is going to show off his power. Then Director Chen sneered and said, Student Shenfeng. Student Zhang Wanwan. If I remember correctly, I said that yesterday morning when the recording just started. Secret missions must be kept secret and your partners must not know about it. Otherwise it will not count. When you two were whispering to each other with your microphones turned off just now, you must have told each other about your secret missions, right? Director Chen was very proud. So not only can I not give you these $5, but Shensheng will not get the other $5 tonight either. Zhang Wanwan felt a little guilty, because they had just secretly communicated with each other about their secret missions. I didn't expect that Director Chen would catch this. It's over. Not only can I not take revenge on Director Chen, but I will also be controlled by Director Chen. Zhang Wanwan looked at Shenfeng. Unexpectedly, Shenfeng was exceptionally calm. Do you have any evidence? You have to provide evidence when speaking. You just said that. Director Chen. Director Chen. Director Chen, you guys have made it so obvious. Do you still need evidence? Shenfeng still had that expression that said, I'm being reasonable. He looked at Director Chen seriously and said, I have only roughly guessed what Zhang Wanwan's mission is, but I have never been sure of it. For example, if I bought a random lottery number and won 5 million, but I know the winning number in advance? I guessed all the questions correctly in the college entrance examination and got full marks. Can you call me cheating? No, this can only be called good luck. I just happened to catch up. Me too. I wasn't sure what Zhang Wanwan's mission was, so I just guessed it. I didn't expect that I got it right. Director Chen held it in for a long time. Finally, he gritted his teeth and said, I don't believe it. Don't try to quibble. You must have discussed the secret mission with Zhang Wanwan in a whisper. Where's the evidence? If you guys are not doing anything wrong, do you really need to shut up? Shenfeng looked at Director Chen strangely. Did Director Chen like to use a loudspeaker to broadcast it to the world when he confessed his love to your wife? Director Chen also looked at Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan in astonishment. So you were confessing your love just now? No. And what the hell are you talking about? Director Chen said angrily. I'm just giving you an example to refute you. You can also give me another example to refute me. Shenfeng shrugged. Anyway, if you don't have evidence to prove that Zhang Wanwan and I revealed information related to the mission in that private conversation, then give me the $5. Director Chen feels awkward. It's so awkward. He knew clearly that there must be something wrong between Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan, but he just couldn't beat these two people. That's so frustrating. Finally, Director Chen gritted his teeth and said to Shenfeng, No, I said no and I won't give it to you. Although there is no evidence, I am sure you have violated the rules. I will never give you this money no matter what. Shenfeng, then I'll leave? As he said that, Shenfeng was about to take off the equipment on his body. The movements were very smooth. Director Chen. Director Chen. Your uncle, you are my uncle. How do you go? Here you go, okay? Shenfeng took the $5 from Director Chen with satisfaction, then walked away hand in hand with Zhang Wanwan. Director Chen sat there shaking with anger, unable to speak for a long time. A group of people expressed sympathy in the barrage. The assistant director also patted Director Chen on the shoulder and said, It's only $5, why bother? Director Chen said unwillingly, This is not just $5. This is even more dignity. The dignity of a director. The assistant director thought for a moment and consoled her. I'm not very good at console people, but I think this little thing is not enough to make you lose your dignity. Really? Director Chen was stunned. Well, because your dignity was lost last night. Director Chen. You don't have to comfort me. Otherwise it will be hard for me not to think of you as Shenfeng's accomplice. The assistant director sighed. He thought about it and comforted her. In fact, Shen Feng and the others are probably just doing it for the show effect. You are the elder and the director, how could they really want to piss you off? Right? Director Chen felt that there was some truth in this statement. That's right, it's just a recording of a show, just a joke, just for the show effect. Why should I be so angry? He took a deep breath and tried to adjust his mentality. As a result, I heard the following conversation coming from the live broadcast room with Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. How was it? How does it feel to get revenge on the director? It feels great. Director Chen. The show effect is shit. They are just sincere. The program cruise filming in the tourist town lasted a total of 3 days. Of course, this doesn't mean that the 3-day program is about to end. Instead, the program crew is going to change to a new location for filming. Before the end of the 3rd day's live broadcast, Director Chen announced to the 4 groups of guests that the shooting location would be changed. Director Chen said, starting tomorrow, our filming location will be moved to the city of La in Yu County. A new Q&A shopping plaza has been built in La in Yu County and will be officially open soon. We will do the next recording there during the trial operation before the opening. And we heard that we were going to move to a new location. Everyone cheered. It's not that this tourist town is bad. The main reason is that the prices here are relatively high. And it is really not easy to survive here. Of course. Except for the group of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. But Director Chen's next words made everyone wail again. But I have some bad news for you all. Because of limited vehicles, the 4 groups of guests will need to walk through Shiwo Mountain and arrive at La Yu County behind Shiwo Mountain tomorrow. Of course, this will also be broadcast live. During the hiking process, the production team will only provide each of you with a bottle of mineral water and a bag of biscuits. If you need other water and food, you will need to find them by yourself. If you walk fast tomorrow, you may be able to reach the county town before dark tomorrow. If you walk slowly, you may have to spend the night in Shiwo Mountain. Director Chen chuckled and said, then today's recording is officially over. Everyone, go to bed early and get ready for tomorrow's trip through Shiwo Mountain. After saying that, Director Chen slipped away. The live broadcast screen also went dark. But the audience in the live broadcast room became excited at this moment. Oh, my god, this is so exciting. This is real survival. I didn't expect to see this on a dating variety show. Let's hurry up today. I need to hurry until tomorrow to enjoy the sweet moments between Shen Feng and Wanwan in the primeval forest. Shiwo Mountain is not really a primeval forest. It's just a small forest, but it's interesting to let a group of celebrities survive in the mountains. I don't know if these young guys can bear it. I remember that internet celebrity Xiaotian Shu seemed to be an outdoor anchor. I remember that he had recorded outdoor survival videos before. He should be fine, but it's hard to say about others. Luckily I have a day off tomorrow. I will definitely stay up all day before the leap broadcast tomorrow. The audience was excited. The guests were wailing. Why do we have to walk there? Isn't this a rip-off for the production team? Jayat Nan squatted on the ground holding his head and said, will there be lions or tigers in the mountains that will eat me? Zhang Wei also frowned and said, although there aren't lions or tigers, we were only given a bottle of water and a bag of biscuits each. And we were asked to walk so far, this supply is not enough. Li Dingting, Meng An, and the female internet celebrity named Chen Lu, all looked quite scared. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were both quite calm. Both of their families are from Qinglu County, and there are many mountains near Qinglu County. They had climbed countless mountains when they were young, so they didn't even take Shiwo Mountain seriously. It's the internet celebrity named Xiaotian Shu. At this moment, he looked like a spiritual leader. He coughed lightly and said to everyone, don't be too anxious, and don't be too scared. Actually, I'm just an outdoor anchor. I used to do a survival show. With me here, I guarantee that everyone can safely and happily cross Shiwo Mountain. Everyone just take a good rest tonight. Tomorrow morning, we will set off with full energy. Xiaotian Shu is ready to go. In the past few days, he and his partner Chen Lu have been at the bottom of the vote count. There was no room for him to perform. Now, we are finally at his home turf. Xiaotian Shu's heart was filled with pride. He glanced at Shen Sheng and Zhang Wanwan. He knew that this group had become extremely popular recently. You are very popular, but unfortunately by tomorrow, all your popularity will belong to me. Haha. Chapter 45. The signal is so good. Can't you check it yourself? Early the next morning, the 4 groups of guests set out on their journey across Shiwo Mountain. The tourist town is built with its back to Shiwo Mountain, so it is very close to Shiwo Mountain. After walking for less than half an hour, the group left the tourist town and entered the forest of Shiwo Mountain. The environment of Shiwoshan is quite good. It is summer now, and the trees in the mountains are lush and green. The star-like morning light shines through the gaps between the leaves. Bright but not dazzling. A beautiful scenery made Jiat Nan, Zhang Wei and others feel better. Office animals who work from home to work every day are about to cry when they see this kind of scenery. The feeling of the early morning sunlight shining through the leaves is really beautiful. A production team loves it. I also want to travel when I have a holiday. I feel that standing in this kind of environment for a while will make people feel better. Jiet Nan, Shang Wei and others thought so too. But after walking on the mountain road for an hour, they no longer thought so. Although the road to Shuo Mountain is not very steep, it is definitely not flat. After more than an hour's trek up the mountain, it was not a big deal for the two grown men, Jiet Nan and Shang Wei. The three girls, Li Dingting, Meng Yan and Chen Lu, were too tired to walk anymore. Most importantly, they drank all the water they brought with them on the way. Li Dingting wiped the sweat off his face, looked at Jiet Nan and said, "Xiao Jia, do you have any water?" Jiet Nan handed his water to Li Dingting. Meng Yan also looked at Shang Wei. However, Shang Wei pretended not to notice Meng Yan's gaze, unscrewed the bottle cap, and drank the wine in big gulps. Shang Wei did this on purpose, right? So selfish. No, he didn't seem to see Meng Yan's expression. Besides, if Meng Yan wanted to drink water, wouldn't he have just said so directly like Li Dingting? Why is he pretending to be so quiet? Xiao Tianshu is still more manly. He gave the water to Chen Lu himself. Hey, where are Wan Wan and Feng Zi? Suddenly, some viewers discovered that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan had disappeared from the camera. Because there were 4 groups of people acting together today, and the mountain road was difficult to walk on, there was only one team of photographers following us. There is no distinction between main and secondary lit broadcast rooms. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng disappeared, and the audience couldn't find them even if they tried to find them. A photographer and others seemed unaware that 2 people were missing. Because now, they are listening to Xiao Tianshu talking. Xiao Tianshu said to everyone, "I know everyone's water is almost gone. But don't worry. I did some research last night. There is a small river in Shuo Mountain. It should not be far from where we are now. Based on the growth of the grass and trees here, as well as the condition of the soil, I feel that the water source should be directly north of us. You guys can rest here first. I will go find water for everyone. Don't worry, I am here to ensure that everyone leaves Shuo Mountain safely." As a result, Xiao Tianshu had just finished speaking, and I heard Zhang Wanwan's voice coming from not far away. "Any of you still need some water to drink? We found a river right here." Xiao Tianshu. Everyone who was listening to Xiao Tianshu speak immediately ran in the direction where Zhang Wanwan was speaking, including photographers. Only Xiao Tianshu was left there, opening his mouth. Finally, I followed in frustration. When everyone walked over to Zhang Wanwan, they found that Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng were squatting beside a small river. The river water is crystal clear and looks extremely clean. "Brother Shen, how did you find the water?" Jiet Nan came up curiously and asked. "Can you also determine the location of water sources based on the growth of plants?" Before Shen Feng could say anything, Zhang Wanwan looked at Jiet Nan in confusion. "How could we possibly do this? Do you think we are tomb robbers and can read Feng Shui? So how did you find the water?" "It's marked on the mobile phone map. Although this is in the mountains, the signal is still pretty good. Can't you check it yourself?" Zhang Wanwan took out her cell phone and waved it in front of Jiet Nan. Because today is an outdoor activity, guests are allowed to bring their mobile phones for easy communication. Xiao Tianshu had analyzed it so professionally for a long time before, but in the end he still lost to high technology. Xiao Tianshu was so dumbfounded that he couldn't say a word. I was still there listening to his logical analysis. It was so funny. Xiao Tianshu was indeed feeling a little embarrassed at the moment. He coughed, frowned, and said sternly to Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng, "You two, don't leave the team and sneak away without permission anymore. Do you hear me? It's very dangerous to be scattered in the mountains. If something happens, there will be no way to contact each other." "There is a way to contact them." Zhang Wanwan shook the phone again. "Didn't I tell you? Is there a signal here?" Xiao Tianshu. He took a deep breath. Then he added, "It's not a question of signal or not. You don't know how to survive in the mountains if you really encounter sudden danger. You won't have time to make a phone call, understand? I am a professional survivalist if you want to leave Shuo Mountain safely. Just listen to me and follow me." Zhang Wanwan said. Shen Qing smiled and patted her head, then looked at Xiao Tianshu and said, "Sorry, we will act as a group next time." Only then did Xiao Tianshu nod. Although Zhang Wanwan is not very obedient, it seems that Shen Feng is still sensible. After everyone had filled their bottles with water, Xiao Tianshu led his men out again. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan walked at the end of the team. Zhang Wanwan leaned next to Shen Feng and whispered, "I think I made Xiao Tianshu unhappy just now?" For some reason, Zhang Wanwan felt as if Xiao Tianshu disliked her. Shen Feng chuckled and said, "Originally, I thought that today's outdoor survival was a stage for him to perform. But you took out your phone and waved it around. stealing all the limelight from others. As strange that they are happy. Zhang Wanwan still felt quite aggrieved. I didn't steal the limelight. It was indeed on my phone, so what should I do? Should I apologize to him? That's not necessary. The people were whispering. But at this time in the live broadcast room, many people were hurriedly launching barrages. There's a snake next to Li Tingting. It's a really big one. There is a snake, did you see it? There is a snake. It's over. Is the photographer blind? Snake. The group of Li Tingting and Jiatnan is in the second to last position. At this moment, not far from Li Tingting's feet, a dark brown snake was crawling close to the ground. Li Tingting was walking when he suddenly felt something rubbing against his feet. She looked down. Then, there was a scream of fright. Chapter 46. If I want to see you make a fool of yourself, I will do this. Li Tingting's scream made everyone look at her. Then, she looked at the dark brown snake at her feet. The snake was nearly 2 meters long. Even if it doesn't move, it's enough to be a deterrent. Chen Lu and Meng Yan were also frightened and screamed instantly. Li Tingting's face turned pale and she was about to cry. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng looked at each other and were thinking about going forward to help Li Tingting. Then Xiao Qianshu shouted hurriedly, "Don't move. The snakes in this mountain may be poisonous. So don't get close to them. Everyone get away from that snake immediately and let me handle it." When Shang Wei and the others heard that it might be poisonous, they ran away immediately. Jiatnan was also a little scared. He also wanted to run, but Li Tingting was holding his arm tightly. In the end, Jiatnan finally hardened his heart and acted like a man. Not only did he resist not leaving, he also held Li Tingting's hand. Jiatnan won't run away. It might be poisonous. Xiao Jia. My Xiao Jia, finally I am a man. Now is not the time to praise Xiao Jia. Hurry up and find a way to save him. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng were also a little surprised. I didn't expect that this unlucky guy, Jiatnan, has such a manly side. And I heard Jiatnan rambling say, "Li Tingting, my legs are a little weak. I can't stand steadily. You hold me up." Shen Feng. Zhang Wanwan. At this moment, the black and brown snake was circling around Li Tingting's feet. Li Tingting was so scared that he screamed out an octave higher. Zhang Wanwan has a good relationship with Li Tingting. And seeing this, she wanted to step forward again. As a result, Xiao Qianshu stopped her again. He said seriously, "Don't come near. Leave this matter to the professionals." He broke off a branch from the tree and tried to pick the snake away from Li Tingting. Xiao Qianshu was delighted when he saw the snake hanging on his branch. He will drive the snake away himself later, and then won't the barrage of comments praise him. The only chance he has to perform is today's wilderness survival segment. If he doesn't seize the time to showcase his abilities now, he will never have a chance to become famous through this show. Thinking in his mind, Xiao Qianshu carefully tried to pick up the snake hanging on the branch and move it aside. But snakes are not so easy to pick up. Just as Xiao Qianshu lifted the branch, the snake slid down from the branch. It hit Li Tingting's foot right on target. Li Tingting was so frightened that he howled again. Zhang Wanwan almost blocked her ears after hearing this. She felt that if Li Tingting could maintain this performance, he would have no problem singing, let alone opera. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, it was just a mistake. Don T move. I will drive it away. The snake suddenly fell down, and Xiao Qianshu was also startled. Then he quickly comforted Li Tingting. At the same time, he picked up the snake with a branch again. This time he didn't hesitate and threw it to the side. I thought I could successfully throw the snake far away this time. As luck would have it, he fell on Jiatnan's legs, but Jiatnan was wearing shorts. The snake's cool scales touched Jiatnan's legs, and the touch made Jiatnan howl. He tried to kick the snake away, but before he could get rid of it, it had wrapped around his legs. Just take a bite. Jiatnan screamed in pain and fell to the ground. Xiao Jia. Quick, someone call 120. I hope Xiao Jia is okay. Does the program crew have no professional personnel accompanying them? What is Xiao Qianshu doing, throwing snakes at other people? Does he want to kill people? The comments in the live broadcast room were in chaos. Xiao Qianshu was also panicked at this time. He said he was a professional wilderness survivalist. But in fact, he only shot a few short videos about survival in the wild under the packaging of an agency. He thought he was more experienced than others, but when faced with something like this, he was still scared. What if this snake is really poisonous? In case something happens to Jiatnan, then he is completely ruined. Just as Jiatnan was screaming in pain, Xiao Qianshu was frightened and panicked. And the others were at a loss. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng walked slowly to Jiatnan's side. Shen Feng stretched out his hand, grabbed the snake's head and strangled it. Feng Zi, what are you doing? No, this is too dangerous. As a result, Shen Feng looked calm and even reached out to pat Jie Nan's bitten calf. Quiet, quiet, stop shouting. Why you Shu brother Shen? Am I poisoned? Am I going to die? Jie Nam was crying now. Shen Feng looked at him twice, then nodded. Yes, you are going to die. So tell me now, what is the password of your bank card? The password is 135. No, brother Shen, it's already this late. Let's stop joking. Then just be quiet for a while. Wow, how can I calm down? I feel like I'm starting to feel dizzy and I'm almost poisoned to death. Can't I say a few more words? Shen Feng. Looking at Jie Nam who keeps crying. Shen Feng thought about it, and finally put the snake Jie Nan in front of him. Jie Nam made eye contact with the snake. His cry was then choked back in his throat. Seeing that Jie Nan finally calmed down, Shen Feng sighed. Student Jie Nan, next time you shout that you are going to be poisoned to death, can you open your eyes and check if your legs are injured? Jie Nam sniffed. He looked at his calves trembling lie. Then, his expression became stunned. There is no wound on his leg. Shen Feng held up the snake in his hand and said to Jie Nan. This snake is called the Black Bandit Snake first. It is not poisonous second, its attack is very weak. It was just passing by. Normally it was provoked by Xiaotian Shu Weiss that aroused its self-defense consciousness. So it bit you. But because the teeth of this snake are serrated, if you are bitten by it, don't drag it or throw it away. Just pry open its mouth and take it away, it won't leave a deep wound. Your legs are thick and tough, and the Black Banded Snake didn't even break your skin. So why are you yelling about being poisoned? Jie Nan wiped away her tears and said a grieved lie. But I really feel dizzy. Before Shen Feng could say anything, Zhang Wanwan said seriously, maybe it's because you screamed too loudly and you're short of oxygen. Jie Nan. It seems to make sense. Seeing that the danger was over and the snake was still under Shen Feng's control, the others dared to approach. Li Tingting was concerned about Jie Nan, and Shang Wei was looking at the snake. As for Xiao Shu, he felt very uncomfortable because he had lost face again. He had carefully used a branch to pick up the snake, acting as if he was very scared. As a result, not only were Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan not afraid, Shen Cheng even dared to hold the snake directly in his hands. Doesn't this make him seem even more timid than before? Xiaotianshu gritted his teeth secretly, and finally said suddenly, since you already knew that this snake is not poisonous and not dangerous, why didn't you say it earlier? If you had come to help earlier, would Jie Nan have been so frightened? Would we all have been so scared? Zhang Wanwan looked at Xiaotianshu with a strange expression. I wanted to help, but you told us not to get close and let professionals handle it. Before, you complained that we didn't listen to you and didn't follow the main force. I admitted my mistake, now I listen to you. Why are you still not happy? She thought this man was really strange. You can't not listen to him. And you can't listen to him either. Xiaotianshu already felt uncomfortable. After hearing what Zhang Wanwan said, he felt even more embarrassed. He frowned and said angrily, I did that for your safety. I was thinking about you with good intentions, and you just contradict me like that? Zhang Wanwan said innocently, how could I contradict you? Didn't I tell the truth? Truth? I think the truth is that you all want to see me make a fool of myself. Xiaotianshu pointed at Zhang Wanwan's nose and said loudly. He felt that Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng deliberately did not come to help earlier just to make fun of him. As a result, as soon as he stretched out his hand, his fingers were grabbed by Shen Feng beside him. He was about to scold Shen Feng, but he saw Shen Feng was also looking at him. Chen Cheng said slowly, first, you are the one who is too ambitious and wants to show off your own abilities. It has nothing to do with Wanwan Dan Ti put the blame on us. Secondly, it is very rude to point your finger at someone's nose. If you didn't know this before, I will teach you now. Third, if you think we wanted to see you make a fool of yourself before, then you really wronged us. Chen Cheng held Xiaotianshu's fingers in one hand and held the black snake in the other. And he calmly hung the snake on Xiaotianshu's arm. He is very calm. But Xiaotianshu couldn't remain calm. Even though he knew that the black-necked snake was not poisonous, he would still feel scared instinctively when faced with a snake that was nearly 2 meters long. He was so scared that he fell to the ground and tried desperately to shake the black snake off. But the black bandit snake was also frightened and wrapped itself tightly around Xiaotianshu's arm. So the man and the snake rolled on the ground. Xiaotianshu struggled non-stop and looked particularly embarrassed. At this time, Shen Feng continued what he had just said. If I want to see you make a fool of yourself, I'll do this. Got it? Chapter 47. It's a pity to throw it away. It doesn't matter who you give it to. Whether it is Director Chen, the audience, Li Tingting, Jie Nan and others. It's still Zhang Wanwan. Everyone was stunned at this moment. They had never seen Shen Feng like this. What's more unexpected is that Shen Feng dared to do such a thing to Xiaotianshu during the live broadcast. Isn't this a bit too much? After a moment of silence in the live broadcast room, someone suddenly posted a comment. Is it too much? Why do I feel that he is doing the right thing? Yes, it was clearly Xiao Tianshu's fault, but Xiao Tianshu still blamed Zhang Wanwan. He deserved it. A grown man pointing at a girl's nose and scolding her is too uncultured. This is how he should be punished. It may be a bit inappropriate to say this, but I think I hit it. Well done. I've been displeased with Xiao Tianshu for a long time. He kept saying he was a professional, but he almost got Xiao Jia injured. That's right, this snake is not poisonous. If it was really a poisonous snake, Xiao Jia would have been killed by Xiao Tianshu. I really think Shen Feng is quite handsome now. Does he still need some husband fans? In the live broadcast room, most of the people were fans of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. In addition, it was indeed Xiao Tianshu who made the mistake first. And it was indeed wrong for Xiao Tianshu to point fingers at Zhang Wanwan and criticize her. So more people are speaking up for Shen Feng. In fact, Director Chen, who was watching the live broadcast, also felt that Shen Feng's revenge was very satisfying. He also had a lot of opinions about Xiao Tianshu's vanity. In fact, the program team sent a wilderness survival expert to follow the team. When the experts saw the snake, they were about to take action. It was Xiao Tianshu who insisted on pretending to be a professional and taking on everything. The experts thought he was really capable, so they didn't take any action. I didn't expect Xiao Tianshu to be a useless person. He really didn't have much ability, and he even caused Jay Etnam to get bit. Although Jay Adnan was not injured, Director Chen felt aggrieved when he saw many people in the barrage scolding the program team for not doing a good job in protecting the child. This anger naturally spread to Xiao Tianshu. So when Director Chen saw Xiao Tianshu being humiliated, he also felt a sense of pleasure and revenge. The assistant director was calmer. Adding Director Chen on the shoulder, he said, quickly stop Shen Feng. This is enough revenge. If you continue, it will be too much. Director Chen finally came to his senses and reluctantly took out the walkie-talkie. He was just about to inform Shen Feng and ask him to take the snake away quickly. As a result, Shen Feng stepped forward first and took the black snake away from Xiao Tianshu. Xiao Tianshu was gasping for breath and lying on the ground with a pale face. His body was covered with fallen leaves and dirt, and he looked as disheveled as possible. You are going too far. His partner Chen Lu only dared to step forward at this time. She helped Xiao Tianshu up while glaring at Shen Feng. Shen Cheng handed the snake over. Then let me show you something even more outrageous. Chen Lu. She didn't dare to speak for a moment and could only silently help Xiao Tianshu up. Xiao Tianshu looked at Shen Feng with gritted teeth. He has a bad temper and he can't swallow this. He said to Shen Feng in a deep voice. We are all from the same production team, and we are broadcasting live now. You are popular now, but I also have fans. Is it appropriate for you to do things so decisively? Shen Feng handed the snake over again. Then let me show you something even more amazing. Xiao Tianshu. Feng Zi did a great job. This Xiao Tianshu just never learns his lesson and still dares to threaten Feng Zi. I used to sympathize with him and thought Shen Feng had gone too far. Now it seems that this kind of person is not worthy of sympathy. When he pointed at Zhang Wanwan's nose and scolded the girl, why didn't he say that he was going too far? Why didn't he think about it being a live broadcast? This person is so shameless. There was another round of ridicule in the barrage. Although Xiao Tianshu couldn't see the barrage, he could see the snake in Shen Feng's hand. After moving his mouth, Xiao Tianshu finally didn't dare to say anything. Seeing that he had calmed down, Shen Feng let the black-necked snake go. This black snake, which had experienced so much, swam around in the grass for a while and finally disappeared. Because of this kind of thing, the frightened Ji Etnan, Li Dingting and Xiao Tianshu all needed to rest, which delayed them for a while. So until it was getting dark, the group still hadn't walked out of Shiwo Mountain. If you walk in the middle of the night. So Director Chen informed everyone that they would spend the night at Shiwo Mountain. In fact, Director Chen had already thought about it. This group of people might not be able to leave Shiwo Mountain for a day. Therefore, people had already set up a few tents in Shiwo Mountain and built a small camp. He told everyone the location of the tent, and soon they were settled in the camp. The first thing Zhang Wanwan, Jay Adnan and the others did when they arrived at the camp was to turn the tent upside down. As a result, the expressions on their faces became disappointed. Why is there no food? The director has even prepared a tent. Why not some food? After walking all day today, everyone is very exhausted. Although there is sufficient water, the food problem is difficult to solve. They had already finished the cookies distributed by the production team and were now all hungry. I thought there would be food when I got to the camp. But there was still nothing. Jay Adnan cried and said, I'm so hungry, I'm really hungry. Zhang Wanwan also cried and said while chewing the fruit, I'm hungry too. Jay Adnan looked at the fruit in Zhang Wanwan's hand. His eyes widened immediately. You, where did you get this fruit from? Zhang Wanwan took a bite of the fruit, chewed it and said, Feng Zi just picked it, do you want to eat it? Besides? Jie Yatnam's eyes lit up. No more. Jie Yatnan. Just when Jie Yatnan was about to cry, he suddenly heard Shen Feng's voice coming from above his head. Xiao Jia, go on. Looking up, Jie Yatnan saw that Shen Feng had climbed up the tree without him noticing at some point. At this time, I was picking fruits from the tree. Jie Yatnan quickly stretched out his hand and shouted excitedly. Brother Shen, throw it, I'm ready. Don't move. Shen Feng said. Yeah, Jie Yatnan nodded. Then I saw Shen Feng throwing a fruit down. It hit him right in the face. Jie Yatnan, brother Shen. Excuse me for asking a question. You ask. You don't let me move. So it's easier for you to aim? Zhang Wanwan rolled her eyes at him and said. Any objections? If you have any objections, don't eat. As he said this, he was about to snatch the fruit from Jie Yatnan's hand. Jie Yatnan was also ruthless. He stuffed the fruit, which was as big as a baby's fist, into his mouth in one bite. Wooly Wuda said, don't even think about it. This is mine. At this time in the evening, there are many people watching the live broadcast. Seeing this scene, there was a burst of laughter in the live broadcast room. The name Jie Yatnam was not chosen in vain. This is too difficult. These people are really making me laugh to death. They are my source of happiness. Is it dangerous for Feng Zi to climb so high? It looks scary. That's your brother Shen who caught the snake with his bare hands. What are you afraid of? What about catching snakes? Is it a daytime clip? I didn't see it because I was at work. Then you are at a loss. Shen Feng was so handsome during the day. I remember someone posted a video, you can go look for it. While the audience in the live broadcast room were chatting, Shen Cheng had already picked more than a dozen fruits. Climbed down from the tree. He and Zhang Wanwan had done tree climbing many times before. Even Zhang Wanwan climbed more smoothly than him. After coming down from the tree, Shen Cheng first picked a few of the best fruits for Zhang Wanwan. Then he distributed a few fruits to Jie Yatnan, Li Ting Ting, Shang Wei and Meng An. Finally, Shen Feng pinched the remaining few fruits. He walked to the Tianlu duo who were sitting in the corner, not saying a word but swallowing their saliva from time to time, watching others eat fruit. Seeing Shen Feng coming, Xiaotian Shu immediately turned his head. Chen Lu also lowered her head and said nothing. They all thought that Shen Feng was here to laugh at them for not having enough food to eat. Unexpectedly, Shen Feng stretched out his hand and gave them a few fruits. Xiaotian Shu was stunned. Shen Feng smiled and said, eat, don't worry about what happened during the day. They are all small things, they are all in the past. Xiaotian Shu and Chen Lu took the fruit and were somewhat moved. Alas, Shen Feng is such a nice person. I went to watch the previous clips. Xiaotian Shu was indeed quite excessive, but now Shen Feng is still willing to help them. He is really kind. My brother Feng is very clear about right and wrong, and is definitely a positive energy idol. The barrage also praised it. Holy Zhang Wanwan. Seeing Shen Feng coming back after delivering the fruit, Zhang Wanwan reached out and poked Shen Feng. He whispered, why are you giving them fruit? They've been ignoring you all day. And you're still trying to please them. Shen Feng spread his hands. They all have wormholes, it would be a pity to throw them away. It doesn't matter who I give them to. There was a moment of silence in the barrage. Director, can you please tell Shen Feng to turn off the microphone next time you talk about this kind of thing? Don't let him destroy his image in our hearts. Chapter 48. How about you be more ruthless? The live broadcast in the evening will end at 9 o'clock. The audience looked at the black screen, feeling unsatisfied. The 4 groups of guests returned to their tents to rest. There is a tent for 2 people. The space inside is not very big and is somewhat crowded. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan squeezed together. Zhang Wanwan leaned in Shen Feng's arms and browsed Weibo. While Shen Feng was watching Zhang Wanwan browse Weibo, the topic of Peng Hubei Group is getting hotter day by day. Since the Shotsa Let's Start Dating Today was launched, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have been creating memes almost every day. There are more and more video clips about them. Even if many people don't have time to watch the live broadcast, they will become fans of them just by watching these clips. Therefore, the number of people active in the Peng Hubei Group topic is greater than the number of viewers in the live broadcast room. When there are more people, there will naturally be more talented people. The videos he edited and the jokes he wrote sometimes made even Zhang Wanwan laugh for a long time. Secondary creations related to Peng Hubei and Circle Lock couple on Weibo, Billy, and Douyin. The most popular video in the Peng Hubei topic today is the one where Shen Feng catches a snake with his bare hands and uses the snake to scare Xiaotian Shu. Zhang Wanwan played the video twice. Suddenly he muttered softly, I didn't feel anything at the time, but now I think you're quite handsome. What did you say? Shen Cheng didn't quite hear it. I said, you helped me vent my anger. The part where you scared Xiaotian Shu with a snake was pretty cool. Zhang Wanwan repeated it. After saying this, his face was still a little red. Chen Feng laughed, rubbed her little head, and whispered, "Brother, do you want to give me some reward tonight?" Zhang Wanwan blushed and tilted her head back to give Chen Feng a small kiss on the face. Chen Sheng raised his eyebrows. "That's it?" Zhang Wanwan glared at him. "Are you not satisfied?" "Of course I am not satisfied." Zhang Wanwan suddenly climbed up from his arms and pressed Chen Feng to the ground. Then he leaned over and bit Chen Feng in the face. At that time, a circle of teeth marks was left on Chen Feng's face. "Are you satisfied this time?" Zhang Wanwan's face was red, but her expression was as vicious as that of a little tigress. Chen Sheng rubbed the teeth marks on his face. "You're still not satisfied? How about you bite harder?" "That's what you said." Zhang Wanwan bared her teeth and leaned over to bite Chen Feng's face again. But Chen Feng stretched out his hand, pressed Zhang Wanwan's head down, kissed Zhang Wanwan on her lips. Zhang Wanwan's eyes suddenly widened. But she didn't resist. Instead, she obediently lay in Chen Feng's arms, and the two of them kissed each other. At last, she bit Chen Feng's lips hard. Looking at Chen Feng, who was caught off guard and gasping in pain, Zhang Wanwan had tears in her eyes and shame on her face. But she snorted softly and said proudly, I can't kiss you without asking you to. This is your punishment." Chen Feng rubbed his lips, and after a moment he suddenly moved in front of Zhang Wanwan again. Pointing to his lips, he said. Zhang Wanwan looked at Chen Feng strangely. "You don't have any quirks, do you? You're so good at this?" Chen Feng spread his hands. "If being bitten once can get you a kiss, then I think it's worth it." Zhang Wanwan looked at Chen Feng for a long time with a red face. Suddenly he was about to open the tent and walk out. Chen Feng thought she was too shy, and hurriedly pulled her back. Wan Ji, I was just kidding, don't go out. I'm going to find Jay Atnam," Zhang Wanwan said. "Why are you looking for him?" "Actually, I can't bear to bite you too hard." Zhang Wanwan blinked and looked at Chen Feng. "So I'll go find Jay Adnan and let him bite you." Chen Feng. Because they had walked on the mountain road all day, Zhang Wanwan was tired after playing around for a while in the evening. She lay on Chen Feng's arms and yawned loudly. Soon, I fell asleep. Unfortunately, whether indoors or outdoors, whether on the bed or on the ground, Zhang Wanwan's sleeping posture is always so unique. After falling asleep, she once again sucked Chen Feng like an octopus. Chen Cheng smelled the scent of Zhang Wanwan in his arms and a bitter smile appeared on his face. "I really don't know if this is happiness or torture." Early the next morning, the live broadcast started again, and the group once again embarked on the journey across Shiwo Mountain to the county town. Today, Xiao Shu and Chen Lu's attitude toward Chen Sheng was obviously much better. Yesterday, they were both like silent people all the way and didn't say a word. Early this morning, Xiao Shu even took the initiative to come to Shen Feng to say hello. Some viewers who got up early and saw this scene felt sorry for Xiao Shu. If he knew that the fruit Shen Feng gave them yesterday were all worm-eyed, I wonder if he would be very sad. Because they had already walked for a whole day yesterday. It only took them half a day today to get out of Shiwo Mountain. The program crew's car had already been waiting at the exit. As soon as everyone came out, they got on the car and headed to the county seat of La Nyu County. This time Director Chen was generous. "We rented the largest hotel in La Nyu County for everyone to stay in." Upon hearing the news, Zhang Wanwan and others were extremely surprised. Why is that stingy director suddenly so generous? The staff member who was driving said that the director was reluctant to do so. The main thing was that the owner of the hotel found Director Chen. They said they thought Director Chen's show was quite popular, and they were willing to provide accommodation to the production team to take advantage of the popularity. Zhang Wanwan and the others finally felt relieved. Sure enough, Director Chen is still the same Director Chen. Without any change. When they arrived at the hotel, everyone wanted to go back to their rooms to have a good rest. After all, I slept in a tent last night and my sleep quality was poor. As a result, I saw Director Chen waiting in the hotel lobby early. Director Chen was holding a bunch of keys in his hand. With a sinister smile on his face, he said to the 4 groups of guests, "If you want to rest, you must complete today's task first. See these keys in my hand? There is a bunch of keys in here, which are the keys to the presidential suite in the hotel. Whoever completes the task first will get the key and enjoy the best treatment." As he spoke, Director Chen took out a task card. "Today, you have no secret missions, and there will be no audience voting. The 4 of you only have one common mission. Later we will send someone to blindfold one guest from each group and take him to any room in the hotel. And the remaining person must try his best to find his partner. There are also some puzzles in the room. If the locked-in people solve the puzzles, they can get some clues about their location. Both parties can use the intercom to communicate freely. Whoever finds their partner first will get the key to the presidential suite." Director Chen has done something new again. Although this program group is a bit poor, The creativity is always good. You have to decrypt the code while looking for someone. It tests your brainpower and your physical strength. It's very interesting. Blind guessing the couple in the circle won first place. Their tacit understanding is unmatched. This test is not just about tacit understanding, or it has nothing to do with tacit understanding. When the audience in the late broadcast room heard Director Chen say there was a new task, they became lively again. At the same time, Director Chen also began to let each group of guests decide who would be locked in the room to decipher the secrets and who would look for someone. The team of Xiaoqian Shu and Chen Lu is composed of Xiaoqian Shu, who is responsible for finding the secrets, while Chen Lu is responsible for decrypting the secrets in the room. Shang Wei and Meng Yan are in the same team. Shang Wei is responsible for finding the code, while Meng Yan is deciphering the code in the room. Jayet Nan and Li Ting. Jayet Nan will find it and Li Ting will decipher it. The audience also thinks there is nothing wrong with this arrangement. Girls are generally more careful and have less physical strength than boys. It seems to be the best arrangement that the girls are responsible for decrypting the codes in the room, while the boys find people based on the prompts. Just when everyone thought that Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan's group was also arranged in the same way, Shen Feng, who had been talking in a low voice with Zhang Wanwan for a while, suddenly raised his hand. I was locked up and asked Zhang Wanwan to find me. Chapter 49 Detective Shen Feng Part 1. Shen Feng is going to be locked up. Does Feng Zi want to be lazy? That's it, girls have poor stamina. After other groups searched 2 floors, Wanwan may not be able to finish searching 1 floor. Don't underestimate my younger brother. I guess Feng Zi must have his own ideas. This person is much older. The comments were discussing the decision of the Peng Hubei group. Director Chen was obviously surprised by Shen Feng's decision, because in Director Chen's original plan, he thought that in each group of guests, the girls should be locked up and the boys should go find them. He even named the project, The Brave Man Saves the Princess. In the end, Shen Feng actually became a princess. However, since this was a joint decision made by Shen Feng and his team, Director Chen had no choice but to accept it. He cleared his throat, took out some eye masks and earplugs, and then said, "Come on, all the princesses, who are going to be locked up, put on your eye masks, and the staff will take you to the corresponding rooms. Later, please cooperate with the warriors who rescued you and escaped from the cage together." After that, he handed the blindfolds and earplugs to several people. Several people put on eye masks and earplugs and were taken to the elevator by staff. The 4 brave men responsible for rescuing people, Shang Wei, Xiaoqian Shu, Jia Tenan and Zhang Wanwan, were arranged to rest temporarily. At this moment, the audience is watching the live broadcast from their perspective. However, it was discovered that the staff who brought the people into the elevator were secretly performing some very complicated operations. For example, Li Ting here. After the staff brought Li Ting into the elevator, they pressed the button for the 10th floor first. But after reaching the 10th floor, the staff pressed the button for the 8th floor. Then, after reaching the 8th floor, he pressed the 9th floor. Finally, the elevator stopped on the 9th floor. The staff then brought Li Ting out. Moreover, after reaching the 9th floor, he did not immediately take Li Ting into a room. Instead, he took Li Ting for a few turns. After Li Ting felt a little dizzy, she was sent to room 907. The other groups all performed similar operations. The audience was confused. What are you doing? Are you deliberately delaying time? Is it to prevent the guests from guessing which floor they are imprisoned in? It's possible, but no one can really guess it, right? Maybe there was originally, but after all this trouble, I guess no one knows which floor they are imprisoned in. After being locked in the room, several guests were allowed to take off their blindfolds. The curtains in the room were drawn, although they were not too thick and allowed light to pass through. It was almost impossible to see outside through them. Moreover, the program team has stated that the curtains are not allowed to be opened. The lights were on in the house and it was very bright. The first thing Meng Yan and Chen Lu did after entering the room was to take off their eye masks and earplugs. I just started looking for any puzzles and clues in the room. And their partners are Shang Wei and Xiaoqian Shu. And he started from the 1st floor, knocking on the doors of each room, looking for them. The group of Li Ting and Jia Nan is different. After Li Ting was locked in the room and took off his blindfold and earplugs, he said to Jia Nan through the intercom, "Xiao Jia, take the elevator to the 2nd floor and see how long it takes." Jia Nan did as he was told and finally worked out that it would take a little over 1 second, not counting the time it took for the elevator door to open and close. Then Li Ting started to calculate. The audience was quite amazed. Li Ting is amazing. I heard that she was a top student at Peking University and Tingshui University, but I didn't expect she was really so smart. This is much more efficient than the other 2 groups. Unfortunately, the number of floors that Li Ting calculated in the end was 14. Li Ting's blindfolded timing was not very accurate. and the values provided by Jiat Nan were also inaccurate. Plus, the elevators in the hotel are very high-end. It runs very smoothly and there is almost no vibration when it stops. Li Tingting was wearing earplugs and could not hear the prompt sound after the elevator stopped. So she didn't know how many times the elevator stopped. Nor did she know whether the elevator changed its direction in the middle of the journey. Due to various errors, the number of floors calculated by Li Tingting is higher than normal. This made the audience feel a little regretful. It also makes the audience understand why the program team has to carry out those complicated operations. However, Li Tingting also knew that his guess might be wrong. So let Jiatnam start searching from the 12th floor. This is much faster than Xiaochan Shu, Chen Lu and others who searched from bottom to top layer by layer. Just when the audience thought that Li Tingting, the academic master, had done a great job, Shen Feng, who had just gotten off the elevator as planned by Director Chen, was finally locked in the room. Director Chen has been wanting to make trouble for Shen Feng ever since he was cheated by Shen Feng. So this time he specifically instructed the staff to keep Shen Feng in the elevator for a while longer. The staff was also very helpful and managed to keep Shen Feng in the elevator for more than a minute. After Shen Chang was locked in the room, he slowly took off his blindfold and earplugs. Just when the audience thought that after being tossed around for such a long time, it would definitely not be like Li Tingting and provide too many clues to Zhang Wanwan. Shen Chang first looked in the direction of the curtains. Then he turned on the intercom and told Zhang Wanwan a number. 10th to 14th floors, I should be between these 5 floors. Exclude the odd-numbered rooms and look for even-numbered ones directly. Zhang Wanwan didn't ask why and immediately replied with a good answer. Then the action began. But the audience was dumbfounded. Because Shen Sheng is really on the 14th floor. And it's in the even-numbered room, 1410. No, how did he figure it out? Just now, Li Tingting asked Jiat Nan to do the experiment first. And then calculated it himself, and finally came to a wrong conclusion. How come Shen Feng calculated it right away? And it was a result that was very close. He was locked in the elevator for more than a minute. And the elevator went up and down after he came out. He was taken around for more than 10 times. How could he calculate which floor he was locked in? I haven't said that for a long time. There must be something shady going on with the production team. Director Chen was also annoyed. He never expected that Shen Feng, who had been struggling for the longest time, would be the first to find the correct answer. When he saw someone questioning the comments, he quickly took out his intercom and asked, Shen Sheng, how did you come to this conclusion? Want to know? Shen Feng laughed. I said intuition, do you believe it? I don't believe you, I'd rather believe that I did something shady for you. Director Chen said. Shen Feng shrugged, sat on the bed leisurely, and said, you were wearing a blindfold and earplugs. And you took me up and down in the elevator. But why don't you think of replacing the curtains with thicker ones that don't let in light? Shen Feng pointed at the curtains and said, this is the newest development area in Lianyu County. The buildings are very close together, and there are new office buildings with relatively high floors all around. In order to avoid being blocked by the nearby office buildings, the floor I am on must be above the 7th floor. It's around 11 o'clock now. It's impossible for an odd-numbered room in this hotel to have such direct light at this time. So I must be in a double-numbered room. Director Chen was stunned when he heard this. After a moment, he came back to his senses and asked hurriedly, but how did you calculate 10th to 14th floors? This hotel has 26 floors. And there are so many floors above the 7th floor, how can you be sure that it is 10th to 14th floors? Because of intuition. Go to hell, speak seriously. Or I will also expose your shady dealings, Director Chen said angrily. He is so curious now. Shen Feng spread his hands. This time it was really because of intuition. Or rather, I guessed that the production team would do something bad. This hotel is really tall. The time I spent in the elevator was enough for me to go straight to the top floor. A 26th floor. He said seriously, but I am sure that the production team will not be so innocent. You definitely won't simply send me to the top floor. Or even to a floor that's too close to the top floor. Because as you can guess, I might give Wanwan a hint based on the time the elevator takes to travel. So that Wanwan can go straight to the top floor. So I think you must have locked me up on the 7th through 18th floor. The reason I said 10-14 floors is that I picked a few floors in the middle between 7-18. I'm actually not sure, but if it's not, you can ask Wanwan to search other floors. As he spoke, Shen Feng glanced at the camera in the room. He gave a kind smile. But judging from your question, Director Chen, I guess I guessed right? Director Chen was stunned. Chapter 50 Detective Shen Feng Part 2. Director Chen never expected this. He tried every possible means and played tricks. A lot of work has been done on the elevator. In the end, he lost because of the curtains in the psychological game with Shen Feng. The audience didn't expect this either. Shen Feng determined which floor he was on based on the light coming through the curtains. And the analysis is very logical. To be honest, I always feel like I see the shadows of two people in my brother Feng. I guess one is Conan, who is the other one? Sherlock Holmes. My brother Feng Zi is really awesome. Is he from the most powerful brain? No, I originally thought Shen Feng was just a normal guy who was a bit more handsome. But I didn't expect that he was not only handsome, but also abnormal. Isn't this another top student from Peking University, or Tingshui University? Husband, you are so handsome. There was a burst of crazy scrolling in the barrage. However, some people also mentioned Director Chen. Look at a certain director. He planned everything, but in the end, wasn't it easily solved by my Shen Feng? Not only is he narrow-minded, he is also incompetent. TSK. Is this director really embarrassed now? Director Chen was just a little embarrassed. After seeing the barrage, it became particularly embarrassing. Finally, he was so angry that he picked up the intercom and said to Shen Feng, Chen Feng, there are 3 puzzles in this room that I asked someone to set up. I will only let you go if you and I all of them. Otherwise, even if Zhang Wanwan finds you, it won't count. As soon as these words came out, the audience was furious. He is anxious. Look, this is the shady deal. Stop talking about the shady stuff. I said it all out loud. This is a blatant act of privilege. I don't agree. How can the director do this? Director Chen also seemed to think that just making such a request was a bit excessive. After thinking about it, I suddenly came up with an idea. How about this? If you promise to solve 3 problems before leaving, I will give you an extra 50 yuan in subsidies tomorrow. How about that? Director Chen spent a lot of money to hook up with Shen Feng this time. There is no way after all, even if we don't care about personal grudges. The progress of Shen Feng's group is indeed too fast. The game hadn't even started for 10 minutes when Shen Feng finished it. What a blow that must have been to the other 3 groups. We must create some difficulties for Shen Feng. Director Chen also felt that these 3 questions would definitely stump Shen Feng. The first 2 questions are just brain teasers and simple guessing puzzles. But this 3rd question was a very complicated advanced mathematics competition question that he specially asked someone to copy. The kind that he couldn't even understand. He just didn't believe that Shen Feng could solve it. Shen Feng's walkie-talkie is connected to Zhang Wanwan's. Before Shen Feng could say anything, Zhang Wanwan hurriedly said, I agree, Feng Zi, go for the $50. In fact, Shen Feng wanted to say that since Director Chen dared to offer a high price of 50 yuan, he must have had some bad intentions. Those 3 questions are definitely not easy. But there is no way, my wife has already spoken. Shen Feng had no choice but to say, okay, I agree. Director Chen chuckled. Just like an old fox. The 3 questions are hidden in the room, they are linked to each other. You need to solve one to unlock the next one, find them yourself. Director Chen originally wanted to say, go find the first question yourself. Before he could finish his words, Shen Feng found the first question from under his pillow. Director Chen. The first 2 questions are indeed very simple. It took Shen Feng less than 5 minutes to solve them all. At the same time, the 3rd question was also found. Originally, the audience was very supportive of Shen Feng. They felt that with Shen Feng's speed and intelligence, no problem would be difficult for him. Then, the audience saw the advanced mathematics competition question. The audience was dumbfounded. Fuck, is there something wrong with the production team? They are serious about this, right? Calculus, my eyes hurt just looking at it. This is a competition question. Not an ordinary question, even many college students who have studied advanced mathematics cannot solve it. When people are pushed into a corner, they can do anything. Except advanced mathematics. Your lover will betray you. Your friends will deceive you, but you just can't do advanced mathematics. I can't do it, no matter what I say. Director Chen looked at the comments and the smile on his face became even more proud. It seems that he got the question right. Shen Feng. Shen Feng, today is finally the day for me to get my revenge. You and Zhang Wanwan tricked me before. If a tiger doesn't show its might. Do you think I'm a sick cat? Director Chen thought secretly. As a result, Shen Feng grabbed the paper and pen and really started writing. Write it? I still don't believe you can really write it. I'm afraid that even after the other 3 groups have found it, you still won't be able to solve it. Director Chen smiled. Smiling. Then slowly, I couldn't laugh anymore. Because Shen Feng wrote step by step and it was very fluent. I didn't feel stumped by this question at all. Especially in the barrage. An audience member said something. I found the original question in the competition questions from previous years. And the answer is the same as the step Shen Feng wrote now. Director Chen hurriedly searched for the answer to this question. Sure enough, the steps of the answer are basically the same as what Shen Feng wrote. Damn, Shen Feng can really answer this question. Director Chen's hands are shaking. The assistant director at the side pushed up his glasses. I think it's not just a question of whether he can do it or not. He writes so smoothly. I'm sorry, but I don't think you can keep your $50. Director Chen is still stubborn. I don't believe it. He hasn't finished solving it, yet what if his final answer is wrong? Then, Director Chen's stubbornness was shattered by the answer written by Shenfeng. Looking at the standard answer written by Shenfeng, there was a cheer in the barrage. It's exactly the same as the answer. You got it right. Fengzi is awesome, really awesome. He can solve advanced math problems on the spot. And he can catch a big snake with his bare hands. Who else is there? What is an idol? This is an idol, compared to those traffic stars who didn't receive much education but relied on their looks to attract fans and make money. Shenfeng is much better. I really can't hack it this time. Shenfeng, YYDS. As a result, Shenfeng looked very humble. Even the expression on his face looked a little embarrassed. He said to the cameraman, Director Chen, I think my victory was unfair. To be honest, I guessed the first two questions. But I really know how to do advanced math. I've done this question before when I was free. I'm so sorry. I'll take the 50 yuan. Director Chen almost vomited blood. Damn, he wondered how Shenfeng could answer so fluently. How unlucky I am to encounter the same questions that Shenfeng has done before. If I had known this earlier, I would have changed the question. In fact, it's useless no matter how Director Chen changes. In order to prevent himself from getting lost in the cycle, Shensheng had been looking for new goals for himself. There was a time when my goal was to practice questions. I even became addicted to solving exercises and even enjoyed it for a while. Even if Director Chen asks someone to create a new question, Shenfeng could solve it on the spot with his current ability. I guessed the first two questions, but I really know how to do this advanced math question. Why do I feel like this is a bit Versailles? Listen, is this human language? I have done this question when I was free. Look at Shenfeng, he does this question when he is free. But you are watching the Leap broadcast here, don't you feel ashamed? I don't think so anyway. I can't solve this kind of problem even if I don't watch the Leap broadcast. 1. While the barrage was still discussing, Director Chen had already gone upstairs reluctantly. The key to the presidential suite was given to Zhang Wanwan and Shenfeng. Then he turned around and wanted to leave. As a result, Shensheng spoke and called him with a smile. Director Chen, did you forget something? Director Chen turned back with a pained look on his face. He pulled out a $50 bill from his pocket. Zhang Wanwan snatched it away. Then he quickly asked Director Chen, 50 for solving 3 problems, right? Are there any more problems? Let Fengzi do some more. Whether we can have a big dinner tomorrow depends entirely on you. Director Chen. Director Chen. Director Chen. Zhang Wanwan shook her head. How is that possible? Director Chen felt a little comforted. And I heard Zhang Wanwan say again. The money I got from the ATM is my money, and what you gave me is your money. Of course, I am happier to make your money. Director Chen. Chapter 51. Don't treat us as outsiders. Director Chen was very depressed. But Zhang Wanwan is very happy. Taking the key to the presidential suite, he went to the room with Shenfeng to rest. As a result, the audience also became depressed. Because Zhang Wanwan locked the photographer outside the door with a bang. They have nothing to watch. The audience began to protest. Director Chen became even more depressed when he saw the audience's protests. Finally, Director Chen said on the intercom, Zhang Wanwan, today's recording is not over yet. Even if you want to rest in the room, at least give us a picture. The door did not respond. After thinking about it, Director Chen suddenly said, otherwise I will deduct your money. Click. The door of the presidential suite opened immediately. A photographer waiting at the door was delighted. Just take a step and go in. But before he could even enter the door, Zhang Wanwan reached out and snatched the camera from his hand. Then with a snap, the door was closed again. The photographer was left alone, standing in front of the door in a disheveled state. Zhang Wanwan, what are you doing? Director Chen was anxious. He remembered the last time he was blackmailed by Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan. But it be that these two are going to repeat their old tricks? But Zhang Wanwan was very honest and set up the camera in a corner of the room. Then he asked doubtfully, didn't you just tell me to give you a picture? I'm giving you a picture. Director Chen. Director Chen said helplessly. Student Shenfeng, student Zhang Wanwan, even if you don't consider my feelings, please consider the feelings of the audience who likes you. Everyone, are you here to see you resting in your room? He hasn't finished speaking yet. A lot of yes appeared in the barrage. It's good to take a rest, just take a rest, the kind of rest that turns off the lights and draws the curtains. Yes, you should rest when you are tired. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Our angle is just right. Don't treat us as outsiders. Don't be embarrassed. These, of course, are all fans of the Circle Lock couple. I am a fan of the couple Shenfeng and John Wanwan. They can't wait to see these two people sleeping in the same bed. Director Chen was speechless at that time. But fortunately, there are still good people in the live broadcast room. You fans, please respect yourselves and don't represent us. The general audience, although we also want to see them sleep. And you please consider the feelings of the production team. Is it possible to broadcast something like two people sleeping together? Aren't you afraid that your program will be banned? Director Chen's eyes were filled with tears. There are still good people in the world who are willing to consider the show. As a result, this person then said, I hope the director can record the sleeping scene between them and send it to me privately, so that I don't have to worry about the program being banned. Good guy damn. Another CP fan, right? John Wanwan had no idea what the comments in the live broadcast room looked like. She was indeed a little tired and really wanted to rest. I walked on the mountain road all day yesterday and didn't sleep well at night. After walking for half a day, she was really tired now. After she set up the camera, she lay down on the big bed and fell asleep. Shenfeng also sat on the bed, but he didn't sleep. Instead, he took a book from the bookshelf in the suite and started reading. The room was quiet, without any sound. When Director Chen saw this scene, he felt a pang of regret. It's over, I'm afraid we're going to lose a lot of viewers today. After all, who would like to watch others reading in silence or sleeping like a dead pig? But soon, Director Chen became numb. Because the number of viewers in the live broadcast room did not decrease much. Even the amount of barrage increased suddenly. To be honest, Shenfeng is so handsome when he sits down and reads a book so quietly. Why didn't he debut earlier? Seeing such a beautiful picture, my heart calmed down. John Wanwan looks so cute when she's sleeping. I can watch her all day long. Took a screenshot and used it as my computer desktop. I used to be a die-hard fan of John Wanwan. And now I am a die-hard CP fan of them, to be honest. As watching them stay together quietly makes me feel very comfortable. I used to be a die-hard fan of Wanwan, but now I can only say that Feng Zi is just a good. Especially after today, I feel that Feng Zi is even more awesome. Apart from Feng Zi, no one else is worthy of our Wanwan. By the way, does anyone know what school Feng Zi attends? She can't be a top student from Peking University or Tsinghua University. Right? She even did the competition questions? The barrage gradually started to chat. Those who are watching the late broadcast here are basically fans of John Wanwan and Shenfeng. They are either fans of the couple or fans of the Peng Hubei buddies. In short, we all have a common language. Chatting here is no different from chatting under the Peng Hubei Weibo topic. On weekdays, everyone is busy watching live broadcasts, and some people don't have the energy to post comments. Now, the live broadcast is frozen in such a peaceful and beautiful picture, and the audience also has time to post barrage comments and chat. So much so that the number of barrages is even more than usual. Director Chen's face twitched as he watched. His live broadcast room has directly become a large chat room. John Wanwan slept for about 2 hours before waking up. She yawned drowsily and felt her mouth was a little dry after a nap. Just when I was about to find some water to drink, I saw Shenfeng beside me handing me a glass of water. John Wanwan took the cup and took a sip, then she immediately became energetic. What kind of water is this? It's so sweet. Is it honey water? It's honey flower tea. There happen to be free tea bags and honey in the suite. I made you some to drink. It will help you wake up, Shenfeng said, helping her to straighten her messy hair. Did you feel comfortable sleeping? Well, I'm just a little hungry after sleeping. Let's go eat something later. Shenfeng smiled and said, okay. The audience who saw this scene stopped chatting, shifted the focus back to live streaming. Is Shenfeng good at predicting things? He went to make tea a few minutes ago, and John Wanwan woke up a few minutes later? I really envy this kind of relationship. I also want someone to bring me a glass of honey water after I wake up and comb my hair while I drink water. Ooh, it's a pity that I'm a man. Watching their daily life is more relaxing than watching a romantic TV series. Yes, although there are no big waves, it is very warm. This kind of sweet but not greasy dog food is the best. I originally thought I was a Iron-Blooded Brothers fan, but now I am somewhat inclined to become a CP fan. John Wanwan ranked the water, washed her face, and was about to go out with Shenfeng. Director Chen quickly used the intercom to call the photographer who was taking a break to follow them. This time, John Wanwan and Shenfeng were still conscientious and did not cheat the program crew again. Instead, he returned the camera honestly. The other 3 teams had just finished the game of the brave man saving the princess and had just received the room keys and were starting to rest. Shenfeng and John Wanwan, who had already rested well, ran to the hotel restaurant to find food. A waiter knew that John Wanwan and Shenfeng were celebrities and were the ones that their boss had asked to take care of. So I greeted him politely. After taking them to their seats, he respectfully asked, "What would you like to eat?" We have our signature steak, Western-style pasta, barbecue, baked rice, and Chinese-style dishes, such as Chang'an-style or Rujiamo Chinese steamed bun with meat filling, sauerkraut noodles, etc. Here is our menu, please take a look. Zhang Wanwan glanced at the high prices on the menu. Suddenly he closed the menu, looked at the waiter. Just when the waiter thought Zhang Wanwan was going to order food, then Zhang Wanwan asked seriously, "Do you sell raw meat and vegetables here, waiter?" Chapter 52. We will definitely be very happy. Hotel kitchen. Because it's not dinner time, the kitchen is very quiet. There was only an older-looking cook preparing ingredients in the kitchen. The waiter led Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan to the kitchen. He said to the cook, "Uncle Li, do people want to buy ingredients?" The cook stuck the kitchen knife in his hand on the chopping board and turned to look at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, and the photographer behind them. When the waiter saw this, he quickly explained, "Uncle Li, they are recording a show. The kind that is broadcast live." Uncle Li interrupted her. "I know them, I have watched their shows. I was still watching them surviving in the mountains yesterday." The waiter was stunned. Uncle Li is over 50 years old and doesn't have any hobbies or entertainment activities. Why did you start watching this kind of dating variety show? What's wrong? Any problem? Uncle Li glanced at the waiter. The waiter quickly shook his head. Zhang Wanwan asked Shen Cheng secretly, "Feng Zi, why do I feel that Uncle Li is so majestic? And the waiter seems to be afraid of him too?" The waiter was very considerate and quickly introduced to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. "Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you. This is the head chef of our La and Yui Guan Hotel, Uncle Li. He is a national top chef and has cooked at state banquets." The audience was shocked when they heard it. A national top chef. He has prepared state banquets. There is such a master hidden in this small Anyu county. Uncle Li still looked majestic, and said to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, "You two, do you want to buy some ingredients?" Shen Cheng nodded and said politely, "Yes, we are recording a program, and the program team has given us a limited budget. So if we want to eat better, we can only cook it ourselves. I don't know if the hotel is convenient." And Uncle Li said. Zhang Wanwan was happy. "I didn't expect that Uncle Li, who looks dignified, is actually quite easy to talk to." But then, Uncle Li said, "But I have a request." Sure enough, it's not that easy. Zhang Wanwan's happy mood suddenly sank again. Uncle Li looks so majestic, so the requests he makes must be very difficult. Uncle Li took out a notebook from somewhere. He took out another pen, handed it to Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng. Zhang Wanwan looked at Uncle Li in surprise. "Yes, do you want us to write something?" Did Uncle Li want them to write a guarantee or sell their bodies? Not really, they were just buying some food. Uncle Li nodded. Still with that dignified look, he said, "Please give me an autograph. I really like watching your show. By the way, I'm still a fan of your CP. The Quan Suo couple, it's quite interesting." Shen Feng, Zhang Wanwan. Waiter, a serious-looking, bearded top chef who has prepared state banquets. Surprisingly, are you their CP fans? Not to mention the two parties involved, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Even the audience was shocked. Although I know that Shen Feng and Wanwan's fans are mixed, I didn't expect that even such heavyweights are chasing after them. This person is almost the same age as my grandfather. But he is still a CP fan. Isn't this a bit of a contrast? I am pursuing a couple with a top chef, so if you round it up, I am the top chef. Yes, you are a top chef, only when you are playing games. I feel like the dimensional wall has been broken. Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng quickly signed for Uncle Li. Uncle Li looked at it several times with satisfaction before finally putting the notebook away. He said to Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan with a serious face, "You must be happy in the future." The waiter thought Uncle Li was obsessed with the couple. I quickly explained to Uncle Li, "Uncle Li, these kinds of love variety shows are all film shows. They are all fake. They are just pretending to be a couple in the show. They are not real couples." Then she saw Uncle Li glaring at her. "I've lived for so many years, do I need you to explain all this? You can't hide the look in your eyes when you like someone. They must be truly in love with each other. What do you know?" The waiter was in tears. She was just explaining, there's no need to be so mean to her. That's over, Uncle Li is not only knocking, but he's knocking so hard. He must be really drunk. I share the same view as Uncle Li. I also think they are genuine. To be honest, you guys are joking. But why do I feel like Uncle Li is really serious? Bullshit. You are kidding, we are serious too. Circle Lot Couple YYDS. For a while, fans of the couple CP were holding up big flags in the live broadcast room. At this moment, they all felt that Uncle Li was the leader of their fans. And he spoke for them, the CP fans. Zhang Wanwan lowered her head, feeling a little embarrassed. Shen Feng reached out and held Zhang Wanwan's hand. The fingers are clasped together and held tightly. Then he smiled and nodded to Uncle Lee. Thank you, Uncle Lee. We will definitely be very happy in the future. His tone was very sincere, and he spoke every word with emphasis, each one touching his heart. He finished saying this. Zhang Wanwan was stunned at first. Then Director Chen, the waiter, and the photographer were all stunned. There was also a moment of silence in the barrage. It's like everyone is offline. Until 3 seconds later, the barrage in the late broadcast room exploded like a blowout. I'm dead, I'm going to die. Is this an official announcement or a confession? I really can't tell whether Shen Feng is doing this for show effect or speaking the truth. Originally, I was just looking for fun when it comes to CP. You all let me make it real, right? If it's fake, I hope it's true. If it's true, kill me to cheer them up. Confession of love while holding hands is so sweet. I am twisting like a maggot on the bed right now. I really hit it, Yu Shu. Shen Feng said this so seriously and romantically. Did anyone record it? I want to watch the replay, right now. The audience watching in the Leap broadcast room are going crazy now. Especially those CP fans, they are in a state of chaos. To be honest, the show has been on for so long, and the interaction between Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan is very warm, sweet and interesting, but the two never expressed anything to each other from beginning to end. It was as if the two of them were really just good friends. Childhood sweethearts who had grown up together. This is also one of the reasons why Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan have so many fans. Now Shen Feng's words, which sounded more serious than I love you, almost confirmed the relationship between Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. CP fans are partying, and the serious expression on Uncle Lee's face finally disappeared. A smile appeared. He patted Shen Feng on the shoulder. There is responsibility in your eyes, I believe what you say. I feel very happy today, so you can use whatever ingredients in the kitchen. And it's free. Zhang Wanwan was extremely shy at the moment and had long wanted to find a topic to divert attention. Hearing Uncle Lee's words, Zhang Wanwan took the opportunity to change the subject and said, "That's inappropriate. The ingredients here are all from the hotel. They can't take them for free." "Why not?" Uncle Lee laughed and said, "The ingredients are indeed from the hotel, but this hotel is mine." Zhang Wanwan and Shen Feng were both stunned. But we have met MRLI from the hotel before, he clearly. "Oh, indeed, it should be said that this hotel belongs to Mr. Lee," Uncle Lee said. "But I am his father." Chapter 53. Sorry, I'm not familiar. This hotel is MRLI's property. And Mr. Lee is Uncle Lee's property. Uncle Lee said that it was his 8-year-old granddaughter who first watched the variety show Date Online. Afterwards, she was discovered by Uncle Lee's daughter-in-law, who also started chasing her. And Uncle Lee's son, Mr. Lee, also discovered it. MRLI doesn't have time to watch live broadcasts, but he watches video clips every day and enjoys them very much. I even shared the clip in the family group. Uncle Lee also saw it because of this. Originally, Uncle Lee just watched the clip out of curiosity. Unexpectedly, I became addicted to it. Finally, I started watching the live broadcast and shipping the couple. Seeing you guys reminded me of when my wife and I were young. If she were still alive, I would really like to bring her along to see it, Uncle Lee said with emotion. Originally, after MRLI opened this hotel, Uncle Lee and his wife began to live a leisurely and comfortable life. But Uncle Lee's wife died in a car accident a few years ago. In order to relieve his loneliness, Uncle Lee came to the hotel and became the chef. Uncle Lee originally thought that his daily life was boring until he saw the live broadcast of Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. The two of them were sometimes humorous and sometimes had a tacit understanding, making Uncle Lee feel as if he saw himself and his wife when they were young. It was also Uncle Lee's idea to invite the program crew to the hotel and provide free accommodation. If it weren't for the fact that the theme of this show is survival and love, and the guests need to take care of their own meals, Uncle Lee would even want to provide food to the program crew for free. To be honest, both Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were quite surprised. When the two of them were recording the show, they actually didn't think too much. Many times, the two of them just get along normally and express their true feelings normally. I didn't expect that they could become the spiritual sustenance of others. Zhang Wanwan comforted Uncle Lee and went to a restaurant outside to chat with Uncle Lee. Shen Feng picked some ingredients from the kitchen and started cooking. In addition to cooking several dishes, Shen Feng also specially fried 3 steaks. When the dishes were ready, Shen Feng brought them to the table. Several dishes were placed in the middle of the table, and 3 steaks were placed in front of him, Zhang Wanwan, and Uncle Lee. Uncle Lee was stunned. He didn't expect that Shen Feng also made one for him. But he wasn't polite. After he cut the steak with a knife and fork, he picked up the chopsticks and picked up a piece of beef to eat. He chewed and then nodded. "Been seeing your cooking videos before, and I know you're an expert. You really have a good grasp of the heat, and you're very experienced." When Uncle Lee ate Shen Feng's dishes, His expression was obviously not as surprised as it was when he ate Sister Lin, Zhang Wanwan, and Shen Xiaoji his wife. But as a top chef who had prepared state banquets, it was already a high evaluation for him to say that Shen Feng had good skills. To be honest, I'm really curious about Feng Zi's cooking skills. Even someone of Uncle Li's level can be said to have good skills. Could he also be a top-notch chef? If Uncle Li is not being polite. And I can only say that Feng Zi is too strong. Anyway, Feng Zi's cooking skills are definitely much better than most ordinary people. Alas, no wonder Wanwan's stomach is controlled by him. When will a handsome guy come and take my heart and stomach? After the meal, Zhang Wanwan felt very satisfied. This is my first time eating steak made by Feng Zi. It's really delicious. Zhang Wanwan burped a little. If you like it, I will cook it for you often in the future, Shen Feng said. Uncle Li on the side said, but next time, our ingredients won't be free. Although I am your fan, you are recording a show and I can't always help you. Otherwise it would be too unfair. Zhang Wanwan nodded in understanding. Uncle Li, you are right, next time we will definitely spend money to buy the ingredients. By the way, Uncle Li, how much does this steak cost? If you buy cooked ones, it'll be 128 yuan. Uncle Li said. Zhang Wanwan's mouth twitched. What if we buy them raw? It's also 128. We don't charge extra for frying steak. Zhang Wanwan, can't you give me a friendly price? At least give me a small discount. Uncle Li thought about it seriously. And finally said, then I'll round off the amount and ask you for 130. Zhang Wanwan. Is there such a way to round off the amount? The more you apply, the more you get, right? It turns out that Uncle Li, who looks serious, is actually so naughty in his heart. I now understand why Uncle Li said that seeing Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan was like seeing him when he was young. Indeed. I guess young Uncle Li is just like Feng Zi and Wanwan. And they are all people who mess with people's mentality. Ginger is still spicy with age. After finishing their meal and chatting with Uncle Li for a few more minutes, Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan said goodbye to Uncle Li and left the restaurant. However, when they walked into the hotel lobby, they saw a group of people from the program crew surrounding the hotel entrance. Zhang Wanwan moved closer curiously. And I saw clearly that the people from the program crew were surrounding a food truck to get their lunchboxes. 3 other groups of guests were also mixed in. Jietnan was quick-witted and had already grabbed a box lunch and started eating. Seeing Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan coming over, Jietnan shook the lunchbox in his hand with a proud look on his face. You two are late, all the good dishes have been picked up. And I grabbed 3 slices of barbecued pork. As he spoke, Jietnan picked up a piece of meat in a very exaggerated manner and raised it into the air in slow motion. Just about to put it in his mouth, Director Chen said. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan just had sirloin steak, baked corn with cheese, Caesar salad, and braised lamb shanks in the hotel. Why do you think I suddenly ordered a box lunch? It's because I got greedy watching them eat. Bang! The meat that Jietnan picked up hit him on the face. It slid to the ground again. His lips trembled as he looked at Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. A look as if he was about to cry. Father Shen, why don't you think of ordering me when you're eating delicious food? I'm sorry, I'm really not familiar with you, Shen Feng said seriously. Jietnan squatted in the corner depressed and started eating his lunchbox. I am dying of laughter, Xiaojia, why did you bother them? Don't cry, Xiaojia, even though you can't eat steak. He can't eat boxed lunch either. Isn't it even more sad when you think about it this way? They really don't know each other. He only thinks you are familiar when he tries to cheat you out of money. At this time, Director Chen was carrying a packed lunchbox and walked towards Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Seeing this, Zhang Wanwan quickly waved her hand and said, Director Chen, you are so polite you even left us lunchboxes. But we are full, didn't you see us eating steak just now? We really can't eat anything else now. Director Chen had a dark face. Who said this lunchbox is for you? You guys are so shameless. As he spoke, he carried his lunchbox and walked over to the photographer who had been following Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan. He handed the lunchbox to the photographer and patted him on the shoulder. Brother, I'm sorry for you. The photographer burst into tears at that moment. Finally someone cares about him. Director, can I apply to change groups? I don't want to be with them anymore. They spent a full half hour eating their feast. Half an hour. I just stood there and watched for a full half an hour. Ooh, I'm really so hungry. Why do I have to suffer like this? If I really made a mistake, I hope that I will be punished by the law instead of being tortured like this. Director Chen hugged him distressed. Lie, good brother. Don't be sad, you are contributing to the program, and it seems that no one is willing to switch groups with you. A photographer sniffed. It's okay if I don't change the group. Can I get a raise? Director Chen immediately let go of the photographer. Turn around and walk away. The photographer cried even more sadly. Chapter 50 for no, This is bad luck. After everyone in the program crew finished their lunch and rested for a while, Director Chen announced that he would release the second task of the day to everyone. In today's first mission, the brave man saves the princess. Congratulations to Peng Hubei for winning first place. Director Chen first congratulated Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan with a fake smile, then clapped his hands and said, then the second task to be held is the champion challenge task. The winning Peng Hubei group will serve as the champions, and the other 3 groups of guests can challenge them. Each group has 1 chance to initiate a challenge. As he spoke, Director Chen took out a very simple cardboard box. A few more crude cards were pulled out of the cardboard box. These cards have various challenges written on them. The 3 groups of guests will first draw a challenge and then choose 1 person from the Peng Hubei group to take the challenge. If the challenger wins, the Peng Hubei group will give up the qualification to be the champion. At the same time, the presidential suite must be given to the winning challenger. Zhang Wanwan became unhappy when she heard that. She pointed at the box and card in Director Chen's hand and said, "This thing is so simple, it's obvious that you just prepared it at the last minute. This must not be the task you originally designed. You just can't stand us staying in the presidential suite. You did it on purpose." Director Chen smiled proudly when he heard this. "I did it on purpose, so what? Anyway, I'm the director. And I may call the rules. Any problem? No problem. If the champion doesn't want to participate, you can give the presidential suite to other people." A typical face of a villain who has succeeded. Director Chen is openly abusing his privileges and playing dirty again. Hasn't Feng Zi and Wanwan tortured him enough? I just felt resentful because I was tormented too much. I have a feeling that the director is going to be unlucky again. While the barrage was still talking, Shen Cheng stopped Zhang Wanwan, who was about to go to Director Chen to argue. He asked Director Chen, "Director Chen, we can accept the challenge. But if we fail, you can also let us give up the suite. But if the challenger fails and we win, will we get any reward?" "No," Director Chen said with absolute certainty. Very firm attitude. He would never let Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan find the opportunity to take advantage of him again. Upon hearing this, Shenfeng spread out his hands. "That's a shame. Let's just give up the title and hand it over to someone else." Director Chen's eyes lit up. Shenfeng actually gave in. Then Shenfeng continued, "Then we can win the suite back as challengers." Director Chen, no, if you give up the position of champion, you can no longer participate in the challenge. Aren't you targeting us? Chen Cheng said with a worried look on his face. Director Chen was happy. "Yes, I am targeting you, don't you agree?" Shenfeng ignored Director Chen. Instead, he shouted at the top of his voice, "MRLI, Uncle Li, we have a small conflict with Director Chen, and we are planning to quit the program team. Don't forget to ask the production crew for the room fee." Director Chen quickly covered Shenfeng's mouth. He had seen Shenfeng Zhang Wanwan chatting with Uncle Li before. "Naturally, I know that the hotel's boss, MRLI, and Mr. Li's father, Uncle Li, are both die-hard fans of Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan. Even the reason why the hotel was willing to provide them with free rooms was because of Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan. If MRLA and Uncle Li really heard Shenfeng shout, how would their production crew continue to stay in the hotel? Brother Shen, I give in, let's talk it out. What kind of conflict could there be between us?" Director Chen said with a smile on his face. As he spoke, he straightened Shenfeng's clothes and patted Shenfeng on the shoulder. "I'm not targeting you, this is all for the show." A smile also appeared on Shenfeng's face. He said kindly, "Then Director Chen, tell me again, if we defeat the challenger, what reward will we get?" Director Chen rubbed his hands. The resolute and determined look from before was gone. He smiled and said, "How about, for every group you defeat, I'll give you a $5 subsidy tomorrow?" 50. Shen Sheng made a price. Director Chen immediately shook his head and said, "No, that's too much." Chen Sheng raised his voice again. "Uncle Li, MRLI." Director Chen quickly covered his mouth again. With a painful look on his face, he said, "Brother Shen, my brother, 50 is really too much. It's not that I feel bad about the money, but if I really give you that much, tomorrow's show will be boring. You guys are living recklessly with only a few $100s in your pocket, while the other 3 teams have only a dozen dollars each and are as poor as ghosts. The contrast is too great." He thought about it, then said, $10 is okay?" Seeing that Shenfeng was about to shout again, Director Chen took the lead and covered his mouth. Then Zhang Wanwan shouted, "MRL, Uncle Li." Director Chen cried. He forgot there was someone next to him. He quickly said, "How about this, 20, if you win? I'll give you 20, how about that? If you can win all 3 challenges, you can get $60, that should be fine, right?" Only then did Shenfeng nod. Director Chen was so heartbroken. Director Chen, Tell me why you are doing this, you can't beat them at all. I originally felt that the director was quite pitiful, but now I feel more and more that he deserves it. Why would he mess with them for no reason? My Director Chen is so miserable. This is the price of offending the bandit couple. Director Chen, stay away from the Quan Suo couple. They will bring misfortune. How they chach. The comments were so funny. Director Chen walked in front of the three groups of guests, holding a cardboard box with a frustrated look on his face. He glanced at the three groups of guests, then gritted his teeth and said, "You guys better do your best and try to sink Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan. Whoever can defeat them will receive a subsidy of 100 yuan from me. What I lack is not this little money. What I want to fight for is a sense of dignity. Who among you wants to draw a mission first and challenge them?" Jia Yatnam volunteered and raised his hand. "I'll do it. Other Shen has cheated me out of so much money. And now I want to win back my dignity." As he spoke, Jia Yatnam reached into the cardboard box. A challenge card was drawn. Then read the above task aloud. Challenge mission. Order the song Love Until Death in the karaoke room in the hotel's entertainment area. Both parties sing it, and the one with the higher score wins. Jia Yatnam's voice faded away. When he finished reading, there was no sound. Jia Yatnam, can I draw again? He is numb. Singing is what he is least good at, and this task actually requires him to sing such a difficult song. Is this a challenge mission? Yes, this is clearly a challenge to him. Director Chen was also annoyed. He didn't expect that this task would be picked by Jia Yatnam by chance. Originally, Shang Wei was very good at singing this song. Director Chen wrote this task to cooperate with Shang Wei. As a result, this card fell into the hands of Jia Yatnam. The most toned, F person. You can draw again. Everyone has a chance to draw again. In the end, Director Chen had no choice but to let Jia Yatnam take the shot again. Jia Yatnam waved his hands in the box for a long time. Draw another card. Singing, Love Until Death. Why is this again? Director Chen's mouth twitched. Well, everyone has the chances to draw again. So Xiao Jia can draw again. Jia Yatnam drew, a third time. Singing Love Until Death. Jia Yatnam collapsed. Don't love me until you die. He feels like he's going to die now. Could it be that the box is full of this card? He simply turned the box upside down and dumped out all the cards inside. As it turned out, only this task card required singing a song. Jia Yatnam was even more devastated. What kind of luck does he have? He put the card back in place and asked Director Chen. Can I draw again? I don't believe I'll get this one. Director Chen. He is more or less a person who cares about his reputation. It's a bit awkward now. However, in order to defeat Shenfeng and Zhang Wanwan, Director Chen decided to be shameless for once. Yes. There is still one chance. Your group can draw again. Jia Yatnam reached out to draw the card. Director Chen quickly stopped him. Forget it, I beg you, just let Li Yingting smoke. He is really afraid of scoring for goals. Jia Yatnam also felt that he was a little unlucky today. Handed the box to Li Yingting. Li Yingting felt that he had a heavy responsibility on his shoulders. First, he put his hands together and prayed. Then he recited a few more verses of scripture. He reached out and touched his forehead and shoulders. He said devoutly, "May Chun Ji bless you, Wu Yan Qian Ziyuan. Amitabha, Amen." Finally he solemnly reached out his hand and took out a card from the box. Singing, Love Until Death. Director Chen. Jia Yatnam. Li Yingting. Is this what you call God's will? Zhang Wanwan suddenly said with emotion. Shenfeng thought about it. Then shook his head and said seriously. No, it's called bad luck. Chapter 55, Love Until Death. This is no longer bad luck. Right? I even thought this was some kind of magic trick. The kind where you draw the same card every time. If Xiao Jia hadn't just dumped out all the cards and looked at them, I would have thought that this was the only card in there. My facial mask is about to burst from laughing. I must edit this clip and post it online. It really makes me laugh to death. Xiao Jia, my Xiao Jia. Why are you so miserable? The audience in the live broadcast room were laughing. But soon, they couldn't laugh anymore. When Jia Yatnam walked into the karaoke room and sang the famous song Love Until Death by Shin Band. A singing voice, which sounded like the scream of a pig giving birth but was in so much pain due to a difficult labor that it contemplated committing suicide and ended up jumping into a frying pan. Heading scalded, then suddenly jumping out and being hit by a passing tent-on truck. Froze the audience's expressions. Originally, there were 70 viewers watching the live broadcast in the room. After Jia Yatnam sang the first two lines, there were only 60 people in the audience. After singing the fourth sentence, there were only 30,000 audience members left. When Jia Yatnam wanted to sing the fifth line, Director Chen risked his life to rush into the singing room and quickly stopped him. He was afraid that everyone in the live broadcast room would run away. Jayatnam looked at Director Chen in confusion. But I haven't finished singing yet. The scoring system in this karaoke room is based on the average score. You sang 4 lines, and the highest scoring line only got 8 points. Can I just give you 8 points? Director Chen said. When Jayatnam heard this, he seemed quite surprised. He scratched his head and smiled. I didn't expect my score to be so high. I got 8 points. Just 2 points away from the full score. Director Chen. The full score is 100. Jayatnam is depressed. When people heard that Jayatnam was not singing anymore, the number of people in the live broadcast room gradually increased again. Damn, when Jayatnam opened his mouth just now, he almost sent me away. I watched this while riding the bus. I forgot to bring my headphones and turned on the loudspeaker. As soon as Xiaojia started singing, everyone got off the bus. You're relatively lucky. I was also loudspeaker-less. In the end, I was kicked off the bus by everyone else. Xiaojia really sang the essence of this song. I almost saw the god of death just now. I have no grudges against the production team. Why did the production team send Xiaojia to harm me? I am still alive after listening to these 4 sentences. Can I become a saint in the flesh and ascend to the immortal world? I don't know if I can ascend to heaven, but I'm almost passing away after hearing this. The audience left comments one after another, expressing their gratitude for surviving the disaster. Some of them were joking, but some were really shocked by Jayatnam's singing. After all, Jayatnam's singing itself is rather outrageous. The song Love Until Death is also difficult, and the reverberation of the karaoke room sound system amplifies Jayatnam's voice. That deterrent power is indeed terrifying. Jayatnam left the singing room with a high score of 8. It was Shen Feng's turn to go in. Before, when Jayatnam went to the karaoke room to sing, the other people in the program crew only dared to wait outside. Even the photographer only dared to put the camera in and then run away quickly. This time when Shen Feng entered the karaoke room, everyone from the program crew dared to follow him in. They felt that at least Shen Feng's singing would not kill him. Shen Feng took the microphone and tested the sound. And he began his singing. When the prelude sounded, Shen Feng's high notes also sounded. After singing the first line, I'll love you until I die, the karaoke room's scoring system directly gave a high score of 95 points. Everyone in the program crew and the karaoke room and the audience in front of the live broadcast room were also dazzled. Not to mention the comparison with Jayatnam's magic sound. Even without Jayatnam's previous murderous singing voice, one could feel Shen Feng's professionalism just by listening to his singing. The pitch and accuracy are almost exactly the same as the original. Fang Zi is awesome. It has that flavor, it really has that flavor. This is called professionalism. After singing the prelude with repeated high notes, the next part is the low and warm main song. Love each other as if every day is your last day. And every minute and every second will be so beautiful that tears will fall. No matter what others think, as long as you are brave enough to follow me. Shen Feng's voice was gentle yet vicissitudes of life. When he was gentle, he was looking at Zhang Wanwan. When he was feeling sad, he was thinking about his past experiences. In the cycles he had experienced before, he was the same. Treating every day as the last day. Enjoy the present moment. Don't be afraid of getting hurt when you are happy. Many miracles exist only if we believe in them. When singing to this point, Shen Feng's tone suddenly turned higher. It sounds like a roar, a rant, and also like a declaration. I will love you till I die. I will not be happy unless I love you thoroughly. No matter how deep the feelings are. Only this is enough to express them. While singing, Shen Cheng walked to Zhang Wanwan and held her hand. Clutch it tightly. It seems that the words love until death were meant for Zhang Wanwan. Under the dim light in the karaoke room, Zhang Wanwan's face turned a little red. She suddenly snatched the microphone from Shen Feng's hand. Then Shen Feng continued to sing the high note. If Shen Feng's high note was a roar declared to the heaven, Zhang Wanwan's high-pitched voice was like a hymn sung by an angel to the world. The two people's voices are completely different, but the connection is seamless. Zhang Wanwan sang with a red face, but her eyes were looking at Shen Feng firmly. Shen Cheng looked at her with a smile. This scene was clearly recorded by the camera. It could also be seen clearly by the audience in the live broadcast room. Although both of them sang very well, I still have to ask. Are they singing or expressing their feelings to each other? This eye contact is killing me. These two people sing with such feeling. The same thing happened with the last love song Please. And you release a single? Finally, sing to the end of the song. Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan were both holding a microphone. Zhang Wanwan held the microphone, and Shen Feng held Zhang Wanwan's hand. The two people's faces were very close. It was like the sound of two people mixed together. So close, can I kiss you? Wow, this is so beautiful. Xiaojia, look at him. I feel like I'm sweating from listening to these two people's high notes. They sound so good, I want to go sing. Open Kujou. Saying close Kujou, uninstall. The song is over. Among the people in the karaoke room, someone from the production team took the initiative to lead the applause. Finally, Director Chen announced the scores with a sigh. Chen Feng scored 94 points. Look at Shin Feng's score. And then look at Jiat Nan's score. Director Chen really felt the gap between people. Not to mention Jiat Nan, he estimated that even Shang Wei, who was good at singing this song, might not be able to sing better than Shin Feng. It was Jiat Nan, on the other hand, who raised his hand in dissatisfaction. This song was sung by both of them, so this score can't be counted as just for Brother Shen. Shen Feng spread his hands. That only counts as half of my score. I still have 47 points. How about this, just count my score as 1/10. Which would be 9.4 points. Jiat Nan. He found that he was humiliating himself. The first challenge ended with Shen Feng's crushing victory without any suspense. Director Chen reluctantly gave Shen Feng 20 yuan. Then, he took out the box again and looked at the Tianlu and Wei Meng combinations. Next, which of your two groups would like to challenge? Whether we can turn the tables depends on you. The two groups discussed it. Finally, Xiao Qianshu raised his hand. Let's do it. Shang Wei and Meng Yan are considered veterans in the entertainment industry. More experienced and more capable. So the two groups discussed and decided to put the strongest one at the end. First, further test the strength of Xin Feng and Zhang Wanwan. Even if they lose this time, at least Shang Wei and Meng Yan will have some idea of what's going on. Xiao Qianshu walked to the box and reached in to pull out a challenge card. As soon as Xiao Qianshu saw the challenge task on the card, his eyes lit up. Challenge: both parties take turns to communicate in different languages. Whoever fails to answer first loses. He quickly gave the card to Chen Lu. And Chen Lu was happy when she saw it. Although she is an internet celebrity, she graduated from the Foreign Languages Department. In addition to English, she can also conduct daily conversations in Japanese, Korean and Russian. He has also posted several videos on TikTok of him covering songs in multiple languages. Director Chen was also delighted when he saw this task. This task was indeed designed by him specifically for Chen Lu. I didn't expect that they were the group that got picked. This is really God's help. Most people can only communicate in Mandarin and English at best. But Chen Lu can speak multiple languages, so she will definitely win this time. Shen Feng, oh Shen Feng, Zhang Wanwan, oh Zhang Wanwan. Things have changed, and your good days are over. Director Chen even had a strange smile on his face. Even the audience thought so. I have watched Chen Lu's videos. She can speak Russian and Korean. This question is specially designed for her. This is too obvious. The director is so insidious. It's over. My Feng Zian Wanwan's presidential suite can no longer be kept. If you have nowhere to stay, come stay at my house. I can give you my bed and let me watch over you. But I can't say for sure. I heard that Wanwan had learned some Japanese before. If Chen Lu chooses Wanwan as her opponent, maybe she still has a chance. Some viewers said that the Penghu Bei group might still have a chance of survival. Then, I choose Shen Feng as my opponent, said Chen Lu. The audience suddenly wailed. It's over, there's no hope now. Chapter 56. You're already great. Chen Cheng had no objection to this. Zhang Wanwan, on the other hand, had some objections. A good woman doesn't fight with a man if you have the ability. Compete with me. In Zhang Wanwan's opinion, Shin Feng doesn't seem to know any foreign languages. At best, my English is a little better. At least she knew a little Japanese. And she felt that she was at least a little better than Shin Feng. Chen Lu shook her head. Wanwan, I'm actually your fan. I also know that you can speak Japanese. Although I know more than just Japanese. I will not choose you as my opponent just to be on the safe side. Brother Shen, what do you think? Do you accept my challenge or just admit defeat? Shen Feng said helplessly. Then I can only accept it. Seeing the helpless expression on Shen Feng's face, Director Chen chuckled. Then it was announced that the challenge had begun. According to the rules, both parties need to communicate with each other in various languages, and they have to change the language after each conversation. Until the other party can't pick up. To be honest, the audience, the production crew, and even Zhang Wanwan all felt that Shen Feng wouldn't last more than 2 rounds. At the beginning, Shen Lu and Shen Feng naturally communicated in Mandarin. In the second round, the language was changed to English. Shen Sheng answered fluently. In the third round, Shen Lu started speaking Japanese. What everyone didn't expect was that Shen Feng actually took up the conversation. Director Chen hurriedly asked the assistant director beside him. What did he mean? Is he right? The assistant director pushed up his glasses and said, what he meant was, I hope you will show mercy. That's right. That must be because he watches a lot of Japanese porn movies. He's lucky. Director Chen muttered. In the fourth round, Chen Lu spoke Korean. Shen Feng still answered the call. Director Chen. It seems that he also likes to watch Korean porn movies. In the fifth round, Chen Lu spoke Russian. Shen Feng answered again. The assistant director looked at Director Chen and asked, does he also like to watch Russian short films? Director Chen. At this time, sweat was already appearing on Chen Lu's forehead. She has finished speaking the languages that she is best at. She really didn't expect that Shen Feng could answer so fluently. At the beginning, Chen Lu admitted that she underestimated the enemy. When speaking Japanese, the sentences used are relatively easy to understand, which is indeed simpler. But when she spoke Korean, she used some slang, and Shen Feng still answered her. When speaking Russian, she recited directly from Pushkin's Ode to Freedom. Unexpectedly, Shen Feng actually finished the second half of the sentence. How come this person knows everything? Chen Lu felt that she was sure to win from the beginning, but the pressure gradually increased. By now, I was panicking. The audience in front of the late broadcast room were also stunned. Where is my royal translator? Did Shen Feng just speak Russian? What does it mean? I studied Russian. The two of them were reading Pushkin's poems. And Shen Feng was not wrong. Damn, Shen Lu is a language student. So it's okay that she knows so many languages, but how come Shen Feng also knows so many? I originally thought Feng Zi would definitely lose this time. But I didn't expect Feng Zi to be so powerful. Although I don't understand it, I think it's awesome. This is a top student. Do you understand the value of my Feng Zi? Chen Lu took a deep breath. She looked at Shen Feng and her expression became serious. In addition to Japanese, Korean and Russian, she also knows a little German and French. But she doesn't speak them very fluently. But this is her last trump card. But what makes Chen Lu despair is that whether it is German or French, Shen Cheng was still able to respond. Now, Shen Lu was completely helpless. She stood in front of Shen Feng somewhat embarrassed, unable to speak for a long time. Shen Feng looked at her and asked in French, why don't you continue? Chen Lu replied somewhat awkwardly. I can't do it anymore. Shen Feng smiled, is it my turn now? Then he started babble and said something very strange. Chen Lu was stunned when she heard that. The audience was also stunned. Where is the translator? This sentence shouldn't be in German. Please find a translator. Someone in the barrage asked hurriedly. Shen Feng's live broadcast room has all kinds of audiences, including many talented people. There are professional people to translate the conversations in various languages. But this time, there was no response for a long time. Finally someone showed up. I have a friend who studies a minor language. He said that what Shen Feng just said might be Yoruba, a language in West Africa. What does it mean? What does it mean? Translated to, that's it? While the comments were speechless, Chen Lu hurriedly asked about Shen Feng. Brother Shen, what language did you just speak? What does it mean? Shen Feng had a kind smile on his face. Yoruba, it means, you have done a great job. Barrage. Director Chen, who read the comments, said, I don't believe you. You are so bad, Feng Zi. You're mocking the girl behind her back and you don't admit it. Right? But Shen Lu really believed it. She even smiled and said to Shen Feng, thank you for your encouragement, Brother Shen, but I am still far behind you. I thought I knew a lot of languages, but I didn't expect there are always people better than me. I was completely convinced of my defeat. Also, I've become a bit of a fan of yours now. Can you sign an autograph for me later? Seeing Chen Lu looking embarrassed and shy, Zhang Wanwan rushed over and pulled Shen Feng away. Then he bared his teeth at Shen Feng and said, Shen Lu is my fan. You are not allowed to give her autographs. You are not allowed to take away my beloved fan. Do you hear me? Shen Cheng smiled bitterly and nodded. She is anxious, Zhang Wanwan is anxious. She says she's afraid her beloved fans will be snatched away. But actually she's afraid her beloved husband will be snatched away. Oh, my. Why are you so jealous all of a sudden? It turns out to be Zhang Wanwan. The second challenge ended with Shen Feng's victory again. Director Chen reluctantly gave Shen Feng 20 yuan. Then he frowned and asked, Shen Feng, can you tell me why you know so many languages? Zhang Wanwan also looked at Shen Feng. In fact, she was also wondering. I don't remember Shen Feng saying before that he had learned so many foreign languages. I can't say know it, I just occasionally learn it by myself out of interest. But I only learn it superficially and can't speak fluently. Chen Lu asked from the side, Brother Shen, no, idol? What language do you speak most fluently, without stumbling, and most freely? Shen Feng said seriously, Chinese. Chen Lu. Director Chen. Audience. Well, it seems that's correct. After being speechless for a while, Director Chen sighed. He patted Shen Feng on the shoulder and asked, Shen Feng, considering that I have already given you $40, can you tell me what you don't know? There are still many things I don't know. I'm not Superman. Shen Feng spread his hands. I can't build rockets, planes, ships or cannons, and I can't even give birth to a child. Director Chen, you don't know how to do these. But the problem is that you can write them down on the challenge card. You can't do it, and no one else can do it either. In the end, Director Chen could only silently carry the cardboard box and walk to the remaining mighty band. Looking at Shang Wei and Meng An, Director Chen didn't know what to say to encourage them. To be honest, his self-confidence has been somewhat eroded. From what Shen Feng said in a foreign language just now, Director Chen felt as if every word was a scolding at him. It was Shang Wei who took the initiative to comfort Director Chen. Director Chen, we have actually already thought of a solution. Chen Cheng is indeed very powerful, but for this challenge, we can choose our opponent. Wouldn't it be fine if we just choose Zhang Wanwan? Director Chen came back to his senses immediately. Yes, how could he forget? Since Shen Feng is so awesome, why not choose him as your opponent? Why am I getting so stuck in such a dead end? The light returned to his eyes and he handed the box to the two men. Shang Wei pulled back. Challenge: both parties imitate a scene from a classic movie and compete in acting skills. Whoever fails to catch the scene first loses if both parties catch the scene. The one with inferior acting skills loses. Director Chen let out another long sigh at this time. This question was also customized for Shang Wei and Meng An. Whether it is Shang Wei or Meng An, although they are not very popular actors, they are both powerful. The acting skills are definitely guaranteed. He just doesn't believe that he will lose again this time. After Shang Wei and Meng An discussed it, they decided that Meng An would take on the challenge. When Meng An walked towards Shen Feng and Zhang Wanwan, Shen Feng actually sighed in his heart. To be honest, when it comes to acting, Shen Feng really doesn't have much confidence. He really hasn't practiced his acting skills deliberately, and has never acted opposite anyone. If Meng An chose him as his opponent, there might be a real possibility of failure. As a result, Meng An walked to Zhang Wanwan's side. He said to Zhang Wanwan with a smile, I choose Wanwan as my opponent. Shen Feng was stunned. Zhang Wanwan was even more stunned. Choose her? Compare acting skills? Did she hear it right? In her previous life, she was the first actress in China to win an Oscar. Are you sure? Zhang Wanwan asked hesitantly. Meng An nodded. I'm sure. Seeing Zhang Wanwan hesitate, Meng An felt that Zhang Wanwan was weak and afraid. In fact, Meng An has never seen Zhang Wanwan's play. As a real actor, she disdains to watch the crappy movies made by those young and handsome stars. She always felt that Zhang Wanwan should be no different from other traffic stars. The acting skills of this kind of traffic star are generally not that good. And even if Zhang Wanwan really has some acting skills, Meng An doesn't think he is worse than her. How good can the acting skills of a young man who is still in college be? Seeing Meng An's confident look, Zhang Wanwan could only sigh. Okay, I accept the challenge. It's not that she wants to bully anyone. It was really the other party who insisted on being bullied by her. Chapter 57. The master craftsman is skilled in his craft, and the young are formidable. Seeing that Zhang Wanwan accepted the challenge, Director Chen played the movie clips he had prepared. This is a costume political intrigue movie from more than 10 years ago. The excerpted clip is the rivalry between the emperor and his concubine. The concubine is the adopted daughter of a rebel. In order to complete her father's mission, she enters the palace under an assumed name with the intention of assassinating the emperor. But through repeated contacts, she gradually fell in love with the emperor. She wanted to give up her mission and spend the rest of her life with the emperor. But the emperor discovered her true identity at this time. The concubine knelt on the ground with the emperor pointing a sword at her neck. The two men confronted each other, both with extremely complicated feelings. The emperor had to act out the pain and confusion he felt when he discovered that his beloved concubine had other intentions towards him, as well as his determination when he finally decided not to kill the concubine but to expel her from the palace. The concubine has to perform her true love for the emperor. The pain of being misunderstood by the emperor, and the despair of being unable to defend herself, especially the tears shed when she was expelled from the palace, which are the highlight of the whole play. In the original movie, this scene was performed by veteran and domestic movie stars. The two people's perfect and vivid performances have made this scene regarded as a classic among classics by countless filmmakers. Meng An chose to play the role of a concubine. Her acting style is more inclined towards playing weak and helpless women. In addition, in this clip, the concubines actually have more scenes, and they are more delicate. Therefore, it is much easier to choose a concubine than to choose an emperor. Meng An is very confident. If the role of the emperor was played by a man, Meng An might still be worried. But Zhang Wanwan is a girl and much younger than her. There is no sense of superiority and oppression like an emperor at all. It is extremely difficult to act well. Even Meng An now felt a little secretly happy and expectant. She knew that Zhang Wanwan and Xin Feng had quite a few followers now. If she can surpass Zhang Wanwan in acting skills, she might be able to attract a lot of Zhang Wanwan's fans. With this mood in mind, Meng Yan began to prepare and memorize his lines. Zhang Wanwan also began to memorize the emperor's lines. He just looked a little absent-minded. When the audience saw that Zhang Wanwan didn't seem to be serious, they started to criticize her. Is Wanwan worried that she can't perform as well as Meng Yan? She seems absent-minded. After all, Meng Yan is 8 or 9 years older than Wanwan. And he is also an excellent actor, so it is inevitable that he would be worried. My Wanwan is also a good actor. Okay. I am a fan of Wanwan, but to be honest, even if Wanwan and Meng Yan's acting skills are similar, a role Meng Yan chose is to pleasing Wanwan is at a disadvantage before she even starts acting. Yes, Wanwan is young and a girl now, she has to play an emperor in a high position. There is a huge contrast in appearance alone, which is easy to be out of place. What should I do? Wanwan is not going to lose. But why does Feng Zi seem not to be worried about Wanwan at all? Some viewers noticed that Xin Feng seemed still very calm. Chen Sheng was indeed very calm. Because Xin Sheng knew that the reason Zhang Wanwan was absent now was not because she was worried, but it was because Zhang Wanwan really didn't regard Meng Yan as an opponent. Zhang Wanwan is confident. Since Zhang Wanwan is so confident, what does he have to worry about? After a 10-minute preparation period, Director Chen announced the official start of the competition. Meng Yan is indeed a veteran actor. As soon as Director Chen said start, we immediately got into the state. She knelt on the ground with a sad and aggrieved look on her face, and said to Zhang Wanwan, "Your Majesty, don't you want to believe me? It's over. An expert can tell whether a performance is good or not just by looking at the performance. The performance is really good. What should I do? I'm getting nervous. What if Wanwan can't take it?" Some viewers were already biting their nails nervously. Director Chen showed a satisfied and proud expression on his face. Meng Yan's performance did not disappoint him. Even performed beyond expectations. It seems that this time, he will finally get back on track. But just when Director Chen smiled, Zhang Wanwan, who originally had her back to Meng Yan, turned around. In her hand, she held a stick made of several pieces of paper. He tapped lightly on Meng Yan's neck. Then he gently lifted up Meng Yan's chin. There was no smile on Zhang Wanwan's face, only coldness and indifference. But the audience can see in her eyes the sadness of being betrayed by the one she loves. Zhang Wanwan slowly bent down and gradually approached Meng Yan. Looking at her, he said softly, "Xiaoyu, it's not that I don't believe you." Meng Yan, with his chin lifted, was forced to look Zhang Wanwan in the eye. The moment he saw Zhang Wanwan's eyes, Meng Yan felt his heart skip a beat. This look is exactly the same as the look of the old actor in the original movie. At that moment, Meng Yan was stunned. But just as she was distracted, Zhang Wanwan, who had originally spoken in a gentle tone, suddenly raised her voice. The gentleness in his previous tone was gone. Instead, he let out a low growl, filled with uncontrollable pain and anger. "This is irrefutable evidence. How can I trust you? How can I trust you?" Zhang Wanwan's grip on the paper stick gradually tightened. At the same time, it was still trembling slightly. It was Meng Yan's turn to take over the conversation now. Zhang Wanwan's extremely tense roar just now shocked Meng Yan so much that he couldn't react for a while. After a 2-second pause, Meng Yan came back to his senses. She swallowed her saliva and said in a trembling voice, "Your Majesty, perhaps I had bad intentions towards you at the beginning. But now I am sincere to you, can't you feel it?" Meng Yan should have said this in a more sad and helpless way. But she was nervous. Under the pressure of Zhang Wanwan's acting, she actually felt nervous. Even when acting opposite some senior actors, she didn't feel so pressured. Zhang Wanwan's acting skills are not even on the same level as those young actors. Even several levels higher than her. Meng Yan knew that she had already lost. At this time, both Director Chen and the audience were great. Everyone was stunned. They are all discerning people. Zhang Wanwan's acting skills overwhelmed Meng Yan, and they all saw it clearly. What's wrong with Wanwan's acting skills? This is such a crushing victory that Meng Yan almost forgot the lyrics. Really, Wanwan's words and eyes just now were so oppressive. My scalp was tingling just looking at them. You can say I'm a brainless fan of Wanwan. Or say I'm blind, but I really feel that Wanwan just acted like a veteran movie star. I have the same feeling. The eyes and momentum are exactly the same. Compared to these spectators who are just watching the fun. Shang Wei, who is also an actor, as well as Director Chen, the assistant director and other people in the entertainment industry, were even more shocked at this moment. Zhang Wanwan did more than just play the emperor well. He even portrayed this emperor without any costumes or props. It is hard for them to imagine how high Zhang Wanwan's performance would reach if she had complete costumes and makeup. After the performance, almost no one paid attention to Meng Yan. Whether it is the audience or director Shang Wei and Chen et al. Even Meng Yan himself focused his attention on Zhang Wanwan. Meng Yan is an actor who focuses on acting skills. Knowing that he would inevitably lose, Meng Yan would rather treat this challenge as an opportunity to learn, observe and learn the details of Zhang Wanwan's performance from a close distance. Gradually, Meng Yan was brought into the play by Zhang Wanwan. She never could keep up with Zhang Wanwan's acting, but gradually she caught up with her pace. Especially the last one. When the emperor put away his sword, turned his back to the concubine and said go away. Meng Yan, who played the concubine, shed a tear sincerely. I'm into the role. She was drawn into the role by Zhang Wanwan, and was deeply immersed in it. This is all because Zhang Wanwan's acting is so realistic. So much so that Meng Yan knelt on the ground and cried for a long time. It was not until Zhang Wanwan helped her up that she realized the performance was over. There were bursts of applause all around. Shang Wei clapped his hands and walked forward, saying to Meng Yan, "Thank you for your hard work, you performed very well in the end."